We're diving in. Let's dive in. All right. We are here. We are back. Episode 13 of Shop Talk. And we've got, holy shit, a heater of a squad in right now. We've got 4 wake skaters joining me. We have TJ Giesey. I don't know. This is like your 5th time on the show, 4th time on the show. You're a regular now. He knows the address. We got Tad Matthews to his right. And then we have the man, Nick Taylor. Struggling with jet lag, he said, but he looks great. You sound great. So I think we're going to be all right.
I think we're good.
And we've got Keaton Bowlby to my right. Whole lot of big squad, big episode we have today. We got a lot of topics we're going to cover, and I think I start off every show with favorite grab, and I was going to skip it, but I think we can all agree it's Benihana, right, on a wakeskate.
Why would you say something so controversial yet so brave?
I mean, let's be real though. Favorite grab. What do you got? I mean, you guys have answered it, but I mean, thoughts change?
Mine changes all the time,
okay.
right?
Yeah, let me get a rehash of
today it's going to be tuck knee.
Ooh.
Okay.
Tuck knee what?
Indie tuck knee.
Okay. You got to specify.
All right.
Yeah.
I like that. Tad?
I don't know. I think I'm going to go with the melon.
Okay.
Tweaked out stale fish, a little bit frontside.
Okay. Benihana for me. What do you got, Keaton?
Tweaked indie backside.
Ooh. Okay. I like that you guys differentiate frontside backside because wakeboarders have never done that in any answers I've heard.
Yeah, I don't think I wouldn't consider it a different trick or anything.
Yeah.
But as far as my favorite one for feeling, it definitely has a difference.
Okay. I like that. Good answers.
Mine's a feeling and watching.
Yeah,
I
visual.
love doing it, but I also really love watching Max do that one.
Interesting. Okay. A little 2 for 1. All right. TJ, do you want to dive into this Mount Rushmore you came loaded with here?
I mean, I'm not going to miss out on the opportunity to argue about a wake skating Mount Rushmore with this crew. So
Yeah, this is a great moment we have here. So I want to preface what a Mount Rushmore is.
I'm not going first.
No, we're going to do snake draft, but you pick who goes first because it's your Mount Rushmore. Does everybody know what a Mount Rushmore is here?
Yeah, are we going current riding or ever?
Well, what's the topic here?
Ever.
Okay.
All time.
Greatest wake skaters of all time.
Greatest is a dicey word. Let's
just the Mount Rushmore of wake
your
skaters.
Mount Rushmore could mean whatever it is to you.
I like
maybe
that.
you pick a group of the best wake skaters right now, in your opinion.
Okay.
If that's your Mount Rushmore, for me, it's going to be all of it. Contributions to it, level of riding, all the above.
Okay, and it's snake draft style, if you guys know what that is. So if Keaton starts, it'll go all the way down to TJ and then right back. So
we're not doing all 4 of our...
Because once somebody picks one, he's off the board.
Oh, that's...
You can't take him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we each end up with a 4-person.
And you each end up with your own 4. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a draft, you can't draft somebody who's already drafted. So who's starting, TJ?
I mean, just because I like the way it looks, it's going to have to be Key.
Thank you. That makes it easy for me, too.
I mean, I'm going to go on the newer side of old school, Andrew Pastura.
First pick, 101.
Okay. I'm going to go Ben Horan.
Oof.
I'm going to go, lean a little more towards the founding fathers, so I'm going to go Thomas Harrell.
Those were all 3 on my list.
Yeah, we didn't leave you much.
Let's go Scott Byerly.
Oof.
Nailed it.
I'll take Jason Messer.
Okay.
Revolutionary.
So you get 2 in a row. You're back to back, yeah.
And Nick Taylor.
Shit.
Got me right in the fields.
I might run out of names here,
Got me
boys.
right in the fields.
Yeah, now I got to remember who everybody said already.
You got it.
So everyone right away.
It's a group effort. We'll remember who.
A couple of the deep contributors went off the board right away. That's why I went. Jason Messer is as far as everyone knows, the originator of wake skating. He had this company called Freshwater Traction Pads, which were basically just like a wakeboard. They were these pads that could be stuck onto a wakeboard, and that was the first bindingless wakeboard.
You're taking it back.
There was an actual product for it, but he was killing it already. He was doing wake-to-wake tricks. He was hitting rails with the traction pads before grip tape. So
early 90s.
The first documented form of wake skating where it was called wake skating.
Okay, that's a big pull for the graphic, Mount Rushmore graphic. That's huge. Okay. Tad, who you got?
I'm going Kyle Walton.
Yes.
Solid.
Back to Nick. Pick 2.
I mean, they just took a couple of good ones. I'm gonna keep it going with the cassette team here, Aaron Reed.
Okay.
I think I took Keaton's next pull.
That was mine.
Shit, I'm gonna go Max Geary. I might be pulling into the new gen, but I've watched that guy, dude, and gets me fired up.
This is on everyone's list. Cole.
Shit, yeah, sure is. You get 2 back-to-back.
Oh,
So this is your third pick.
okay. I'm going to go a little curveball here. Not what I think any of you would have thought I would have said. Reed Hansen.
I mean, he has to be
That was
on
going to
it.
be my
Yeah,
next
He's
one.
on it. Yeah,
Damn.
for sure.
That did slip my mind. That's a good pull.
That was going to be my next
A lot of NBDs on that unit.
Maybe more than anyone else.
Do you guys have any?
I would definitely concur that Reed has more NBDs than anybody else.
At this point, I'm really nervous that my pick's not going to make it back to me, and I'm kind of like, I don't know. I don't know where to go.
Yeah, there's not going to be a lot of names left. I mean, or maybe there are.
You guys don't get my guy.
I'm going to go Danny Hampson. This is maybe my wakeboard name or my wakeboard shown. I don't know. A whole lot of wake
He was
skaters.
going for the cassette.
So,
suite.
yeah, he
You were
was.
going to get him.
That's
Yeah.
both you guys just took my next one.
All
So
right, all right.
I gotta keep digging.
We got.
We're like getting down to it because there's still plenty of good options, but it's like, I mean, this is up on the wall kind of stuff. So Ryan Grubb, easy.
Ooh.
Nice. That's,
Yeah.
Yep.
Heavy contributor.
I'm going to go just based off of pure raw talent, Austin Pastura.
Yep.
My God, that was who I was hoping.
I think
was gonna make it
that's a
back.
great value pick in the third round there. That's yeah.
It's kind of crazy he made it to the third, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to just lean into the contributions, and I'm going to go Silas Thurman. Really, like, I mean, he got the originator of the
Benjamin
sport,
Franklin
and like,
wakeskating.
yeah, I mean, he's right there with Thomas and Byerly if you're talking about where pushing the sport. I just need it.
Your last pick. Round it out.
I'm going to go with Tim Van Dormant. That's my guy.
The Euro. Okay.
Wow, nice. Oh, we keep
And
going.
yeah. This is the last pick.
Oh, I just had somebody on the tip of my tongue. Who was it? Oh, man. Let's see.
It's hard. This last pick.
Last round is
I'm
tough.
like in my head trying to go through who was on my roster already, and like at this point, I'm just like, I'm taking the next best guy. That's
Yeah.
what I,
I
gotta
feel
do.
like we're missing
BPA.
somebody that's...
Next man up. Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely are missing a couple people, but it's like,
I'm trying to dig
it's
deep.
So easy to walk out and say 4 names, but when everybody else is stealing them from you,
Yeah.
brutal.
Okay. I'm just going to go with one of my favorite wake skate humans on the planet, Matt Hooker.
I knew it. I knew it.
I like it.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna pull one from the more recent well here. I'm gonna say Travis Belcito.
Nice.
That was on my list.
He's got to be on it too.
Yeah.
Yep, that was on my list. We were watching wake skating before, and there was a guy who rode Hyperlight. What was his name that was on earlier?
Chris Callis.
I'm throwing him, dude. You said he just dropped
That's
it
a
and
deep cut.
never
No,
talked
it's a
about
deep
it
cut.
again. Like, that's epic,
Yeah.
bro.
That's
And he
super
was
good.
ripping, dude, in that video.
He was.
I feel good about
He
that
was
one.
on such a tear back then.
So I'm the last one,
Your last one.
and you've taken everyone that I already
19
had.
names have been listed so far.
There's one on my mind, and this one's like, I mean, no one's gonna doubt me on this one. Bammer.
Damn.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
It's a staple, right?
Everybody got a good mix of like. There's a contemporary person on just about everyone's list. Like
Yeah.
we got a good, well-rounded.
I'm going
list
to throw that up as an anonymous vote, and we'll have people vote on who they think is the best without the
I
names
wanna
attached
see,
to
Can
them.
we see? Did you write them down?
No,
No.
I couldn't.
What was everyone's first round pick? I want to know what the first rounder what that Mount Rushmore looks like.
Thomas was mine.
Andrew.
Bye.
I said Scott.
I think I had Max Geary.
Max was your first rounder.
Maybe not.
No, that was your second rounder.
Second round, I have no idea what my first round was.
I blacked out. I don't
Yeah, I
remember.
blacked out, man.
I thought we were doing all 4 of ours like all at once,
I thought we were.
and then
Yeah.
like 3 of my 4 were
Wait,
gone.
Just
Flip
ripped
it.
right off.
Flip it.
Well, if we did that, all the lists would be
Right,
kind of
yeah.
similar, you know?
Right.
So it'd
Yeah.
be,
I stand by my list though. I'll go
Yeah.
to bat for my guys.
I'm happy about my list.
Yeah.
I think we're all pretty happy about it. We'll see who comes out
I'm proud of all of us.
comes out on top here. All right, I think it's time we got the Mount Rushmore out of the way. That was a great one. Thank you, TJ. I think we kind of dive in because, Keaton, you're not from Florida. I don't think you make a lot of appearances in Florida these days, but you're here. So what are you doing here? What brings you into town?
Yeah. If you haven't heard by now, but wake skating is back at X Games. It's actually called X Fest at X Games. But I thought it was this is a great place to come and talk about it. And throwing a lot of new things in this year. It's actually in Sacramento, California. It's coming up less than 2 months from now. We are including wakeboarding this year. We just figured we're probably better collectively as a group than separating us. And, some of the guys like Hayden and Maddie really kind of have a vibe that fits with our street vibe, and they're putting together the wakeboard side. We're putting together the wakeskate side, and it should be pretty rad this year.
Yeah, and I think Hayden and Maddie have kind of proved their concept with the street jam thing. I think they've done it 2 or 3 years now. So, like, I think echoing what you're saying, it definitely seems like it'll mesh super well.
Yeah,
So.
The venue's insane. We're gonna kind of keep everything under wraps, but the venue caters to us a lot better. It's 15 minutes from Wake Island and from Velocity Park. So the week of, we're doing like a bunch of Ride with the Pros days and giveaways, raffles, and all of that, because there's a pretty big wake community in Sacramento. The weather's going to be insane. It's going to be like 100 degrees. And yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. There's going to be a lot more details coming out over time. Tad is actually running kind of our media side with Bammer. TJ's been helping me out on the executive side, and Nick's going to come show up.
I'll be swimming most of the time.
He's going to show up and sign some autographs. And at the end of the day, X Games is more, they're catering more around the experience there rather than the live web stream. And that will happen, and we get some allotted time. But we're really there to kind of just show what wakeboarding and wakeskating is all about, and kind of the winch side of it, actually the winch side. Yeah.
So I guess as much as you can, dive into the venue a little bit and kind of the nuts and bolts of it, because you said it's going to be a winch pull. But the people saw it was 2 years ago, X Games, right?
Yeah.
That wakeskating was in, and it was kind of not the setup that you guys wanted, but you made it happen. And so I guess the differences between what's going on.
Yeah, not to get into it much, but a basis of the last time is insurance was not allowing us to build the setup last time. And when we showed up, the guy that was building it fell off scaffolding and was rushed to the hospital. And we had to build with what materials were on site. So it definitely didn't, come out to being what we wanted to. But part of what X Fest is up and coming sports, or sports that they want to bring into X Games. And we drew such a big crowd. They were like, let's run it back.
Yeah. And it was sick. I mean, Chris from Nine Club got a little. I think it was in his vlog, right? That Pelcito was in it, and he seemed pretty hyped on it. So
yeah, it was rad. That was like
good reception,
super natural too. I mean, I don't know how many people watched that, but he came over thinking it was like
mud wrestling or something like that.
Yeah. And then when we started to explain like it's super similar to skateboarding, he was super like into it, super genuine, and like. Yeah, it was great talking with him and Raj and the other skateboarders. And then throughout the weekend, a bunch of pro athletes would walk up and ask questions. And like Zeb Powell came over and hit it. Man Ramp was there. I mean, it was a rad time.
Such a good vibe. Like just, everybody cruising around could really walk right up to the side of the pool, check out what we're doing. We had a nice little rail going down it. We had like a little 3-stair built. And like Keaton was saying, it wasn't the best setup we've ever put together, but we had a really limited time and super limited resources, and it was just like, well, that's what wake skaters are good at, is making something out of nothing. And so we made that setup, and everybody was psyched on it. We all got some tricks down it, and having Chris come up and shoot that and like be all engaged and involved with us was super cool.
Yeah, it's those moments. And TJ, I know we were talking about pre-pod about what you think is kind of the best avenue to show wake skating, I guess, because we can kind of talk events, dive into that a little bit more. But like, the Wake Skate Tour is no longer obviously the PWL. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe you guys are a little bit more tapped in with that. But the competitive wake skating, it definitely isn't what it used to be. And I don't know, maybe you can touch on the importance, I guess, of stuff like this.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to go to the first X Games event that they got to do. But so from like an outside perspective, just watching like what I did get to see, it seemed like a totally different type of environment, because the guys themselves aren't competing against each other. Since it's winch pulled, there's a lot more crowd interaction happening. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but I was looking up that video. I was looking for the Chris Roberts coverage, and he like covered it again on one of his like live streams months later, and was like watching the footage over and was breaking down like frame by frame the back big you did and the hard flip you did, and like you could see his live chat just going off. Like people were genuinely interested in it. I think it was probably one of the best stages that wake skating's been on yet, as far as just like well represented to an audience that could actually grasp what we were doing, So that was probably what I noticed more than anything about that, was just the receival of it. Who was watching seemed to be exactly the type of audience that we would have been trying to hit. So, and I feel like, with wake skating, it's difficult sometimes with contests, because, sometimes strategy doesn't necessarily yield the best results visually. You know that from any sort of contest, from wakeboarding, snowboarding. What works in a contest isn't necessarily the best representation of it. So I just thought it was a unique stage for it to be on, and I'm excited to hear it's coming back. When Keaton approached me about working with him to bring it back again, I couldn't have been more stoked, because I really did think it was the best possible stage for wakeskating to be on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know it's not obviously a medal event yet, wakeboarding or wakeskating, but you don't get there without getting here first. And from what you've showed me and what I've heard, it's epic. This year looks like it's going to be truly, a good showcase of wakeskating and wakeboarding, I think, at least. And I'm sure you guys kind of feel the same way. That's why you guys are all backing it and behind it. So Tad, what's your involvement with this?
Yeah, I'm just helping with, kind of just on the media side. So we want to, make sure that we're promoting it to get the most eyes on it. We want to bring some people there, or at least give people a heads up that we're going to be there. And then hopefully we'll be able to, shoot some content about a little bit more about the history of how we got there. I don't know if we're going to do like a full-blown documentary or anything like that, but, we want to like tell the story the best we can, so we can keep doing bigger and better every year that we get invited back to X Games.
Yeah, so if people want to kind of follow along, obviously, there won't be a live stream of this, will there? It's kind of more of an in-person.
We're working on that
okay.
still. There's a lot of details that are changing and all of that still.
Sweet, yeah, for sure. So obviously, I'll try and keep everybody following here, updated with what's going on X Games, because it's coming up end of June, right?
Yeah, it's like the end of June. And just to kind of finish off that first question and tease a little bit more about the setup, but it's at the California Expo Center, which is like a state fair. It's very catered to like an open air walking around environment. And our venue is literally 20 feet from the front gate inside the venue, not in the parking lot. It's like kind of like a stadium. And if you've seen kind of the recent winching wakeboarding and some of the, our stuff, obviously, like we're going to build a pool and stuff like that. But it's really cool. The spectators can like look down and see the whole thing. It's going to be super unique.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how much you can talk about the venue and stuff. But
that's about it.
Yeah, it's going to be epic. And I know on the wakeboard side of things, all I'm going to say is that there's an Instagram called Tennis Mag, and I would just follow that if you're interested in the wakeboard side of things. Anything else we want to touch on X Games? I mean, obviously very exciting, I think, but any comments, questions you guys got?
No, I just I want to stress that like we're doing this together with wakeboarding. It's I don't think there's been something like so cohesive between the two, and maybe in a long time or ever. I'm not sure.
I would say in a long time for sure.
Yeah. And like we're working hand in hand with Hayden and Maddie on the renderings, on the branding, on how we're dropping this, and I just think it's like a really cool opportunity. And like TJ said, it's not a contest. It's about to show everyone, what it's about. And the fans, if you can come to Sacramento, you can come right up and talk to us and all we're riding.
There's going to be a lot of people there between wakeboarders, wake skaters, industry people from what I've heard, so it's.
I mean, they're saying like 75,000 people between the 3 days in ticket sales already. So it's
because you got to buy a ticket to get in. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be busy.
Damn. Love to see that. I'm excited. I'm fired up for it. And I know you guys, I don't think have been to the Wakeboard Street Gym stuff, but I went last year, and the way that was run was just completely like totally top level, top notch. And I was blown away with how efficient it was, how gnarly it was, where it was like truly you walk by and you're like, damn, like what's going on here? Like that's so sick. And I think to have both wakeboarding and wakeskating together doing that, kind of like the peak of both of those sports and the street aspect of it, I think will be super awesome. And I can't picture a better venue than being adjacent to X Games and having that same crowd around.
Yeah, sure. And to clarify, we got full access to build, so we are the builders this year, fully from day one. So it's going
to be a setup people are excited to ride, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It'll be a little more up to our standards.
Yeah, you guys are going to have a lot of fun on it. In 3 days, you said, right? So people
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we kind of get like a media day on Thursday to make sure it's like how we want it, and we're going to bring in some photographers and Tad and stuff, and it should be pretty rad.
Is there a wake skate riders list we can talk about, or are you guys going to drop that later?
I think we're gonna wait.
I like that.
I think we're gonna wait. Sorry, I had to look at TJ.
Well, Nick is gonna be there, right?
Yeah, Nick,
Nick's gonna be there.
I'm still crossing fingers over here hoping, but
yeah, I mean we're all adults with the jobs and kids and stuff. So we have a rider list. Who makes it is kind of up to them. Well,
that's something to stay tuned for. Watch out in the future.
Yeah. I think also they can look up online who was in it the first time and get an idea. No guarantees that everyone comes back, but don't be surprised if you see some familiar faces.
Yeah, and some exciting new ones, I would imagine. So
yeah, at the end of the day, we got to get a job done, and that's like kind of show up and show the crowd. That's like what we're there for. So, I've done a few videos and been with these guys for a while. So if you kind of look through our past, you'll kind of get an idea of the
you could build a
rider
picture
list.
in your head. Yeah. But 3 days plus a media day is cool because you get a lot of riding on the setup. People will be a little bit more dialed, especially I think on the wakeskate side and wakeboard side too, which is exciting. So I think you guys are talking about your life. I think we kind of do a little tap in, a little check in with everybody. Let's start with TJ because you're about to have a baby. So congrats on the sex, dude. Awesome.
I have to have my phone like right here in front of me just in case. I actually am showing a little bit, but
so yeah, what's going on with you, TJ? How's it going?
It's going good. Crazy. Life's a little wild right now. I haven't run into you as often at the cable just because I have not been getting up there as often. I've still been riding a little bit. Just I'm more of a weekend warrior now, and you're out there in the weekdays, and I can't partake like that right now. But yeah, I'm T-minus like a week, a little over a week out, and
by the time this comes out,
4 days is my guess.
Yeah. Wait, when is this airing?
A week from today. So Cinco de Mayo, I believe, is the day.
No way.
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo is coming.
Let's go.
It'll be like right at game. I mean, anything can happen, but yeah, it's not quite that soon, but pretty soon.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, so not riding as much, but still getting out there every now and then, and excited to get into that chapter and hopefully share that with her.
Yeah. All right, I think we tap into Keaton because I got a guest question that we'll hit Tad with. So we'll go Keaton, then Nick, then Tad.
Still living on the West Coast in Reno, Tahoe. I've got 2 kids. Dad mode pretty hard now. Pretty stoked on that. And wake skated with you today. First time since September.
He was saying he was knocking the rust off, dude. And that's just humble hero shit right there. You were ripping at the end.
It took a minute. Like I say, at this age, we're like diesel motors. It takes a minute to get going. But once we get going, we're there, right? No, it was fun. I've been in snowboard mode for the last 6 months. It's been a terrible winter, but trying to get what I can. And, just living life out there. Work is crazy good. We can get into
work is crazy good. That's a great sentence to hear.
Yeah. I think we were kind of talking about it. We did this whole more than machines thing. Tad kind of taught me how to use a camera, and now that's my life. It's kind of interesting situation.
Not related at all, right?
No, not related at all. But no, life is really good, and I'm allowed to I red-eyed here.
Yeah, pop over and
do this announcement and pop back home to get some work done.
Yeah, thank you for that. And then Quantum, any updates? Anything tap in with Quantum?
Yeah, actually, I was just telling these guys. So Quantum is like owned by one guy, Kevin. And he was living in like a major city or something like that and was super over it and just finished building a full solar-powered house and shop in the country. And so now our wake skates are made off solar power.
Damn.
Yeah.
This one right here?
That one right there.
Damn.
Super sick.
That's super sick.
So things are good.
Yeah. Anything else with Quantum? I mean, any exciting things coming forward? Or
just steady forward. It's like very much like a Thai brand, like I guess everyone at the cable parks has the boards over there. You don't really see them too much here. Okay. We brought Bammer on last year and super stoked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Sick. Love it. Nick, what's up?
Oh, just living on the west side of Maui these days.
Yeah.
Flying helicopters 4 days a week is kind of my main gig at this point.
Love it. I saw,
like Keaton said, work is pretty crazy good right now.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear from both of you guys.
Yeah,
I saw you found a little pond or a little oasis that you might be shredding. What's up with that?
I've been sniffing around, so just like he was on snowboard mode. I've been in surf mode for about the last 6 months. Wintertime is definitely surf season on Maui, but now that that's kind of tapering off, the wake skate itch is coming back full effect. And I just I've been borrowing a couple winches. Right now I'm in the middle of testing out moto winches and re-winches, basically trying to figure out, do I go door number 1, door number 2, figure out what I like. So that might be something I get some input from you guys on at some point.
Well, I know TJ's input. What's your input, TJ?
Rap.
Yeah, most of the spots on Maui are what I would call noise sensitive. So as much as I love that, 12 horsepower Honda engine,
rolling coal, baby,
rolling coal in Maui.
Yeah, Florida's one thing. But no, I've been all psyched, like kind of exploring Maui, looking for spots that are winchable. While I'm flying, I'm always looking for.
That's the spot check in the world.
It's definitely good. But like what for years I've been looking for, a waterfall stream that has like a nice 100-foot startup to a 3 to 6 foot drop waterfall with 100 foot of landing. and it's so hard to find like those specific parameters. But just about 2 weeks ago, I think I found one. So I'm gonna have to go explore that one, check it out. But now, I've got a winch in the truck. I've got my wake skate, so I've been going before work, after work.
Oh, you're already ripping it.
When I'm done flying, just like Keaton said, I'm getting the cobwebs out, getting my wake skate legs back under me.
That's exciting.
Who's driving?
Life's good, man. So these new ones, TJ, you can actually drive yourself. You got the little throttle,
Like a radio control?
radio. Although my girlfriend Olivia is pretty precise on the throttle. Like if I tell her quarter turn faster, she knows exactly what that means.
But you're driving yourself too on some of these pulls?
For the most part, I actually 3 days ago I took my very first actual solo session with a moto winch.
Thoughts?
A spiritual experience.
Because TJ and I were talking about, we hadn't done it before, and it looks.
You haven't done it?
It's a
the self drive, no.
Yeah, it's a different thing because wake skating has always been. It has to be a team sport. It has to be it's always been you can't do it alone.
Yeah.
Even if you're riding cable by yourself, there's a guy sitting there pressing the button and forking your ropes and all that. I took the winch out, staked it down to the edge of the beach, walked the rope out 500 feet to the corner, and pulled myself into these little short pound waves for like 2 hours and didn't see another person the whole time.
Damn.
And it was kind of a trip. Like I won't say it's my favorite type of wake skating, but the fact that that's now an option is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. The self pull is epic. And so you got both. Do you prefer rewinch or moto winch?
I'm still doing all my tabulating.
Okay.
I'd say I still prefer a Sea-Doo session with two friends out on. That's not product placement. I mean that. Like out on the ocean on a calm day on the South Shore, behind the Sea-Doo, just all day long.
That's top tier right there.
That's peak. That's as good as it gets.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all.
But yeah, winching's fun too.
Love it. Sounds like life's good from everybody here. All right, Ted, let's tap into you. What's going on? How's your life? What's the deal?
It's going good. Probably not much has changed since I was on last. I live a mile away from this guy, so we hang out a lot.
We
Carpooled here. We had great conversation. Didn't really talk about wake too much. I don't know. I think I'm fully still evolving into the grandpa that everybody always made me out to be. Started with bird watching, and on Friday I just bought a 1997 Power Stroke Ford F-250 that I'm going to restore. I have a 1958 Orlando Clipper boat that I'm restoring. I've been riding my motorcycle a little bit here and there. Wow.
Still reaching your final form.
I got all sorts of hobbies, man. Too many to count. Remodeling my house too.
All right, before we tap into this guest question from Andrew, we actually have an Instagram question from Quinn, and you brought up bird watching, and he wants to know the sickest bird spotted while on a wake skate trip, and where was it?
I won't say that it was the sickest bird. The reason that I got into bird watching, I was at Sewanee judging, and I was sitting next to Sean Perry, who was one of my fellow judges for a few years. Love that guy. And I had my binoculars, which I owned not for bird watching. I bought them after watching a movie, Moonrise Kingdom. Yes. So basically, there's a quote in a movie where the character says that having binoculars is like having a superpower, and I was like, that's awesome. So I bought binoculars. Nick and I have always had binoculars on every trip we go on. But anyways, I was sitting there judging, and I see, I think it was on the bottom drop, the big tree that was, you could tell me what kind of tree it was, Nick. But
a live oak.
And then there was just a bird's nest up there with a red shoulder hawk that had fresh little babies just hanging out, little white cotton balls. And I just couldn't stop, in between pulls. I was just watching him, and Sean was basically like, "Hey, man, you should download this app. Have you ever heard of bird watching?" And I was like, "No, what the hell's that?" So I wouldn't say it's the sickest bird, but it was definitely the coolest bird experience that got me into it all. So,
Canon event for the bird watching. Okay.
And it was at a wakeskate event, so it kind of answers the question.
This might be a dumb question, but how many do you check off the birds that you see? Do you have a list and you're like, I've seen these birds?
Yeah, I haven't really tapped into the list in a while, but it's around 250 species.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just the United States birds. That doesn't count the Australia birds or the Philippines birds or anything like that.
Damn. Interesting. I just watched a documentary on bird watching. The guy was trying to break the record of the most amount of birds watched. In a
Yeah,
year.
and those guys got like
What was
700
he at?
in a year.
Oh, I was a ton. I don't remember. It was hundreds, maybe
Yeah.
even 1,000. I don't know. It was insane.
Yeah.
The birds think he's weird because he's just out there.
Well,
Trying
their
to watch
birds
all
are
of them.
from the government. They're spying on them, so that's obvious. All right, let's dive into this guest question from Andrew Pastura for Ted.
This is too much mic time for me.
Tad, it's been a wild ride and been on a lot of sick trips with you, but recently I've been watching a lot of good ratio parts and kind of taking a lot of inspiration from your editing and all the filming you did for that project, and wanted to know like what a favorite trip or even trick that you filmed for that video, or just like a cool story from putting that all together. Sick, man. Stoked to listen to this one.
Boom.
All right, good ratio. Oh man, I can't think of specifics. They all kind of blend together. Nick, can you help me out here?
I mean, the first thing I thought of was basically us running from Silas's all the way down the West Coast. Hitting all the spots from Oregon all the way through California and then into Arizona. And that brought us to the Wakeskate tour stop in Texas.
Yeah, immediately when you said it, I started to think about just the time we spent in Texas, because we actually, Andrew and that whole squad was on a separate trip for Human Rocket, and we were all just like met together, and then there was a couple winch sessions.
We were battling. We were racing each other to spots. Like we'd post on a story that we were at the spot that they went to, and they're like, do we know what trick they got? What do you think they did there? Like it was
So
about as close to like team beef as what could happen. That was pretty awesome.
It was a mix between like just a crossover episode of both of our like, you know, pinnacle videos happening in the same place at the same time, but it also had that kind of like road rules, like blue team versus red team.
That little Texas stretch, we were basically fighting over spots.
Was it Blanco where we were all camped out, like basically in the same campsite, and then using that as our jumping off?
You guys
we camped in the
tall
same
one
park
before us, and we went afterwards.
Yeah, we camped in the same park together, and it like you guys, I think
didn't hang out at all.
Oh, really? Okay.
We were not hanging out. But we were all friends, but like we were not like
Two separate missions.
Yeah, with two separate missions.
I hung out. I remember going to the skate park with the Pasturas.
I was gonna say I remember hanging out with Belcito during that.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys, I think he asked the question like which van I would rather go in.
That was my favorite thing to ask him all the time,
because
he
like
rode in both vans a lot.
because I filmed with both teams like so much. They're both like they're all family to me, and it was like I was always kind of torn. And like a lot of the stuff that I filmed for Human Rocket like wasn't for Human Rocket. I was just always filming with Belcito and TJ. And then like whenever I was done with Good Ratio, I had all this footage left over. And then Andrew, I was like, "You want this?" And he's like, "Dude, hell yeah!" Like, and it was pretty much all Belcito's part. Like, I filmed like most of it, I feel like. But yeah, it was just like I said, they all blend together to me because I was just filming with both teams so much.
All right, I got one then. What about that spot, like the really long hubba ledge that was like Ben did a no slide 270 shove out of it, and I think he eventually did a front tail.
The one in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so
downtown Kansas, right?
Yeah,
through the city.
So sick. I love those ledges.
Yeah.
What all got done on those?
I think
Was Ollie with you on that trip?
I think if you're thinking of that front nose, that was Giesey.
Giesey.
Okay.
I was with Giesey, Ben. I think Yan was there, and just me. I think it was just the four of us. But yeah, that spot's epic. And there's like little drops and stuff up.
Yeah,
Like
we hit
upstream.
those drops in Estudiomo.
Okay.
Because they had done something. I can't remember if the concrete was like chunked up or what, but like we went there to hit those ledges and was like, oh, you know, these ledges aren't any good. We can't do it. But oh wait, we can hit that ledge, which goes to this drop, and then we basically just hit that as a little combo line.
I liked a lot of the Arizona spots we've hit on that trip too.
Yeah,
Remember that like big triple like
Yeah.
waterfall? That was pretty sick.
Yeah, we hit. Yeah, Arizona was nuts that time because it was like 105 degrees at night.
So yeah, this isn't a good, I guess, winch spot, but I specifically remember, we got to Arizona and it was like 11 p.m. or something like that. And for some reason, everybody wanted to go to the skate park. We show up to the skate park at like almost midnight and it was packed. It was so packed. So we skated and then, God, who knows if we even took showers after that. Like, but we ended up in a Walmart parking lot. And we were all trying to sleep in the van because we typically would camp. we just find camping spots, only like 2 people sleep in the van. It was too hot.
Yeah.
So we were trying to sleep in the van in a Walmart parking lot with the AC on. Yan had to go into Walmart and like every few hours buy a bag of ice to put onto the engine because it was like overheating. So Yan was sleeping across the 2 front seats of the van with like a cooler in the middle to like make a bed. I was sleeping on the floor because that was always my spot. There was 2 people like sleeping on the bench, 2 people on the bed, and then Ben was sleeping in a hammock above everybody. I think there was like 7 people sleeping in the van.
There is no limit
Sprinter
to
van?
how many wake skaters you can fit in a Sprinter van.
In a Sprinter van.
Like,
done
if you
it so
think
many
you've
times.
reached- if you think you've reached the limit, wait till one more homie shows up and is
Right.
like, "Can I cruise with you guys?" And then you just slide him in the.
You're gonna make it fit.
That actually was like probably the coolest part about that video was like no other wake skate video that I could recall. They had a van for this tour. Like
Yeah.
the good ratio tour that they did was like they were constantly putting out like, social media content about it. One of my favorite things you guys did was they like pulled the van over on the side of the road and like did this pretty shitty but kind of ended up being good Photoshop. Like it was intentional, like it's probably not real, but it was good enough that you were like, is it real? It was the engine just on fire basically, and all of the dudes standing around the van like with
Nick,
their
I
hands on
think
their
you
heads.
photoshopped
Like,
that.
So I did the Photoshop on that, and getting that photo was an idea of mine because Silas had guided the whole tour up to that point, but he had to dip out and take care of some business. So we dropped him off at LAX. He caught a plane somewhere else. And it was basically us running the show. Yan kind of took over as designated, truck driver. He was he loved long drives where he could just like look out the window and kind of bop along, which was good because anytime I drove, I was like veering into the little
The-
bump strips because I'm just like whatever. But so as soon as Silas left, we were all like, all right, how do we prank him? How do we make him actually think that something went wrong? And we had pulled over to like basically on the way out to Palm Springs to check
Yeah.
out like the windmills right there.
Yeah,
And
I
just
thought that's where it
that,
was.
Yeah, that nice like wide open area. And I was like, all right, pop the hood open. Just everybody looked like the engine is like steam coming out of it, like we broke down. And I don't remember if you or Ian shot it, but it was like the photo's so funny because it's like flames on the little bike rack seat. And,
that's why I knew it was a photo. Like I didn't say it was like a shitty Photoshop. It was good, but it was intentional that like they didn't want to freak Silas out too bad, like because it was like an atom bomb coming out of the engine. Like it was a huge fire.
I literally Googled oil spill burning. So I'm pretty sure it was like an oil rig from the
was
Gulf of
thick
Mexico,
black
just
smoke.
Yeah.
billowing out. I still have that somewhere.
Oh, nailed it. That's sick. I didn't know that.
That was a funny one. I'm glad you remember that.
Great answer. Thank you, Andrew. That was a great kind of teeing off point there. And I think we kind of keep diving into spots and wake skate history. So we got a Patreon question. Thank you to everyone on the Patreon. Your guys' support is what keeps this podcast going, making this all possible. From Danielle Crawford Cotton. And she's wondering, what do you think is the greatest moment in wake skates history?
There's
Big
so
one.
many ways you could take this. There's so many ways. Does anyone have one off the top of their head?
I mean, yeah, I'll go because I mean he's not going to say it, but for me, when More Than Machines won Video of the Year, that was so validating as a fan of wake skating, just because we'd been at those type of events and stuff for different people's parts, always feeling like when one of the legendary parts like Andrew and Fun Boots was one that I feel like was, I don't remember if that won Video of the Year, but I remember at the time thinking like that's the best part. Like I mean it was 2 songs long, full of things that had never been done. So there was a big build up to like the acceptance on the broader stage of just wake all together. Like everybody collectively could acknowledge whether they knew about wake skating or not. That video was sick. Like it was beautiful to look at. And yeah, so that was a sick moment for me. I hype you up. I knew you're not going to hype yourself.
That was Wakeboard Mag Wake Awards.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. That would have been what, 2011?
It doesn't say on there.
I think so. 2011. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
I'm not good with that.
That might be subliminally also why I thought about it, seeing that's the award for it right there.
Yeah, it is.
Like right
I
behind the
think.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other moments? I mean, that's a huge one, obviously. But
I think everybody should have to answer this one.
yeah, okay.
I still have to think about mine, but
Oh, all right. The invention of shock grip.
Do you know about shot grip?
I think you told me about it, but no.
You got because you get options with shot grip. It's you get foam, you get shock, and you get grip.
and it's all fire.
It's all fire.
Literally all of them. Yeah, I don't know. It was like a company that came out with this like Velcro grip tape that they had like you could put it on the bottom of your shoes too.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, you could put it on your
There's
shoes.
like a guy that just showed up to Surf Expo thinking like, I have an idea that's going to change wake skating.
He didn't ask anyone
Velcro,
before.
no research whatsoever, but he fully fleshed out a product, launched it, and brought it to Surf Expo. You know how expensive a booth is.
I can't imagine.
He was there selling this and I mean, it was fire.
You know what? Props to that guy.
Yeah.
That's epic.
It's some really what
Yeah.
are they?
Shoot your shot.
Yeah, just pulled himself up by his bootstraps and just did it.
Trav Duran was their featured rider,
Say
right?
Trav Duran was their lead man.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Did you guys wear it ever?
Hey, you guys didn't try it. What, we were knocking it here?
I just said it was fire.
They're all fire.
I couldn't afford 3 different.
I mean, it had everything.
Yeah, right.
It had
There's
everything.
a brief clip of Trav Duran riding it in Fun Boots. I saw you have it on your shelf back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to, like the full experience, it's in the intro. He tries a tantrum with it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No grab tantrum with Velcro.
This is a human who has never done a tandem in their life.
And he's on a wake skate.
Yeah, but
With Velcro.
with shock.
shock.
With
Shock
shock.
grip. Okay.
It's all fire.
Keaton, you got anything? Tad, you got anything? Nick, you guys?
Yeah, I'm still thinking.
Big
about it.
moments. Big moments.
I mean, More Than Machines was pretty big, and someday I got to tell tell the whole story. I was there from the start, and then I got really sick of Florida, so I bailed.
You said 11 months, right? You made it?
Yeah, 11 months, and
quite a
then I sent a hard drive to Tad, and it showed up corrupted. So that was my More Than Machines experience.
Oh, that's tough.
So there's a lost Keaton part out there somewhere in the ether.
Yeah,
How many MBDs? Like 30?
there was some no,
You could
definitely not.
You could say 30?
Not no, but I'm gonna go a different way.
Okay.
Austin Pastura did a kickflip down this Mondo spot, and it got shared by Tony Hawk
Okay. That's what I was thinking of.
and went around the world multiple times.
That's a good answer.
I don't know if that's like the biggest moment or best moment or whatever, but that was monumental where I could show someone that Tony Hawk shared it, and like it's super relatable to skateboarding, and it was
I
maybe
would argue that's maybe the heaviest thing that's
Yeah.
been documented. Or, it's definitely up there with the heaviest things. I might say it was the heaviest. I've never been to that spot, but judging by like what it looked like, that's at least 12 feet. Like
I don't know, I
maybe
wasn't
more.
there.
Height wise,
Massive.
the
It was
long.
lengthwise,
It was
it's
long.
like 60 foot.
Super
Hauling
long.
ass
Huge.
into that thing, dude.
Yeah.
And it was like maybe the best kickflip ever done too. Like realistically on a wake skate, perfectly done and caught. I mean, you had to do it perfect to catch it that high. And
Almost like the front three, even.
Yeah.
better, though,
Well, I
too.
was just gonna
'cause
say,
of how
what do you
hard
guys-
a front three is to do down a drop.
A lot
to
of
do it
people
down
don't know he
some
did that.
huge height.
what was harder? If it was you,
That's
kickflip or front three?
Front three.
Front
I
three.
think, yeah, but I mean,
I don't know, because I've done some front threes down some pretty big drops. And
You're
it's-
good at front threes.
Well, it's one of those things where like if you loft it right, but kind of with the kickflip too, if you loft it right, it's really just commitment after that.
Yeah.
But I feel like I would still lean towards the kickflip being the harder of the two, because you have to be precise. You have to be more precise, and you have to be precise longer. The front three, like if you suck it up to you and you hold it there and you kind of have the pacing and the rhythm of it, already internalized, you could basically close your eyes.
Yeah.
But yeah, the kickflip, I mean, I love that it's not the question that was asked, but yeah, I think that was probably the heaviest hit.
What was the
done in
question?
wake
Did I mess that up?
No, I mean, it was the greatest moment in wake skate history.
No,
Oh, yeah.
I just love that we all kind of changed it to like,
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
the heaviest hit?
Yeah,
that's
well,
happened,
I mean, that was a moment when Tony shared that, and it
Well, I
went
remember
around
reading the
world.
comments, and
Yeah.
everyone's like, "What is this?" And everyone's like, "Wake skating." And they're like, "That's."
it went viral.
I didn't know you could do this.
That thing went viral. It was all
multiple times,
true
multiple
viral.
times too.
Yeah. How many tries do you think it took him to do the frontside 360? Do you know?
I mean, I never
you
saw
know,
him,
right?
yeah. It was,
I never saw him try a trick more than 3 or 4
It
times.
was a rule.
It was
of his,
first, was it
he's
not?
no, I think it took him 3 tries to do the frontside 360, and then he went to the kickflip. Probably did that in less than 10 tries, I'd imagine. I could go back to the file and look at I was shooting photos and Aaron was filming, so.
Austin treated it like work at that, especially like at that point in his career. Like he really felt like if he couldn't do the trick in like 5 tries or less, he was wasting everyone's time. And he was,
Yeah.
it was going. If you had never winched with him, it'd be like you'd be like, whoa, he just did that really quickly. But he fully intended if he was going to go there, he was going to do it in a handful of tries or not do it at all.
That's got to be a fully mental thing, right? Where
No.
he believes he's going to do it in that amount of time.
It'd be intense to be around too. But
No, I mean,
impressive.
like we'd go to his house or their house all the time and ride, and Andrew and I'd ride all day, and he'd do like 10 pulls, go, done, and land most of those pulls.
Jeez. Mentality has got to be insane on that because that's just, belief you're going to do it. You got anything, Nick? Greatest moment?
I mean, I don't know if I can really top that one because I think, framing it like that was for wakeskating. That was one of the biggest things as far as, especially showing it to the outside. Running through my head is like 100 different moments that are,
I got one.
Send it.
First tray flip.
Yes. I rewatched that the other day. That was in volume?
Volume 2.
Yeah.
Was that one.
That was one of those tricks that was heavily debated on the internet for a while of whether or not it was actually possible. We used to argue like till our faces were blue about whether or not a tray flip and a heel flip were possible. And Nick got so much flack for it online when he first came out and said that he did it. Like a bunch of us just jumped all over him like, no way, it couldn't have happened.
I miss the old message board.
Wait, so you claimed it before the video or anything was out?
I didn't. At that point, I was
People
riding
claimed it for
for
me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was riding for Integrity Wakeskates, and Eric Schmaltz went on like the main wakeskating.com forums. It was like, on this day on Scott Byerly's lake, Nick Taylor finally landed the 360 flip, video to come.
Yeah.
And it was like just page after page of
It
people
went wild. Like back then we didn't have Instagram and stuff.
It took
and that
so
was kind of our
long
thing,
for us to
but-
be able to see it from when he posted it. That's why it allowed it to
Oh, they thought he pulled the
fester
Scheckler backside flip El Toro situation on
Maybe,
this.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, you remember what it was like back then. It was like you'd hear about something and you literally had to wait months for VHS tapes to be printed and for that stuff to be sent out. It was like
You went
there was
out. You
controversy
went out
on
and
it.
rode with somebody else. You went out and rode with this another
Chad
person on the
Thompson,
forum, and it was on Friday Advance's video that
that-
came
that
out
one.
before we. Unless you got to go see it at the premiere for that volume, it was a volume, right?
volume 2.
2. Yeah.
So unless you got to go see it at the premiere, you still didn't see it. Like 6 months later, he went out and rode with somebody that like from the website we were all arguing on, and was basically just like do a tray flip, and he did one like in the video. Like
that one felt good too because
we still ripped it apart though.
I ripped it apart because it was only 270.
Oh, yeah, you
but
did.
that was everybody was giving me the benefit of the doubt at that point. So allowing Tad to throw that, I mean, that was one of my personal biggest moments for sure. That's what kind of put me on the map. But I guess I don't have a clear perspective of where that lands with wake skating overall.
It was pretty big.
So I appreciate you throwing that in there.
I mean, it took it from like kick flips are cool, and I think they're a lot cooler now than they were back then as far as style goes. But like that took it from like kind of tapping your board and making it flip and rotate to like an actual trick that's very relatable to skateboarding.
Well, that's got to open doors because I would imagine hard flip hadn't been landed at that point. Had it?
What was the
Hard
order?
flip
Or
was
had it?
landed about 6 months before that.
By Nick. By Nick.
No,
By
by
Ryan
Ryan
Lemons.
And then
on the
and then
island
you.
though.
Yeah, I was second, but
Yeah,
nobody
yeah.
cares about second place.
Honestly though, because it happened on like the clip that we saw happened on the island, I also like Keaton associate hard flips. Sorry, Ryan Lemons, we know you did it.
Yeah.
But I also
not
associate hard flips with Nick because you were doing them at that time, and the one that Ryan filmed happened, or the one that we saw first.
The one that you
happened
saw
on the island, right?
Yeah, it was filmed by Jimmy Chadsey, as you can tell by the audio. But yeah, that was on the island.
It just felt back to back to me.
Yeah.
And then you and I were hanging out a lot in that area,
Yep.
and you had come out to my spot and did both of those
That's right.
behind my jet ski.
Yeah, and that was like within a year of both
Exactly.
of those first
Yeah.
being hit.
Wow, I didn't know hard flip and tray flip were so close to each other.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
I
was
mean,
rad.
That must have been
and
a
then-
crazy time
No,
in
and
wake
then-
skating.
2004 to 2008, every trick that is done in wake skating was pretty much first landed in those couple years.
Heel flip came right after that too.
Yeah, and right before both of those was George Daniels with the backside flip.
Yep.
I mean, it was just
It was like boom,
Popping
boom,
off.
boom, boom,
real quick.
boom.
Real
GD
quick.
backside-
I got a trivia question. I don't know if you guys know this one. First person to land a frontside flip on a wake skate.
I know it. He was on cassette. Tim.
No. Derek Seaman.
Same crew, but not
Yes,
Derek.
I know. I'm missing.
This is
I
one
was
of
gonna
my-
say
this is one of my
Kodasic.
favorites because
Kenny.
Stumps them all.
Kenny Davis.
God damn it.
This is like, I'm a big wake skate trivia guy. So
Yeah.
he was like part of this crew that used to ride behind a pontoon boat.
I remember
out
the
here.
pontoon boat.
That's
dude.
sick.
That was actually cool that they could do some. Like I remember thinking, I need to get the pontoon boat.
Yeah, I remember being like, that's so sick because they would just all be out cruising the lake. And
He's got a big squad in the tune, dude.
But
It's like a porch that you can also ride behind. I mean,
That's such a great point.
There should never be a pontoon boat advertisement that doesn't say that.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
yeah, Montero.
Mobile
get
water
us.
porch.
So yeah, shout out Daniel Lovett, Derek Seaman, and Kenny Davis. You guys definitely were underdogs out there. They did not get the praise they deserve for the stuff they were doing back in 02.
No wonder it was so exciting in that era because so much was like getting ticked off like so rapidly, you know.
Yeah.
It felt like we'd get on the forum. It was wakeskating.com back then, and it would be like a new trick would be landed almost weekly in that era.
Yeah.
It was sick.
And like these, like Nick and Reed were definitely like, I remember being with you where they're like texting each other as they're landing tricks. And like, he's like, all right, I got to go out and do the big flip. Like, you know, I don't know if that was the trick, but there absolutely were text chats going of these guys, like where they're just, I went out and landed this trick and he sent it to him. And then he's going out and landing something crazier. Like it was a wild, like 5-6 years.
It's funny you bring that one up too, because I do remember like the first time that I ever really got to meet Reed Hansen and Matt Manzari. We were all like, 15, 16, 17 years old. And they kind of like called me in, for the equivalent of whatever a 16-year-old would say is a business meeting. And these guys basically sat me down and were like, all right, we need to know, what are you working on that nobody else knows about? We're going to tell you what we're working on. And we just want to, make sure nobody's stepping on toes. We want to make sure, like, we want to see where you're at. We figure you want to know where we're at. And it was like serious
an exchange of top secret information.
It was like a G7 summit. It was like it was straight up. It was like, each of us had this little list of like, yeah, I think I'm pretty close to this one. I assume you're doing this because you can already do this and that and this. And it was like you said, it's just such an exciting time.
Yeah.
It was such a cool time to be part of it.
Damn, that's epic. All right, I mean, we got an Instagram question that actually just dives right into this from Sitastikis, and he's wondering, first winch kickflip, first heel flip, double kickflip on flat. Who was the first person to do all those? Do we have answers?
Winch kickflip, down a drop or just flats? Down a drop.
Didn't say,
right,
so.
It's Danny Hampson. He had that.
Close.
Oh.
Aaron Gore.
Yes.
Down Metro.
Yes.
And then Danny had the ad doing the kickflip down Metro. Dang.
Exactly. Danny had one that was really close. I think it was in the credits section of a sideways film.
Drug out all the way across the.
Yeah. And then Aaron Gore got the sequence in Wakeboard Mag shortly after that. And then I assume Danny went back and cleaned it up and got a good one after that. But Aaron Gore for that one. You might be able to correct me on this. Double flip flats, in my memory, is Dieter Humsch on the cable.
I had Reed.
I had Reed too.
You might be right on that.
Is flats considered inside out? I mean, not really, but isn't that how Reed did it?
Reed was doing them in the flats behind the ski too. I think it's in his volume 4 part, his pro spotlight.
Yeah, we'll have to dig into that one. And then
Fact check on that
third one.
Double kickflip flat, and then first heel flip.
Reed Hands.
First heel flip.
It's another hotly
It's
debated
actually-
one. Toe side, inside out, Brian Dalton.
I actually was like, I drug one out before I posted that one right after Reed, but I wouldn't call it a land. Like
I think Brett Little.
Brett Little
claimed
too
that as well.
Yeah,
because I know he was doing some stuff at.
I saw
TSR
Brett. I saw Brett drag one out before I had landed one.
Gotcha.
First available clip
This is
was
what it was
definitely
like
Reed.
back then.
Reed's
too.
clip
I like
was
this.
the
Like,
first
I heard
one.
this guy did one. I heard he drug one out, and then I heard he got it, and then like this guy's claiming it, but nobody believes him. It was like, yeah, there was a lot of that. Back
Was
then.
there?
Reed's clip was the first one I saw,
His was so.
That was
and then I
legitimate.
went out and filmed one.
That was volume 4.
right after that.
Oh,
I was
so you're
like, damn it.
bang bang. Like I had that one.
Right, that was his volume.
I mean,
4
that
Pro
was
Spotlight.
yeah, volume 4 pro spotlight. He did the front heel in the same part, but he had been doing the heel flips for a little bit.
So good.
The heel flip and the tray flip were the two I remember like being the most like. There were so many people like adamant like it's not possible. The physics of a wake skate won't allow for it to flip that way. Like the heel flip and tray flip were definitely the two like benchmarks that like once those were knocked off the board, it was like anything's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, that's got to be an exciting time. Then
It was like boards were evolving right then too to let it happen, right?
Yeah, it was definitely all kind of like coming to a head as far as like we had our generation of riders had already had like the Thomas Harrell, like the cassette team. We had like the basis laid and the technology caught up and it just, it went crazy. Specifically like Nick and Reed, what was the video? They had like a shared video part because like to capitalize on their like going back and forth. There was literally a video part that was
In its
like,
travels.
In its travels. That was Nick Taylor versus Reed Hansen. And it was full of like 50 MBDs. Like the whole part, whole part is just MBDs. Like there's stuff.
Save some for the rest of us, guys. Jeez.
If we watch it today, there's some stuff where you're like, they did that back then. Like I think I watched it a couple years ago and like Reed is like a front board varial flip off of an incline.
Yeah,
or
I remember
something.
that
and like
one.
I thought that was like decades later, basically, and it was happening all back then because that the two of them, I forgot about Matt. Matt was also a part of that. Like these guys were just like on each other's tail. Like I landed this, yeah, well I landed this one. Like it was definitely an exciting time to be a part of wake skating.
The magazines played a pretty big part in that too, like Wakeboard Mag, Alliance, but for some reason, especially SBC, the Canadian mag, they had like a whole like 8-page feature of like Nick Taylor versus Reed Hansen, like these are the new rivals forever, like, and they like kind of made it this thing where we're both just like, all right, I guess this is the role we play, like let's do this, and then we're very different people in a lot of ways, so it kind of like naturally culminated in that, and I was never much of a competitive guy before that, but it kind of led me right to it, to where it kind of lit that fire.
Yeah. That's
Do
interesting.
they got like manufactured beefs like that in wakeboarding today?
I don't think but we need it. We need it.
They never really had the beef like there. If you went to an actual event, they're hanging out together, like they're friends. But if you didn't know them, you would think like these two guys hate each other. They're competing against each other for tricks. Like that's not something that I feel like we see these days. But I think it was it made me more interested in who was the first one to land something for sure.
It felt like a race.
Yeah.
Like it was fun.
It's exciting to follow.
Oh yeah, it was super fun.
Just out of curiosity, in like wakeboarding history, what's the first thing that comes to mind in your mind as far as like a good rivalry, like a good competitive rivalry from any era?
I mean, OG, I feel like Parks, Darren, you could maybe say like they're both insane. I think they don't overlap quite as much as like you guys did. Like you guys were in at the exact same time. Phil's had some.
I was gonna say, who was his main route? Was it like Harley and him didn't have much overlap, right?
They had a good amount of like not a ton. Not a ton. That was a good one. But Phil was just so fucking good, dude. Like you could kind of say he was a rival with almost everybody in a sense, but he's so good. Right now, Nick Rappa and Corey Tunison are kind of
they go at it.
They go out on the boat side of things. Cable side's tough because Trent is just so fucking good.
Absolutely dominant.
Part of me loves it when someone is just so dominant that everybody else is just competing for second place.
It's cool. I think it's interesting for sure. Yeah, that's a good question though in the history of wakeboarding. I'm sure there are some.
I remember when I was first kind of coming on the scene. That's kind of how it was with, the wake stuff behind the boat was like it was basically like, all right, yeah, Parks can do his run with his eyes closed, and that's like, and then he can do it switch, and he's gonna get first. Like, who's gonna get second?
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, what if he falls? Yeah, well, he's not going to.
Exactly. He's going to land it. And Parks Darren's probably not a good answer, but that's the first one I can think of.
Eventually, people caught up, though. The same will happen, I think. Like,
fully.
Trent's definitely kicking everyone into another gear now. You see, I feel like as I follow wakeboarding, I'm starting to now see people where I'm like, oh, that kid could actually give him a run for his money, too. So it's cool to see the truly dominant athletes come in and they like just
raise the whole level
of the entire sport.
I mean, me and you were there. We
were talking about it today.
Didn't know the kid, but his name's Preston. He just busted off 2 back-to-back heel back tens.
Yeah. Like Persichetti, come on.
Yeah.
He's established.
He's established.
He's a guy.
But like to just pull up and see that as like, oh, that's the standard now. Like that's.
Well, it's been like 10 years or plus since I'd been to OW, and I was just like saying how crazy it is. There's like 12 under 21-year-olds, like they're not like us partying. They definitely were, in shape and focused on wakeboarding, and it's like, I don't know, it's wild.
It was a cool scene. I mean, they all had they were backed up with their tailgates up, all like watching then riding and kind of rotating in and out. And yeah, you're definitely right. I mean, to smash kickers like that and bust off back-to-back back tens, like that's high effort maneuvers right there for sure. All right, I think we dive into a LF'n Hot Seat presented by Liquid Force. So they like to make wakeboarding fun and wake skating fun. We got DG on this one, so he's going to put all you guys on the LF'n Hot Seat. So we're going to kind of go around the table and you guys can give your 2 cents on this question from Daniel Grant.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? Been summoned in for the Liquid Force Hot Seat. I'm stoked because this one's the most wakeskate heavy friggin' episode we got. But my question for all you wake skaters would be, what does wake skating need to do to grow without losing its identity? Basically, what would you do and what would you push particularly and why would you do it? And where does the future of our sport lie? How do you guys feel? Take care. You.
Beautiful. Who wants to start? TJ's got a little smirk, huh?
I mean, I think it's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know how much like I want to delve too far into it, but like, I mean, I think like the X Games thing that they just did and like what we're doing again, not to like try too hard to hype it up, but like we kind of touched on a little bit earlier. Like I really do think bringing it to people is the most important thing we need to do. So one of the, kind of things we've maybe overlooked in wake skating is accessibility was always the thing that was like making it popular in the beginning. It's how I found it. I found wakeboarding first, but before wakeboarding, I found skateboarding. Once I hit the limits of what I could do behind my tiny little Boston Whaler, when I found out that wake skating was a thing, I was like, I'm going to try to do all my skateboard tricks that I knew how to do on this board, and I'm still trying to do that to this day. Like the ceiling was much higher at a much lower entry point, and that's a huge advantage for us, I think. Like wake skating can be done literally anywhere. We need a puddle. It doesn't even need to be, we don't need to be able to swim. Like a flooded puddle after a storm can be wake skated behind, whether it's a winch, a bike, running. Like I think the first time that I actually rode was not behind a boat or anything. It was in a flooded puddle on like a knee board that we were just standing on, and two of our friends were running with a rope and pulling us. We'd run and jump on it and do shove-its and stuff, like that's wake skating still, like I didn't know it yet at that time, but that's still wake skating. And I think it's a big advantage that we have of how easy it is to bring it to people. So I don't necessarily have like a roadmap or a game plan on like what to do with it, but I feel like
accessibility is huge.
Yeah, the accessibility is the thing that is like leaning in our favor as far as, where to go from it. We could go doom and gloom easily. It's hard not to when you're talking about like, reminiscing on all the things we've done and seen in wake skating, the highs that we've been to. Like it's easy to kind of like feel like it's all like, like it's dying or it's died already. And, in many regards it has, or at least that version of it. But I don't think it's done forever, just because of how accessible it is and how it can be done anywhere, small spaces, large spaces, whatever towing device. We don't need an obstacle. We don't need a wake or anything. If you give me flat water and I can get up to 17 miles an hour, I can do tricks, and like, I think that's pretty big for as far as where we could go with it. And I've not given up on it as far as like bringing it to people, and whether it's contest or videos or what. I think the optimist in me looks at just how easy it is to bring to people and how little it takes to make it look fun, because it is fun. The four of us here collectively got a couple 100 years of wake skating close, pushing close to it under us. Like
mostly you.
Yeah.
Well, and to piggyback, like boats and jet skis, they're not going anywhere. A wake skate's always going to be something that can just be thrown on the boat like super easily. And shots fired here probably, but like people are going to get bored of pumping foils eventually, and they're going to want to.
I am here for those shots.
Why do I feel like all those fingers are pointing at me right now?
But to also like kind of go back to the X Games thing, I think like the crossover part of like wake skating, snowboarders use winches, skimboarders are now using winches, surfers use winches, like finding more ways that we can like collaborate with some of these other action sports to get like other eyes on it, like especially for snowboarders. Like, after snowboarding season's over, you got to find something else to do. So I like the collaboration with the X Games piece, and I think there's probably some opportunity there, like with some other sports, to kind of collab. And it's so crazy to see like just action sports like evolve. I mean, I'm much older than everybody here, so like I went through, like, I was a rocket power kid, and it's weird to see this like coming together where now like there's like jam contests with like rollerblading and skateboarding, but like now they all just hate scooter kids, and like but like now they're cool, and I feel like that's kind of like the same like thing with wakeboarding and wake skating. So I'm here for it. So
Like that. I think Nick Keaton.
I mean, I could just add to their thing. I think what my goal at the whole X Games thing is to bring it to a mass audience in person. Like all the boat contests when we were younger, and even the wake skate tour, or not the wake skate tours, like some of the toe jams. You you're watching on shore and that boat goes far away.
It's just not a good product, honestly.
No, it's not. I mean, the like toe jams that had the pool gaps were sick.
Yeah.
You can line them, and that's like what we're building off of. And I really think, I mean, and I'm not trying to toot the X Games horn, and I'm not trying to give away too much, but this year is a backbone to maybe what could be done moving forward.
Kind of like a copy paste situation. Where
a little bit. I think it's got to be like modified per location and crew and things, but like we're super excited for this one. And I mean, it's basically what Daniel's asking. Like we're putting all of our energy into this. I mean, like I deal with on the work side, really big contracts and things like that. And I've never worked as hard on anything as I am with this X Games thing, because I believe so much in it. And like, it's kind of like we're getting older. And so I'm trying to build something that the next generation can kind of take on. And the goal is to be medaling, but also just show the crowd what can be done in such a small space. Like DJ said, it's winch driven in total from where our pool starts to where the winches are. I think we're 200 feet ish, and they can walk full 360 around us. They can talk to us. I mean, the best part of last X Games was talking to the kids in Splash Zone. And
Splash Zone, dude.
Splash Zone was my bread and butter.
And we have a huge Splash Zone at this next one. But like, I mean, it was so cool to like, Nick does a tray flip or a hard flip, and as he's walking back, there's 15 kids there holding pins out, trying to get signatures. They've never seen wake skating before, but they just got to walk up to a pro of a sport or somebody performing at a high level and interact with them. So this is my push. That's my answer.
And I think it was interesting Daniel included identity in that. And I think it sounds like, I mean, obviously you guys, what we just talked about the last 30 minutes about first tricks land and all that stuff, wake skating I think is always focused. You guys have cared about the identity of wake skating, right, and the appearance of it, and I think that's an important thing at least to keep going forward. And it sounds like that is fitting in with what you at least can feel comfortable with, like going forward of this represents wake skating well. We feel good about the identity of this. So
that's the goal at the end of the day, is to like show it how we want it to be shown, but like be proud of that too. And this one, us being the builders, like we're gonna be pretty proud after this one, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think during the toe jam days is kind of like what he was saying. That's like when we learned that pool jams and rail jams and things like that, where you can get the audience right around to get them right up close to the action, is the best way to portray it to like the general public, and the best way to sort of present it like that. So for us to have the opportunity to do that on such an epic stage, especially one that has nostalgic ties to all of our rocket power childhoods, was just like, that was the pinnacle, was going X Games. Thank you. Was going X Games mode with it.
X Games mode.
So yeah, just on that front, I'd say this is by far the best thing we're doing in that direction. This year. And then, I think one thing that the early days had, when Wake was first growing, was there were a lot of teams, a lot of companies doing demo tours, clinic tours, going all kinds of lakes. Now it'd probably be more cable parks, but just kind of like bringing the team out there, doing like, light coaching, and basically just showing people like, hey, this is what we do. This is who we are. If you want to be cool like us, then
more or less it is that though.
But it is. It's like, for a kid, a young kid who's trying to figure out like who they want to be, and you give them this option. Like that was me with wake skating. I came into this little tiny world with all these crazy cool, characters and personalities, and I was just like, I want to vibe with these guys. Like I want to do that with the board, but I also want to be one of these guys.
Yeah.
And so I think, during, I don't want to call it our peak or our heyday, but basically during that 2007 to, 2017 kind of time frame, where we were some of the shakers and movers, we were some of the culture makers. Whatever we were at that point just kind of naturally became what wake skaters were. Everyone's wearing cutoff jeans and tie-dye shirts and listening to Dr. Dog. That's just what a wake skater was at that point. But it was, for all of us and, for many, many people outside this room, it was just kind of like what that community coalesced into naturally. So I think by taking what we already do naturally, putting it on a big stage, the rest kind of happens on its own.
Yeah. Kind of a trickle down from the top situation, which makes sense.
I'm stoked that we're doing it with wakeboarding too, because I think the same is true as far as like, not only do we need to like leave something for the next generation to like be able to pick up and run with, we need to also like make sure that we're creating the audience for them, or like helping to create the audience. And like, I think when I was younger, I thought it was more important to be putting out the best possible content to my standard or to our standards. Now I think it's more important to look fun. Like you were saying, what drew us into it, it almost like feels like it skipped the generation when we thought we had to take it so serious. Like now I see that it's so easy to make it look fun, and that is like the thing to lean into. That's what I get most excited about now too, is like we were talking, you said your epitome of like riding as a Sea-Doo session, like, with a couple of friends out in some nice water. Like that definitely was mine at one point. I think right now, if you ask me like today, I really like being at the park. I like interacting with, being able to show somebody wake skating for the first time is literally like, I get tingles feeling. Like I cannot describe how fun it is to see someone else see it for the first time, get genuinely excited about it, and then be a part of either teaching them how to do it or just leaving them with that feeling of like, I want to do that, like and for me, the easiest place to find that right now is at the park. I show up there and like, there's almost guaranteed someone that's never seen wake skating before, it's going to see it for the first time, and I'm going to have a conversation about it. And it's going to get me fired up, keep me coming back.
Yeah. I mean, every time I go to the cable, I bring a stack of boards and just set them at the operator tower and just let everyone know, like, if you want to wake skate, just grab one.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
That is super
It's a demo when Keaton shows up.
Yeah.
No, I sit on the sidelines more these days, but no, it's super fun. Like TJ said, to like teach everyone. And Wake Island's like, that's where I ride mostly. And it's like, it's about that. It's about teaching that next generation and having a good time while doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love those answers. I think those are all spot on. And I think, Tad, you were kind of saying earlier about wake skating can never die. And I feel the same way about wakeboarding, because people are going to have boats. They're going to have all these things to skip across the water on. It's not going to go away. Like it's fun. So fun things don't go away. Like they ebb and they flow and they change. But if it's still fun, it's not going to go anywhere permanently. So
a day on the lake is forever.
For sure.
Yeah, put that on a sign and put it above your in your bathroom.
I didn't even grow up riding on lakes, but I still feel it.
Let's hit another Patreon question from Kyle Hyams, and he's got a two-parter here. And we're going to dive a little bit back into winching. So he's wondering, what's been everybody's favorite and least favorite spots to film at? I guess it doesn't have to be winching, but
I'm just going to dive into this and say my favorite winch spot to hit was Pastura in Australia, which I think Belcito said the same thing when he came on. It's just like one of those mythical places that was not built with wake skating in mind. But the fact that you're staying at the top, you can either go left and hit a small drop and then to a perfect ledge to drop. You can go to the right. You can hit 4 small drops in a row. You can kind of cross one side or the other, end up in this little bowl, and get spit out with just the perfect amount of landing room. And it's just a nice big grassy open area. The police will show up and be like, oh, that's pretty cool, yeah, and then dip out. Like, there's just, to me, I've been all over the world winching and wake skating, and that was, like, if I could just hit the portal gun right now and go winch one spot, it would be Pastura.
that's it. Yeah, it looks insane. Why is that there?
So the question was worst spot to wake skate, though?
Favorite and least favorite. Spots to film at.
Okay, least favorite. The ledge to drop spot in Tampa, it looks so cool. Like, I remember seeing it thinking, like, I got so many tricks I want to do on that spot. Least favorite spot I've ever wake skated. For whatever reason, like, where the ledge is, where you land, it's just, like, the shallowest part. It's because it's a pond, so, like, that where you're trying to come off is, like, barely water, depending on how much it's just rained, and it's all seashells on the bottom. So it just, every time you fall, no matter how good you starfish and don't go in, you're just getting cheese grated. Like,
Is this the one that was wall rid? That wakeboard
no, that's 441.
Okay, different one.
Like, I thought that one came to mind too, because those at the second part of that drop, the little tiny little drop, where there's the rocks on the seawall, those rocks are just covered in snakes. You will never not see a snake when you go there. No. They are
That's
just
a no from me,
oozing
dog.
out of every crack. There's snakes everywhere. There's people
Oozing out of every crack is not what you want to hear with
There are
snakes.
literally people that fish for them there. Like, there's these Haitian dudes down there fishing and pulling the snakes out of there because they eat them. They're everywhere.
And that spot is super sketchy because boats come flying down there at like 50 miles an hour and you can't see them. Like, if you're the winch driver and the winch is like up on the top of the hill, you can't really see anything coming from under the bridge. And even from the other side, we had a session when somebody flew by, caught the rope, and got tangled up in the prop. The winch got demounted from the stakes and like shot down into the rocks TJ was just talking about and landed like this far from the water. And it was crazy.
That's
like,
basically that time that I
and
told
then
you. This is the what could have happened, basically.
The spool was just like screaming. The boat kept going. Ben, I think it was Ben.
Did he cut it?
Ben ran down there with a knife and was just like chopping at it and cut the rope. Otherwise, it would have just gotten yanked. And then you see the boat like 400 yards down the canal, just like with his prop up, like, what did I run over? And that dude
that's some strong fishing line.
that dude had 2,000 feet of winch line or something crazy.
That's just a bad day for everybody.
Right.
Yeah, nobody's having.
But
fun
like,
in that
if you're
situation.
the rider in that situation, like you hit the first drop and then you got to do whatever trick down the little mini drop, and then you're in the no wake zone canal. Like, so imagine being a rider and like a boat just coming flying down there. Like,
I had that spot
sketch.
all day and never knew a boat could ever go through there until that day that I saw one go through, and I was like, I was just riding across that, not even looking.
Right.
Like,
yeah, that spot's gnarly. But I mean, it's a sick spot. First wall ride, really, I think, or at least winching wall ride, I'd say, went down there.
Yeah.
Ledge
Keaton?
to drop does suck. Seashells?
yeah.
Oh, I think everyone that's gone there has gotten smoked at least once. Salty fresh. I love riding it, but it's
gross.
seashells,
Yeah.
and you have to climb up the like banks, and you just get cut up. It's a fun one, but you never like come out clean on that one.
I just always remember at that one having to like scoop off like dead fish and dead birds
There's
and
a
stuff
dead
off
dog
the
in
Dead
top.
turtle
Yeah.
one time. I don't
Dead
remember.
dog.
Oof.
There's a dead dog in the top.
Jeez.
It's a good spot though. Like you can go up and down it, and it's really long and wide.
Nick and crew, I think, like did some
we were
little
doing-
slider action.
We were doing like, basically wall ride back lips across the top and
The
then
whole
kinda
thing,
dropping
like-
back in. Yeah.
I always like when people went down it and then back up it.
As
I think
say,
that's the best way to hit it.
Ben,
That's my favorite
Ben was
way.
the first one I saw go down and then back up it when we were shooting some stuff for. I think that might have even been pre-Aqua Frolics. I think we were just shooting some Nike stuff there with Letchworth. Yeah.
Epic.
The hallway spot's a pain in the ass to hit too, because of the same reason. There's like
Those two
two
slats.
horizontal pieces that you have to like whip the rope up under. You have to climb up from the bottom and go around it. It's just
Someone
like
has
a
to
lot.
throw you the rope for every hit.
It's a lot of
basically.
work. It looks cool, but yeah, it's just a lot of work. One of my least favorite to film at, just because of how long it takes in between each hit.
Oh, it's so boring. Yeah. Takes forever. I saw it. We were watching a clip and it was you, and you had a water bottle attached to the line. I want to know what's behind the water bottle tech. What's up with that?
I want to say I learned this one from Andrew. Just put a water bottle where like a floaty would be, and so if it, you lose the handle, you kind of can see where it's at.
Yeah.
It floats. It's we all have water bottles in the truck. It'll break after a certain amount of times. Just tie another one right on there.
It's not a necessity though. Like when you the winch handles float on their own, but after you winch with it and you
It does
It's just a piece of shit,
It's
yeah.
literally a metal pipe that's hollow in it. So sometimes you got to tie something that floats to it, otherwise it sinks.
I mean, it's been preached 100 times. Like if you have it's not etiquette, but just have these like certain base rules when you're winching, like dropping the handle or holding on, or the bottle on the rope. It can make or break the whole session for sure.
You don't want to make it any harder on yourself out there than you,
so
than you
hard.
need to.
And I was gonna say, best winch spot at my age, the ones that are the least amount of work. I can show up and just hit them.
When was the last time everybody's hit a spot here?
I actually, we have a kayak park in downtown Reno. Andrew Pastura lives in Reno now. Andrew and I hit that all summer long. You set up the winch on this bridge. The cops come, hang out. There's the whole downtown Reno's hanging out, and it's like a natural little spot. We hit it all summer.
That sounds fun.
And there's a ledge that goes along the whole thing from where we start to where the winch is. And so you just get out of the water, walk
Easy
on a
walk
dry
back.
ledge. We've built a start little dock down there in the bushes. Just start and go.
Damn.
It's so easy.
That's sick.
Me and my friend Alex will go, and we both have kids, and we can be in and out, just the two of us, in an hour and get 10 pulls each.
Yeah.
It's rad.
Damn, that's so fun.
Well, if we're counting flat water, then the last time
Yeah.
I winched was yesterday before work.
Dang.
No one's going to beat that answer.
Nick's getting ready for X Games.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
got up at 4:30, took the winch down to this little kind of it's basically lava rock that makes a little lagoon right at the beach. Just staked the winch in, had the self-driving handle on the moto winch, pulled myself for an hour before work, and then just went in and flew the rest of the day.
That's living right there, dude. That's living.
It was a good way to start the day.
Nice.
TJ?
I think the last time I actually winched at a spot would have been in 2020. I got a gas winch from my buddy Chris Zachary. He had it sitting in his shed. It was COVID. There was nothing going on, and I was like, "Can I take the winch?" And he just let me take it. It's geared like a little slow for me at least. Like I need to adjust the gearing to get the top end a little higher. I took it to the Howell ledge in 2020. I don't think I even hit the ledge is cracked and has a huge crack in it, so I just ollied down the drop going 16 miles an hour. But the last time I went winching, I didn't ride. I just went on a winch mission, which was pretty fun, with Campbell Scarborough and a couple of the homies from the cable, Keegan and Chase.
Oh, you were with that squad.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was just at the cable, and they were like, we're getting ready to go winch, and I didn't have anything to do afterwards. I was like, all right, I'll come pull up for a little bit.
Yeah.
It was cool. I got to drive the re-winch. I don't think I'd driven the re-winch before that, but they went to the Megan Ethel ledge.
Is that what we call it?
I mean, I think I would have called it the Holden ledge before that, but now I call it the Megan Ethel ledge.
Yeah, that's what we call it.
Damn, that's sick. I'd love to have
it
a
is a
ledge
fun
named
spot.
after me.
It's a sick spot.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I think Alex
need somebody
Ams
to pull up a clip of that.
Alex Ams just dropped a clip of just getting smoked on it.
Oh, I was there. I think I got a sequence of that.
Oh, you were there for that? Yeah.
I think
That thing's been hit by
It's just
everybody.
it's a ledge just with what do you call those retaining ponds here in Florida?
Retention pond, yeah.
Or retention pond.
Yeah.
But it's weird. It goes through the middle of the pond, but it doesn't go all the way through. So,
you
it's
can
not
hit
really
it.
doing anything.
Yeah.
It's cool because it's
I
like
think I
a
can
rare
picture it.
kick out. You've definitely seen it before. BT and George and those
They
guys
used
are
to
the
hit a
first
lot
ones.
back
in
in the
there.
yeah, Dieter was the one I was
Dieter,
picturing on it.
yep.
Landing is quick on
Yeah,
that
it's
one.
a
You-
short
There's not a lot of water left after
Yeah.
that, I don't think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a short landing.
It's nice though because you don't get kicked out. You can just go show up all day at that one. And
It's kind of like secluded, yeah. And then, yeah.
Well, I'm not going to talk about the last time I rode behind a winch because I don't remember. Probably over a decade. But I've been on a lot of winch
I
missions.
say Arizona 2015. You did a big shove down that drop.
Big show.
Oh yeah, I've done some pretty big shoves over the years. I think my biggest.
he
I
looks
think
up and just says fondly
I think the biggest shove I did was the big drop in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
you
was-
did
that's
that?
a big
That is a
shove.
big
That's
shove.
beef- yeah, the double set.
Yeah, I think I big shoved that.
I'm impressed.
Respect, Grandpa. I didn't know.
Just so
Like,
we're
I didn't
clear,
get down like
56.
that.
just so we're clear, Tad rips on a wake skate. Like
Yeah,
we
I,
used to. He lived on Lake Georgia, right? And
Yeah.
that's like when Tad and I met each other, and we would just session. It was this weird era where boards were so hard to get, and you, me, Andrew, and CZ shared one board.
Yeah, we were all just.
That's sick.
It was wild. It was a new or something.
Yeah, I think it was just like the time where once you found a good shape and a good board, you just wanted to ride it.
Yeah.
And then it was hard. It was like a consistency thing, at least for the wood boards. But I think that was the last time. When I was in the Philippines on that trip, I rode so much because we were there for Rockstar, and they had specific hours where they wanted to shoot, and then there was a time in the middle of the day, and then after where we just didn't have anything to do. So I just wake skated so much.
Did
And
big shoves.
we were talking about teaching people how to wake skate and stuff. And I remember there was one session where we just all kind of took over the main cable when we weren't filming, and then we convinced them to slow the cable down a little bit, and then every wakeboarder there was just forced to wake skate, and then but they had so much fun. They were hyped on it. We had over 20 people wake skating.
Yeah,
That's rad.
So sick.
Shit. Damn.
Yeah, it was
I had
cool.
forgotten about that. That's
But
so fun.
I want to answer because we were just talking about this, Nick, but one of my favorite spots to film at was when Nick was just talking about getting hurt at, but that log jam in Northern California. Just because we always had such good interactions with the locals there, and it's such a unique spot where to just find this perfect incline tree that had fallen over.
Yeah, so it's basically a campsite, north of San Francisco. You're surrounded by redwoods and all these giant, sequoias and just beautiful trees, and it was a pretty different landscape, different surroundings than we were used to. And you kind of just pull up, you're walking through the woods, this old school wake skater, Lee Ferkla, is showing us a zone that he had a spot for us. And we're like, all right, what could possibly be at the other end of this trail? And you open up, it's just this gorgeous little valley with a river running through it. It's a place that you would expect to go trout fishing, basically, super peaceful. And then there's just a perfectly angled incline tree sticking out of the ground. You can tell it had been there for decades because the wood's just like perfectly smoothed over from people climbing up it and jumping into the water. And it was just so rippable. I mean, we probably rode that thing from sun up to sundown that day.
Any trip that we were doing from Silas's down the coast, because we did that multiple times, we would stop there.
Yeah, we did that when we got my van too.
Yeah, it was such a cool spot, and like you didn't have to do anything. Like the natural like erosion from the water and like people using it, like it was just ready to go when you showed up. It was crazy.
I like that you mentioned like just the like the thing that stuck out to you was the interactions with the locals. I feel like that is the most underrated aspect of winching, aside from the work and how like I feel like we made it all sound really terrible. Like we were talking about terrible places to ride. The coolest part about it is the interacting with random locals. And I know you started like kind of your like side quest that you got going about the walk back.
Yeah.
I think I'm really excited to hear more of those, because like hearing Gavin talk about like, you know, when he was hitting that the highway wall, and he's just like as he's walking the rope back, he's walking along a highway. And he's just looking at it, waiting to jump in the water. He waits to make eye contact with a car, and then just jump in.
So funny.
Just wonder like what those people that saw that are
so
thinking.
good.
Do you guys remember Tyler Mangus used to do this thing? I've seen him do it like at more than one winch spot, and it's referenced in a couple of videos. But it's just such a reoccurring thing where people come up and they ask you about the winch. It's guaranteed. They're like, "What is that thing?" He just made it a habit to like just come up with the most absurd thing to tell them. Just randomly one. I know he did like said it was like a generator for shocking fish. It's like for fishing. Another time he said, he's like, yeah, so like it's like a bunch of rubber bands, just like a whole bunch of rubber bands. And this guy's just looking at him, nodding. And at the end of it, he's like, and where would you get a thing like that? And he's like, I don't know, probably like Toys R Us or something.
But
straight his face. And I just remember like loving that anytime I was riding with winching with Tyler, that he was always going to come up with some crazy off the wall thing for what a winch was.
Yeah, never a dull moment, I think. And if you have a dull moment, all day winching, that's impressive.
You did it wrong.
Yeah, you did it. Something's gone awry. Yeah.
I think everyone has a clip of like doing a trick, landing, and then like some crazy crowd member, you know, shouting, or some bum there or something like that you've made friends with throughout the day that's on your side and stoked that you landed it, you know?
Yeah.
The clip that comes to my mind is, I think it was Austin Pastura. I think he does the kickflip down that like brick wall. And then like
Jacksonville brick wall.
No, it was in Alabama.
Kansas? Oh.
And then Aaron Pastura like pans over, and there's just like this dude like hyped. And then like everybody in the background is so hyped. It's like one of my favorite clips. It's so fun.
It's a huge moment for everyone.
They don't know what they're seeing. They just know you rode away and you were
Yeah.
trying it for a while.
Yeah.
They're like,
And if they see you celebrate a little bit, they're gonna amplify.
yeah, they're like, they're silly. I'm doing it.
That's your crowd. That's who you're showing up for.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the funniest ones that I had was actually at that Kansas City spot, the ledges with that drop right there. I mean, it's like that's a pretty rough area. That's a pretty gnarly spot, and there were just some characters that were like so hyped on it, and they were just their reactions were like you're just not gonna see that if you're on a boat landing a new trick, or you're not gonna see that even just our normal waterways. Like you got to get out there amongst it to see.
Yeah,
stuff
you're not
like
gonna see it
that.
at cable either.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah,
exactly.
yeah. I always try and put myself in the shoes of the people that see winching, and like, what in my life do I see that's as crazy as what they're picturing in their head? Because like, if you've never seen wakeboarding, wake skating before, and you've never seen winching before, like that's got to be just what is even going on in front of you? You know, so I can't picture anything that I've seen like that in my life. But it's
I've seen some weird shit on social media these days.
Plus you live in
Ted?
Florida.
Weird stuff going
Florida
on
men
these
doing
days.
Florida man,
Florida
yeah.
men things. Yeah.
TJ, like he secretly like hits
Infecting his
he
algorithm.
likes weird shit on the algorithm
Facts.
on purpose. He tells me he does it on purpose, so I come across it, and then I just see TJ like this.
And he's got the top comment on it.
Yeah.
You do be throwing comments out,
Got a
dude.
couple viral comments for sure.
He's a hammer in that regard.
But like, there's definitely stuff where I'm like, I don't actually like this. I want
more.
my friends to see it, and then also see
I
that
see
I
'em.
liked it.
Yeah.
And you get more of it. You know, like
you're patient
it
zero.
It escalates.
super spreader.
All right, let's dive into another segment presented by Slingshot Wake. So this is Slings Hot Takes. So these are 10 kind of rapid fire questions here. We'll go around the table. We'll start with TJ, then we'll go down to Keaton. So number one is favorite wake part. You can go wake skate part, but
Favorite wake part of all time. Oh, all right. This is easy. You guys teed it up for me. Danny Hampson pre-pop.
Oof.
talking about that earlier.
Bang on.
Yes.
Dad?
Same question.
Stole your part. Sorry.
No, I'll just say Matt Hooker more than machines.
Let's go.
I'm gonna hit the Andrew Pastura Fun Boots.
Nice.
Like it.
Life changing.
I want to go with one of those, but the reason I wake skate, Danny Hampson asterisk.
Damn! Shout out Danny getting two out of the 4.
Yeah.
True. He's getting some good airtime on that one.
I mean, his part in Such Is Life too. That could easily be
Yeah.
my answer as well.
That's why I was stoked when you said Danny on your Rushmore.
Yeah.
So many good things, so many good parts.
He's got 50% of that answer there.
You can't not be on it.
Yeah.
And I feel like pre-pop and Such Is Life too, those were like probably some of the last really heavy wake skate and wakeboard videos, I would say.
When did Pre-Pop come out? Very
05.
early
05.
2000s? 2005?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly shot in 04. Came out in 05.
Okay. Number 2. If there was one rider you could bring back in the game, who would it be and why?
Chris Callis.
Damn it.
Oh,
Firing from the hip.
I mean, it was just you hadn't seen him earlier when we.
No,
when
dude, that guy got me fired up,
We were
dude.
killing time. We brought up some videos, and like I don't know how Chris came up, but we brought up some videos. It's just the style was like undeniable ahead of its time. I remember that was another one for us. Like we were first put on to him on wakeskating.com. He was on there, same thing as a part of that like. In that wave of like everybody racing to be the first ones to do stuff, Chris was one of the first first 5 people that I ever saw do a backside flip.
Yeah.
And the only people before that would have been like the, elite top of the top guys. Like that was the backside flip, I think was even before like, the racing for the heel flip and the tray flip. It was George Daniels was the one that was documented and fill in the blanks, but like arguably Aaron Reed might've done it before him. And the clip for that one would have been, it's in like this old instructional video called The Book. There was a wake skate version of The Book, and in the advanced The Book, like when they get to the advanced tricks, they start talking about flip tricks and they don't actually teach you to do them, but Aaron has an inside out backside flip in that, and that would have been 2005 as well. So it's the same year that George did his.
Yeah.
But like who did it is before?
04.
04. Yeah. That's when George did his?
Yeah.
Okay, so then it was probably George, but Aaron Reed and George were battling for the backside.
They were
flip.
battling for that one for a while.
Damn. Ted? One rider you could bring back in the game?
Just like somebody that doesn't really wake skate anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, this is easy. Stu Shin.
Oh, I knew that was going to be it.
Okay.
I knew that was going to be it. That was mine.
I thought you were going to go Matt Hooker again.
Nick?
He stole mine, so we'll go to Keaton.
Austin.
I'll take another.
Right? We'd all love to watch it.
Yep.
Yeah. I like it. Most underrated wakeboard.
Wait. He didn't get his.
You want to go different answer than Stu Shin?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna dig deep. I'm gonna find another one. I'm gonna go pretty far back. I actually would love to have seen what Philip Bissino would have done with his style in like 04, 05. Was like he was one of my favorite riders to watch. He was one of the guys riding the Campus K39 right there with George Daniels, Clint Tompkins, like some of the heavies at that point. And then he kind of just like, after Esoteric was probably the last we saw him, like 06. But if he would have kind of, stayed in the game, been on that curve and kind of like, progressed the same way that everybody else was at that time, I would love to have seen his style with like some of the more modernized tricks and some of the later moves that were done. And like trying to picture him winching is like
His style is just like
I loved watching him.
kind almost like what Stu's style became eventually. That like doing
Almost lazy.
Really, yes, lazy is the like
Effortless.
they could at any point fall asleep.
Narcoleptic, yeah. With
Yes, narcoleptic is a
Narco
great
Narcostes.
But like I mean, really, like that's it. Just they had that like effortless. Philip especially had that effortless style that like it just looked like he was not trying, and you wondered like, what if he tried hard? But it wouldn't look as cool. It looked cool because very little effort exerted to do it.
Yeah.
Honorable mentions on that one, because you were going back at like what they could have been. Blake Steele, Josh Norman.
Honorable mention, Duffman.
Shout out
Lance Duffett.
Duff.
Yeah.
Since Esoteric got brought up, another one of mine is, another what if David Hansen, David Hansen never got injured and was able to, because he, like, honestly, 06, 07, he was kind of right there landing new tricks no one had ever been done, that had never been done, hitting rails like anybody else could. His video parts at that point were on par with what everybody else was doing.
Such good style too.
But yeah, he just was plagued with injuries, knees busting
Yeah.
everywhere.
I always remember that narc P, like the grip tape,
On his
like
grip,
huge
yeah.
narc for Narcoosey
busting
posse.
camel flips and back tails and stuff. Yeah, so Dave Hansen, another honorable mention.
Damn, solid names. I mean, this one's kind of in the same vein, but most underrated wake skater.
Andrew Fortenberry.
That's a good one.
That's
He
my-
could do everything
that's
too.
my
That's a
firm
pretty
an-
rare.
that's my
That's
firm
one that
answer
like
now.
there's people that are good at a lot of things. Andrew is one of those dudes that like could at a toe jam or something where they used to do like boat, winch, cable. Like Andrew is one of those guys that could hang with the best of the best no matter what. Whether they're going winching a spot, Andrew's doing a heavy trick in a few tries. You're going behind the boat,
ATV.
he's top 5 on the boat. Like he was heavily slept
Yeah.
on.
And he landed everything like first try.
And he had the AMI Island Steez.
I remember I was judging one of the Valdosta contests, and he like did all the tricks that he had like practiced, and he like ran out of tricks with like plenty of time left in the heat, and he just comes up to the judge's booth and he's like, "What should I do?" And I said, "Backside big flip," and he did it first try, down the drop.
That's what I mean.
And then did it like several times too.
Yeah, I was just like, "You're insane, dude."
Must be
And
nice.
just by a matter of timing, things within the industry, like different factors basically outside of his control, it was just he never quite got that push that he needed to
Yeah.
kind of keep it going.
One
for
of
the
those what
industry.
ifs.
Yeah.
Do we agree on that one, or we got it?
No, I got another
I
one.
was going to say
Okay.
everybody's probably got 5 answers.
I think we mentioned him earlier, but Dieter Humsch. He's not. You even say he was like underrated. He was highly rated. Everybody knew he was one of the top guys. But I just feel like he's one that when we're talking about like all time best riders ever, like he's another one. Like he could do literally anything. He insane on the boat to this day. Has done things no one else has done. The style is outrageous. Like completely unique, his own. Like if we did the silhouette thing where you just show like
you could tell.
you could pick Dieter out of a lineup 10 out of 10 times, and he was just like ahead of his time with a lot of like the stuff he was trying. Like when lock-ins were becoming big, I remember Dieter had a video where he did a bunch of lock-in tricks on this, like he made an incline rail and a little retention pond. He did a bunch of lock-in tricks, front blunt, no slide, nose blunt. And then he did a session on the same rail where he took the lock-ins off and did front blunt, front nose blunt, where he was just using like the edge and leverage.
Kind of momentum, yeah.
I mean, the
That was
tricks
kinda
looked
his
identical.
thing.
There was times when like it almost looked better being leveraged than being set in. And it was just something like he put it out there on the internet of just like,
Just did it.
do you need lock-ins to do this? Like, is this a blunt or not? Like,
I can do it.
and we
That's funny
debated
'cause
about it
I
on the
re-
internet.
I remember you
but-
guys having that conversation already.
Yeah, that's a heavily debated topic. Where do you fall, Nick?
got him.
Yeah, where do you fall in the
I
blunts?
kind of set myself up for that.
I kind of ask now.
What, in terms of like wakeboarding?
Yeah, sure.
No, it's a blunted out front board.
Blunted.
But,
That's where I was. Right, I think that's where I was landing.
The same way that, tweaking a indie backside is not a new trick. It's an indie, but, you can do it with your own style. Yeah. A blunted front board on a wakeboard is still a front board.
Just a better front board. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, subjective.
Sure. Yeah.
All blunts matter, though.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
Some matter more than others.
I would agree with that for sure.
But I am not qualified to say, for wakeboarders out there, my opinion doesn't really matter.
Have you ever wakeboarded before?
So the last time I wakeboarded,
There were last time.
you're gonna
Have it ready to go.
You're probably gonna love this question.
Yeah.
The last time I wakeboarded was about 5 years ago. I got a phone call from Jordy Klein, who's a long time wake producer, and he used to ride pretty well back in the 90s too. You might recognize his boat is the one where the tower has the wings on it that they shoot a lot of boat shoots on.
Oh, like just Black Oak use it? Yeah, or whatever. Oh, okay. Yeah. That big thing. Gotcha.
Well, I think they might use
Or that kind of
other
boat.
guys, but yeah,
Yeah.
basically that Jordy, his family's been in cinematography for a long time. Anyway, he calls me up and says, "Hey, we're doing a commercial. Can you wakeboard?" I was like, "Yeah, anybody can. It's easy." and I was like, "Yeah, what do you need? I'm broke. Let's do this." And he was like, "All right, cool. Yeah, we're doing this commercial. You're actually gonna have to wakeboard in a Santa costume." I was like, all right, I need like a day to like warm up. Like, could we go out on your boat and like, I'll hit a few flips or whatever. And he's like, yeah, easy. And then I show up and it's like on the set and like, okay, why is Tom Brady getting splashed with water in front of a green screen? And he's like, well, you're going to be a stunt double today. You're going to wakeboard in a Santa costume.
I was not expecting this to go here.
And you're going to be Tom Brady. And I was like, all right, put that beard on me. Let's do this. And so I went out, hit a little couple 360s, a toe side back roll. And basically anytime I'd fall, the whole suit would soak up water.
Yeah.
It was like 60 pounds. And so I was just like, all right, like there's.
Wait, you fell? I thought that shit's easy.
It, no, I was joking.
The boat
fully
can't
joking
turn
about
around, so you have to drop.
Yeah, it was basically like they were basically like, yeah, you basically get 2 falls. Like think of it like a contest pass. And so basically
pressure's on.
Yeah, did a long run. Like just did what I knew I could just kind of like bust out real quick. But
where is the footage? Do we know where the footage is?
It's in a sunglasses commercial that kind of went all over Instagram.
I will dig this up.
And it's funny. It's like. It wasn't anything I was taking seriously. It was just kind of like a
Oh, that's epic though. Tom Brady's stunt double
If we
wakeboarding.
were gonna pick, if
costume.
we were like, hey, we got to come up with a Tom Brady's gonna wake skate or wakeboard, or whatever. We need a stunt double. Like you would be one of the first people.
Yeah.
I don't know if that
Easy.
but I think that's a
top of the
compliment.
list.
I think that's a compliment.
To me,
it's
the
highest of
funniest,
compliments,
funniest part was like on the actual YouTube of it and on the Instagram of it. I'm like just like flipping through the comments laughing because it's like a goofy video too. There's like CGI like sharks jumping out of the water and attack helicopters coming down and like all this. None of that was my choice, but I think I said before it's very on brand. But like all the comments, like I would scroll through and like every so often I'd like see a name I recognize and it's like a wakeboarder that like. Who is this? Who did this? Who's under there?
Like they're mad about it.
How do I not know who this is?
There were definitely people like making phone calls like, why wasn't I in this?
Why didn't I get the call?
Yeah, but it was just like.
Well, they had to call up a goat to represent the goat.
It was,
That's what you got to do.
No, it was just such a funny one-off to get a phone call and be like, hey, you can wakeboard? I was like, I'm literally broke right now. Let's do that. Like, whatever it is, yes.
Dude, you can't turn down that opportunity. That's epic. That's amazing.
Nick sent me a trampoline clip of him doing like a toe back off axis 5 on a trampoline like in 2025.
Me and Stu Shin, like we wakeboarded in middle school and it was like we were about it. So, we would go on his boat and do like, a tantrum, a back roll, and, maybe a tweaked out stalefish.
Yeah.
But most of our prowess was on the trampoline.
Tramp stars.
Yeah,
Okay.
we were tramp stars.
All right. We got any underrated wake skater?
I got one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say because we haven't mentioned my boy yet, but Jan.
That's who I was gonna say. That's, yeah.
He's just another guy that just had like a lot of raw talent, and he's just one of the raddest human beings on the planet. So I feel like I've said that multiple times. We had a lot of solid dudes in our crew. So
in the grand scheme of things, too, we only got Yan briefly. Like, he just like popped
Small
in
window
for like a decade or less, did a bunch of insane things, rode for Nike, like became like the absolute like epitome of the sport in like a quick couple of years, and then just on to the next thing.
he was like the ultimate team player. He was like, what do you need me to do? I'll drive the van, the winch, I'll film, like anything that you needed done, like he was on it.
Big glue guy.
His whole approach was just like, what can I do to make everything
easier?
Easier, go more smoothly, and like not in a people pleaser way, but just like, hey, like what we do requires legwork. What can I do to help?
Yeah.
And like just such a good-hearted dude, but oh my God, like raw talent in every aspect of life.
Really good at wake skating.
Really good.
Good.
He was like or maybe still is like a professional stuntman. He's been in like The Punisher and a bunch of other movies. Yeah, that's what he did. Like when he wasn't wake skating, he had a real day job, and he would just like pop back in to go to like the toe jams and the wake skate tour and stuff.
That's so sick.
He'd be like, yeah, I got hit by a car yesterday. And
He'd be like, I just did a Marvel movie, so I've got like 6 months worth of, I don't
off.
need to make money for 6 months.
All the movies were like big like
big
A-list
box
movies,
movies.
and he's like never name drop them or anything. But then we'd find out through like Silas or
He
something.
would
They'd be
never
like,
talk about it.
Yan's shooting this.
That's
this
kinda
week,"
guy.
like-
I'd be watching like Star Wars or Blue Mountain State and just seeing like fly
Blue Mountain State.
He was straight up.
He was in Blue Mountain
I
State.
watched. Yeah, I've seen like 3 different glimpses of him in just that show. I did that for years. I would watch a movie or watch a show and just be looking for Yan. Always like falling off something or getting thrown.
I think one year he was like a vampire, like something Walking Dead or Twilight or something too, maybe.
What a gig. Keaton, you got underrated wake skater?
I was gonna say Yan.
Okay.
Fully back that one.
You guys are
that one.
synced up.
Yeah, on the same vibe right now.
Legend.
Number 4, is a video part from a wake park considered a full part?
I'll start this one. I've been listening to your stuff lately. I did my research. I like the comment from the one where you were like not here. Who was that? Max?
Max Van Helver, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you put the effort in, why would it not be a part? maybe riding during opening hours and, there's other people going through the shot is maybe not the best look.
Yeah.
But if you're riding cable a lot, you're making a good relationship with the operators, and you can usually go before or after.
Set something up.
Throw them some cash, do a hack or something.
Yeah.
I fully back it. It's just kind of some people's only way to ride. Yeah.
I like it. Nick?
I was just going to say, I don't think a full park video would ever be my favorite video. But, wake, and especially wake skating is literally, like TJ was saying, whatever you can ride behind, that's wake skating. So if your favorite thing is cable, if your favorite thing is boat, if your favorite thing is sea-doo, whatever you're doing, that's what it is, and that's what it is to you. So put out what you like, and
that's your part.
What it is to you, that's it.
Yeah.
But, my favorite parts have always been the ones where they got a little bit of winching. They got a little bit of, hitting a rail somewhere. They got, I
ATV.
love, the first thing that I thought of was Austin's backtail, in his section, in one of the machines.
On the fun box?
Yeah. And it's but that was at a time where most dudes would never put a cable clip in their video part.
At least not a part like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially a hammer part like that.
Like a mostly.
You know what we're talking about?
No.
Austin had a big
waist,
feature.
Waist high.
Yeah.
But it's in his human rocket part, right?
Yeah.
I think it's more the machines.
I thought it was human.
Sorry.
Yeah,
More the machines.
More the machines.
But backtail's a huge cable feature. No helmet, no vest. So
And ollied up to it.
Ollied up to it.
It has it has a bank wall, it's basically a hip.
Yeah, and he
And
goes over
goes
the
to
whole thing.
the waist
Oh,
high
shit.
at least tip, gets up and backtails the nature of that obstacle, you'd want to, the lock-ins would want to just jump over the top. So it's so precise, and he makes it look really easy. And nobody's backtailing that thing today. Maybe Cole probably could if you really
It's
tried
the wrong
to,
side, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
So
most people aren't even going to try to go from flat to that edge because you're either having to cut so hard that you're going to skip past it, to get that kind of pop up to it, or it was just I don't know. He rode it in a way that nobody else was going to, but just the fact that
It was so good.
he wanted to have that in his part too kind of gives credence to whatever you're riding, that's wake seat.
Yeah, your vision. Ted?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it, especially in this day and age where I feel like people just find it so hard to save clips.
Even just for any part.
Yeah, if you can save enough for a multi-minute cable edit, I'm all for it. I mean, if I was to choose, I would be if a rider approached me as I want to film a full cable part, I would be let's go to the Philippines. Let's go somewhere that has a full-size cable and a couple drops and stuff like that, because that adds a lot more variety to it, and they just have so much to do there. But some of my favorite parts have been Tim's parts recently. Even if it's just a short little cable edit. I mean, especially if you have a solid filmer that can actually
Make it look good.
You make it look good and interesting, and not like you said, just
GoPro doubles clips or
clips
whatever.
with a bunch of people
work.
running around.
Yeah.
I think it all depends on how you execute it.
Execution. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go with it. And you referenced Tim is I think it all comes down to your approach to it. If you just go to a cable park for a undetermined amount of time and make a video off what you came up with when you come back, yes, it could be a full video. You just, everyone is different. They could get stuff that comes out to something that is someone's favorite video. But I feel like most people, especially the core audience of who you would be making a video part for, especially long format like that, they're going to suss that out, whereas it's totally different if it's you planned the trip with the intention of making a video. You had a list of shots that you wanted to get. Maybe there was goals that you were trying to hit like that. You can kind of sniff that out from a mile away. And I don't necessarily think that is, whether that's limited to one park or one type of riding, I think you could get it done at a park, especially if it was planned correctly and and completely executed to plan. Some of my favorite parts are all cable parts. So, he mentioned the Philippines parts. There was a bit there where about every 2 years the Water Monsters team was coming out with where they would, Andrew was going there every summer for 2 or 3 months at a time, and he would bring, a couple members of the team, and they would film what they were. I think, that was them just, coming back with what they came back with, but also with his planning in mind.
It has intention.
On this day, we're going to, I'm going to get these clips of these guys here. You just see the difference there. the vibe and the feel of the video is different because you get those shots where like you couldn't have got if you didn't plan to have them because you wouldn't have known like to get a B-roll shot to put here, like whereas when someone plans that stuff out, it doesn't matter where they were. You can make a full video part in a puddle outside. Like if it was planned, thought out, and executed, like doesn't matter if it's a park or your local lake, you can make a full video part in one place.
Yeah, I think we'd all love to see all full winch parts, but that doesn't mean we don't really, really, really like to see intentional park parts. Like,
I mean, when you asked favorite video part earlier, I mean, Danny's asterisk is my number one for sure, hands down. But an edit I watch hands down more than any other one is the Water Monsters & Co. or Water Monsters & Company. It was the first Philippines edit Andrew brought the crew out for, and it hits harder than any Philippines edit ever hit.
Andrew has that Mr. 3 song, who was a local
That's
Orlando
the one.
rapper.
That is
It
the
goes
one.
so hard.
I watch it still before I go ride at Wake Island.
Sick.
love that. Yeah, that's how you know an edit's good when you watch it before you go.
I actually have the song bookmarked, not even attached to the video, but I'll play the song in my car, the Mr. 3 song,
Just to get all hyped.
just to get hyped.
Shout out Mr.
Love
3.
that.
Yeah.
Fiona Trappel.
It's the
Yeah,
importance
maybe-
of music right there.
Yeah.
All right, can a butt-checked trick be an NBD?
No.
No.
Are you kidding?
I
me?
knew this one was gonna be quick.
That shouldn't have been on this.
I had, but it's good when
Yeah,
they
yeah,
rip off
yeah.
the nose,
Teaser for what could happen, maybe.
Yeah.
I want to see it. If you got the clip, I want to see it, but like I'm not saying that you did it.
It's black and white to me, so it's not. Yeah.
If I'm editing
pretty
it,
easy.
I'm not.
It's
putting
not even. Yeah.
not putting it
yeah.
in the video.
I actually
Might go in
wouldn't.
the credits as a.
I wouldn't
Nope.
feel good giving Tad or an editor a clip like sketched out like that.
Yeah.
It's
And
not.
that's
I'll-
so ingrained in wakeskate culture too, from like the earliest days. And I think that was like Thomas guys. I think that was Aaron. I think that was like the cassette mindset back then really helped kind of clean up the streets, because in those early days there were a lot of dudes that were just like, hey, I ended up riding away from this eventually. Like I landed this move, and those dudes were the ones like basically bullying people into having better standards for themselves, because they knew that what we were doing could either look really cool or it could look super kooky.
Yeah.
And in those earliest days when everything was pretty nebulous, like it wasn't cohesive, it wasn't all moving in the same direction, they were the guys who, and some people to this day probably thought they were jerks. But like that set us on a course that made wake skating something that we all wanted to watch of it.
I think that was a true delineation point from wake skating and wakeboarding, trick skiing, ski jumping, slalom skiing. Like wakeboarding has still had a very big problem. It's my opinion, but with the butt check thing and the not landed tricks, and that's just a weird matter of difference of opinion. I think it's a matter of fact, but some people think it's a matter of opinion. But wake skating has definitely always taken that very seriously, which I think a lot of people appreciate.
I'd say it's cultural to the bone.
Yeah, which is culture's cool.
It used to be evident in the contest too. Like we'd have these like contests where you'd have to do a line, and like somebody would land a 360 flip and like drag their hand like a couple fingers in the water, and then they still have to hit the second drop, and they just let the handle go and go to shore. And like
Self-regulating.
out of context, you'd be like, well, why did he do that? And it's just they just know like.
We just know.
Maybe
they knew
a
how
little
we were
bit of self-regulation, but also like they knew how it would have been received. So like
Or judged.
if they were
Sure.
if they weren't sure, like if it wasn't the best 3-flip I could do or damn near close to it, I might as well just get back in line and get back up there so I
if
get
you
another
wobbled
hit.
or wiggled out.
We
or
were
like-
held to a high standard with
But
Tad
we-
as the judge.
From
For
the
real.
judging from the top, yeah.
And like that didn't happen right off the bat, but I think after 2 or 3 years of the tour or whatever, like it made its way into the rider meeting. Silas would straight up be like, if you butt check, just let go. You're wasting everybody's time.
Yeah.
Like you're taking an extra pull away out of the heat. Like just let go. Like you're taking a pull.
We're all on the
from
same
yourself.
page here, yeah.
Right.
It doesn't count.
But like going back to like what you said, like does it count as a trick? And like you're talking about like the standards of wake skating. I think the butt check was like just like the first level to that. And coming from somebody that used to film with the top guys, I felt like people like Nick and Andrew Pastura and Ben like took it like to the not to the extreme, but to a whole other level of like
You could say it to the extreme.
like
It was unreasonable
Like,
at certain points.
rocket flips,
perfect
like
tricks, and then they're doing it over again.
right because
Oh, yeah.
maybe the kickflip wasn't flat enough, or I don't
Andrew.
know.
Two in a
Every
row.
time.
You can go down a rabbit hole in that
right?
one.
So
yeah.
like and
But we were that deep into it where we felt like we had to almost meet our own standards and meet the standards of everybody else around us.
The
And
end
then for
results
me-
speak for themselves
Yeah.
though too.
yeah, and as a filmer too, like I would sometimes it was on me. Maybe if I didn't film it perfectly, or same thing with you guys. I had to be like really blunt with you guys and be like, yeah, I don't really think that. I think you should do it again. Like,
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
and that's at that point, that's exactly what we needed to hear.
Right.
And that's what we wanted to hear.
Right.
But to take some of the pressure off you, like, we could mess up 10 times in a row and then nail it. But if you messed up once when it counted,
Right.
that was a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah, and that was extremely uncommon. But like,
Right.
I dreaded hearing the like, because like you want it to be good, but
Yeah.
also I don't want to be like 2 days later looking at the clip and being like,
Wasted all that
I
time.
hate
That's
it.
the worst.
I
Yeah.
absolutely hate it.
That's the worst.
And having to explain it to every person, like if it does go in something, having to be like, it's not the way I wanted it to look, or like you
Right.
should have seen the other attempts. Like, so having that person, whether it was him, whether it was Aaron Pastura, whoever had the camera, like it definitely became kind of like a, just this a known standard that it was like, if somebody asks you how did it look, be as honest as you could, because the alternative is coming home, you're not near the spot anymore, and realizing that
It's not
I
what you
didn't love
wanted.
it. Yeah, and we didn't have to be nice to each other and say like, yeah, it was good, we're good, let's leave. Like, be honest,
Gotta be
like,
real.
yeah, was it the right one? Could it be done better?
I
And we
mean,
all want to go eat. We all want to go eat anyways. So
Yeah.
like, we're not gonna lie to you, but
and sometimes there's tricks that like got away that we just never got because we,
battles.
yeah,
the tricks that got away.
right.
There's some crazy battle stories.
Battles won and lost.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm glad I asked that. Good can of worms that one opened. All right, best female riders, Steez, wake skate.
Telma.
That's a good answer.
Good one.
Yo, I got a clip from her that I might be dropping in the near future, and it rivals a guy's flip trick.
Nice.
It's so good.
The kickflip she posted on her story the other day was like front shifty, back foot catch, caught a foot off the water. Like,
It had that vertical, like, that most peoples don't.
Any other names?
I mean, Zana Vrblova had,
Yeah.
like, she was such a major step up from what came before, that, really made such a huge impact.
Yeah.
And I'd say she carried women's wake skating for probably longer than any other single name in women's wake skating. So it would be, we couldn't go without mentioning her here, but
I
yeah,
agree.
right now, Telma for sure.
Okay. Any
Yeah,
other names?
those two are the ones that immediately come to mind. Good,
not
good
like
style,
a pro
good
wake
trick
skater,
choice,
but
good-
somebody
good
that
pop.
definitely had good style. And I can't really give you like a clip or anything to turn to, but anyone that ever rode with her can attest to it. Jamie Sharek, really good female wake skater.
Oh, yeah.
Did a ton for the sport, and like the style was doing like Aaron Reed type poked ollies, like when a lot of dudes weren't doing that. She wasn't really focused on trying to land the next trick, trying to check the next trick off. Everything she was doing looked just like the dudes. Was holding herself to the same standards,
Same standards.
same type of pop and everything. And yeah, she was before her time for sure. But like anyone that rode with her knows.
Yeah.
Epic.
to cassette standards, I'd say.
Sick.
Any other names? Or I saw this girl on Instagram, Ann Armas. I don't know if
Annie
you guys know.
Armas?
Annie
She's
Armas.
sick,
You
yeah.
commented on what she rides at the wildest looking cable.
I know
There's
the one that's like in the
buildings
city.
in the middle of the city. Yeah, but she was
She's sick.
ripping.
She wakeboards too, right?
Oh, does she? I don't know. I just saw the
thought I
wake skate
saw both,
clip. So yeah, she was ripping.
Oh, there's a bunch.
She's like an up and comer, I think.
The
you know,
ladies'
younger.
wake skate scene right now is kind of like popping off, maybe more than the men's is. Like that.
Like the next
there's that,
gen.
Like there's this
Yeah.
other chick named like Lelisha is her name on. She rides quantum boards too, I think.
Let's go.
Dude, she's sick. She's doing.
Oh, yeah,
kickflips,
I know who
like,
you're talking about.
Really steezy kickflips,
Yeah.
back bigs, ollie on front board shove on stuff.
She's like running camps too.
That's the other girl.
Oh.
Her name starts
Leobo.
Oh,
Leobo. Yeah.
okay.
I don't know what her
yes.
real. That's
I
her.
had
That's
it
her
mixed
social.
up.
Instagram,
You're right.
yeah.
You're right.
But
you're right.
her and the Lelisha girl, they just did this like skate tour for women thing where they
So
went,
sick.
they went to like
Damn.
3 or 4 cables and like brought a bunch of boards with them, and we're basically like running demos, like kind of and filming, getting clips.
Yeah.
But
That's what it needs.
That's epic.
It was sick. They did the whole thing. They had shirts, stickers. Like it was like
They did
a
it
whole
right.
vibe. Yeah.
super cool.
Love to see that. All right, contest or video parts?
Video parts.
Video parts.
This is another easy one, maybe.
Depends on the contest.
Oh,
Yeah, video parts though.
I mean, I will say like the last like few toe jams where it was like the Fortenberry big flip and stuff. Those were so fun to watch. But video parts.
contests do bring something with them, but yeah.
I don't know. My favorite contest was the Wakeskate Tour that was supposed to be the first Swanee that ended up being contingency. Like that's where when I was thinking like, oh, like
That was
maybe,
a fun one,
and only because like
other than the ankle.
me, Nick, and Reed basically had to like last minute just like
Fix.
throw together a spot.
I think you were
And
talking about
in
this
my
one.
opinion, it was like one of my favorite spots that we ever had. Like we rented the tiniest little excavator you could rent, and I think Reed had a backhoe, or maybe we rented that too. But
Those reads.
basically 2 little pieces of equipment, like a single Bobcat and a tiny little backhoe, and we just got like the projects basically. They were
happen.
like, do whatever you want to do, and we
Basically
dug a hole.
got on my knees and just begged Papanakos. I was like, our spot got flooded out by the hurricane. Like, everybody's counting on us. Please let us build a spot here where the old toe jam was. And he's like, all right, you guys have like 2 weeks, but just whatever it is, you got to clean it up when you're done.
Single level
just
wise though,
immediately
like
ripped out there.
you mentioned, you asked me about it maybe on my first episode, the Andrew back 3 kickflip, like that contest, like the finals of that one, there was like kickflip front board, kickflip back lip, like a bunch, like the sport level hit another gear at that event, and it was, not for any particular reason other than I think it just worked out. The height of that first drop like was very shreddable. Like everyone could do their like banger tricks down the little one. Then you had these perfect hubbas at the bottom. Like it was one of my favorite times in wake skating, period.
Damn. Good answers there.
Was that
my
before?
answer to your question would be video parts to watch, events to experience.
Yeah, video parts are like gnarly to be in sometimes. Like even whether you're the one filming the trick or just there as a part of it, like some of the best clips and my favorite clips in wake skating are tough memories because I remember how hard it was to be there, whether or not the situation was fun or not. Like zoomed out, we had fun, but like in the moment, sometimes some of those best clips are like absolute battles. We had to like apologize to each other afterwards over, and like it's a quiet ride home for a minute until somebody like finally says like, my bad, dude. I'm sorry for what I said when I wasn't getting my trick. Yeah. Or I'm sorry for what I said when you weren't landing your trick.
Sorry, that board I threw almost hit you in the head. I was angry.
I was angry. Best style.
There's so many answers to that question. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean,
Ben
boat.
Huran.
It's a good answer.
Ben, I would say boat stew.
Boats too.
Well, are we going to break it into category?
Well, that's what
We
we said.
gotta
There's
go-
so many ways. you can
yeah,
go.
no. Well, let's one that covers it all.
All right.
One to rule them all.
I'll stick with Ben.
I feel like I have to say Fortenberry again. Like just everything. Boat, rails, flip tricks, drops. I don't know. Just that island style just has always been.
I got to beat Tad to his.
Are you biased?
Oh, that's savage.
Yeah,
Pulling
it's
the rug
Drew.
out.
It's Drew.
Okay.
I know you're
sorry,
going to steal
Tad.
it from me. Yeah.
I'll just say Austin then.
They're not the same. But
But they're not. But they're Austin style. Man, I remember like when we were filming, we were just talking about that contest at the BSR, and I was judging.
I told you
and
about that story with the kinked rail that Andrew
Yeah.
waited till the contest was over.
Yeah.
That was
And
insane.
Austin kept doing the same thing over again. He would just do these front side flips right in front of the judge's booth, and like I just remember hearing like
The catch?
flick.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
the flick off of the front side flip. It was just sounded like he was like shredding layers off of his shoe, and just perfect every single time. And like I don't know, that's just like every experience I have filming with Austin. I just think like the backtail that you were mentioning, man. We were just talking about the backtail he did at Wake Nation, but when we were in the Philippines, he backtail shoved out of the curve rail.
Oh, that's right.
And it was so sick. Like,
Yeah.
It was Andrew who did the backtail down the like brick wall.
The hub of
that was
creeper.
Austin too.
The creeper.
Oh, that was Austin.
Yeah, that was
I
Austin
was
too.
trying to remember because that was like the day. I think we were somewhere else that day, so I didn't get to watch that one in person. But like when I saw the clips, when I saw the photos of that, I was just like, that's one of the sickest things that was ever done in that part of the park.
Yeah.
Damn. Good answers. 2 more. Favorite pull? Jet ski, boat, cable winch, horse.
The 2027 CB Wake Pro 230.
Get the little label.
Wow.
Where's the water bottle? Pull out the water bottle. There we go.
Thanks,
That
guys.
was on cue.
Thanks
I
for
like
queuing
that.
me
I
up.
love that answer.
Your
I mean
hands
it. I
blocking-
mean it. I'm being funny about it, but I do mean
Your
it.
hand's blocking the logo a little bit. There you go.
Any other?
Mine's changed over time. It was jet ski for the first 10 years for sure. Nick and I rode jet ski, hundreds of hours together. We've all rode jet ski at the Nan house. Now it's got to be winch. I've got a early gen moto winch, and the Reno scene's really fun because I've got a couple friends, and then Andrew moved to town, and we just have that park.
They got the spot dialed.
Yeah, but then we also have like kind of like a shoreline right in front of the restaurant that my wife runs. And so she can be working. My kids are inside and they're just watching us, and people walk up and we just teach them all day.
That's so sick.
So winch, yeah.
Yeah, the electric winch really has kind of opened some doors.
And the moto winch, the one we have, has like the massive battery. We can do like 2 full days without recharging it.
Damn.
This is not an ad for them.
Ted, TJ?
Jet ski all day.
I was gonna say the tinny we've never ridden behind yet.
Oh my, yeah. This year I'm trying to get my tinny welded up. The tinny, like when we went to Australia, that was what made me want to get this boat. So
Is that the 1958 something you were talking about?
yeah,
Oh,
it's
Orlando Clipper.
It's called an Orlando
built
Clipper.
in Orlando.
Do you know about this era where like the teeny, whatever they call it, it was a Florida thing, obviously, because I can't say.
They put towers on little aluminum
Oh,
boats.
I know. I'm picturing what you're
It was a
talking
big
about.
era. Like, it was right as I left Florida. Everyone had them. Every lake had 1 or 2 of them, from Roman to, I don't know, maybe McQuiggan had one, but there was so
Reese
many of
has
them.
one.
Dozat had one.
Yeah, there was so many of them, and it's like gas friendly.
How many feet are we talking? Like 16, 18?
All of us,
smaller than that?
all of us couldn't go on a session.
14 or less.
Yeah.
14
Oh,
feet or less.
small,
Yeah.
okay.
12,
Little
12
pylon in the
footers
middle.
a lot. Yeah.
But the Florida tinny is like different than the
Different than
Aussie
Australia
tinny.
tinny. Yeah.
Florida tinnies, a lot of people used like just bass boats, like flat bottom. The
you'll
the
see
Aussie tinnies are V hull, so they're a little bit smoother to ride on, and they would put like
Little tiny windshield.
the tiny windshield, and then like instead of having like either a like this is so funny to compare like the Florida like redneck.
I never
The
because
Aussie.
they never considered it until
I
right
love
now.
this.
But I
Yeah.
absolutely know
But
they're
they would
different-
have
different
like
breeds.
they would take like 1.5 inch piping and like do a custom welded boxy wakeboard tower on these like little bass
Those are the
boats.
ones I feel like I've
Yeah.
seen a few of.
The ones in Australia are a little different. They would just have like little welded ski
ski bar
pylons
toe
off,
pole in the back,
off
yeah.
the back. But they rode so nice, and
But the Louisiana boys had towers on theirs too, though.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Was the ones I saw in Florida were basically imported from Louisiana.
Okay.
Where they called it the Lemons Craft.
I remember this.
And that was like, I
deep
think
cut.
I think Dozat might have been the first one to kind of bring that over here.
Got it.
And then I think Jake Ramsdale had one for a while.
That's the one I've seen.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
you've probably seen that one, but
It's a good time, man.
It looks like a blast.
Yeah, no, I mean that's definitely wake skate style. But yeah, the ones in Australia definitely had their own feel, and I thought you'd get a kick out of this. Chris Callis was a big enough name in Australian wake skating at one point that he had a pro model tinny with a boat company in Australia specifically geared and marketed towards wake skaters.
What was it called?
That's so sick.
Yeah, come on. We talked about this right before you walked in. What's it
It
called?
had like an X, had a big X on the side.
You were like right on this.
Getting warmer.
I'm so jet lagged, you guys.
Tricksta.
Trick stuff. Nailed it.
That's elite
That's actually-
company.
So
It's funny that we were just talking about
Like
it.
5
Yeah.
minutes before you walked in. We were probably wrapping
me,
that combo
me,
as
me
you
and
walked
Chris
through the door.
Callis pushed his Tricksta across probably half a mile of sandbar because we got stuck in a little lagoon like somewhere in a national park off of Sydney, and we didn't check the tides before we went. So we went and rode this awesome little like hidden cove bay back in the boonies somewhere. And then like we're just hanging out, having a good time, like kind of like exploring the jungle right there. And then we get back out there and we're like,
Where'd the water go?
yeah, the water's kind of dropped a lot. You think should we check the entrance? We get over there and it's like, I mean, just as far as you could see was just dry sand. The sun's starting to go down. The mosquitoes are coming out. There's like,
The salties are probably lurking too.
well, not down
was-
by Sydney. That's further north.
I was just gonna ask about that. Is that true? Like, I guess there's like a little squad of wake skaters, Ryan Leary and some of the Chris Callis and them. Is there like bull sharks where they ride? Like,
yes, especially
yeah, what?
where Matty Rogers, Ryan Leary, like Blair, like all those dudes, Sunny Coast, Gold Coast, Brisbane, that area. Like we rode the Tweed River, which is where
Yeah.
a lot of those guys ride. A lot of those early clips we saw of Callis and all that was out there. The first time I ever rode there, like maybe 5 minutes into the session, fell trying a backside flip or whatever, and just waist deep sandy water, salt water. That's like kind of my home territory.
Yeah.
Immediately land on a big bull shark and it just thrashes and splashes away. And I was like, do I keep going? Do I get out? Like, what do you guys normally do in that situation? They're just like, you can keep going if you like.
It's crazy.
They expected you to keep riding. They were like, if you want us to get you in the boat, we will. But
Yeah.
So I was kind of just gauging it off their reactions. But like, that's normal over there.
That's wild.
But I didn't see any crocodiles.
Okay.
I'm going contemporary though. I just want like ideal pull. If I can just have whatever I wanted all the time, I just want like a 700-foot long flat water pond with a 2.0 on it.
Yes.
That's all. If I could pick my like apocalypse riding setup, give me that. Maybe some solar panels to run my 2.0 off of, so that when the power grid fails, I can keep shredding. I'm good to go.
You're really doomsday scenario here.
Yeah, that was wild.
It's like a dark turn.
I'm working on it.
It's got the bunker there.
I thought you were gonna say 700-foot long super yacht.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought he was going too.
I was like, all right.
No, I'm thinking like a decommissioned, like either like naval like warship or some, or like a cargo ship that we can turn into like a city.
The USS.
Yeah.
the
DJ Giesey.
We could probably put a 2.0 on like one of those like Belafonte type ships.
like an oil tanker, just like hollow out the inside, put a system seal on it.
And then we're moving around. That way, if anyone like raiders try to chase us down or something, we're
Raiders.
mobile.
Yeah.
In the apocalypse,
It's going
there's
full
going to
water world over
in the
here.
apocalypse, there's going to be raiders.
Do you have a bug out bag?
Not yet. I'm working on it.
Yeah, you gotta build that out.
He's
TJ
coming
wants
over
to
to-
take
I don't
that
have like
through the
food pellets.
Hormuz
I don't have
Strait.
food pellets or anything yet.
You're just saying that so we don't come to your place when the apocalypse comes.
He is saying that.
Yeah, that's smart.
A guy that had food pellets
Two
wouldn't
steps
tell you
ahead.
that he's got food.
Exactly, dude. 2 steps ahead. All right, last one here to wrap up Slings Hot Takes. Most illegal trick.
Benihana.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, man.
Crook.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
I was on the other side of that story for a long time, but I do agree with it now.
Yeah,
Hooker and I went
You
down a
can-
long road at the projects with this, and tried with the iron,
Yep.
tried with no iron, regular nubs. We did a bunch of good ones, I feel like, but it's just still not the same.
The iron, I could say, would legitimize it, but
Sorry to always do this. Do you know what we're talking about?
Is the iron something that goes in between the nubs, or?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, I was gonna ask.
invented and developed by Ben Horan. It was basically like big, giant steel washers, a flat one or 2 flat ones that went to the bottom of the board,
Okay.
2 half washers to make a little, half circle going up. So those would be your standard nubs, and then a steel bar going across them. So basically, skate trucks for your wake skate.
That's gotta suck to ride with. Though.
Not the, I mean,
Or no,
yes,
not that
but
bad?
not in the
Lot of
front
drag.
as bad as you'd think.
Okay.
But yes, it sucked.
Like
Yeah.
a small brick. If you like.
It's
or
heavy. It's steel.
Like drilling a 2x4 to the bottom of the
I never I rode it a few times. I think I had one O'Neill ad doing like a backside nose grind with it, which was a cool photo, but it just wasn't fun to ride with.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it was a way to, in my mind, legitimize those.
I feel like nubs are kind of hard to ride with as it is, and then maybe the iron is like.
There's been some
lot.
stuff like experimented with though. Like Cassette was like teasing something one time where nubs that had little tiny wheels
Rollers,
in the bottom
yeah.
of them
Like
to do
Aaron-
like manuals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Aaron was doing proper
La
manuals. and nose
Launo
manuals
or
with
something.
it.
I think
kinda
is what they
cool.
were calling that.
I
But like
forgot about that.
no one actually got to use them. There's just like one clip of Aaron Reed hitting a setup that was like 2 pools with a little wooden box between it, and he's balancing nose manuals across it. Like
And it had like
didn't catch
actual
on, but it was
wheels
cool to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unique things. All right. Any other illegal?
You could just throw like Smiths and Feebles in there. With
That whole
Yeah.
genre of
Yeah.
angled.
I like getting on like not to pick on my friends, but a little bit to pick on my friends. I like getting on George and B-Row at the cable these days. Like they're riding around the lock-ins. They like to do nose
Yeah.
blunts sometimes. They can do them right as well. And like I'll give them poke fun at them a little bit here and like do it on the edge. But they like to do like the nose blunts and stuff right down the middle of the box. And I'm like I'm calling them booger slides and
I was
stuff.
just about to say, I remember when Aaron Gore posted those, doing it in the middle of the box on wakeskating.com and like early days. And, obviously we know who was like, that's not a blunt, that's a booger slide.
Yeah.
Both of them, both George and Rao can do them on the edge and do them on the edge sometimes. But like when they're just warming up, cruising, they don't want to fall right down the middle. And I've done them too. It does feel fun.
I was gonna say, are they fun?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
They're fun.
I will say it is fun, like,
But it's
kinda,
illegal.
yeah, having the nubs in the front and like riding onto a box and trying to like nollie off. And it's not a trick; it's just
Yeah.
something fun to do.
It's illegal
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Messing around. Okay.
It's all for fun these days.
Yeah.
Nick, Ted, illegal tricks? Or yours was the angled?
Yeah.
anything
I will
angled?
say one of my things that I would, for a minute there, I was finding them all over the internet and posting on We Subsist, but I loved seeing like a legit Christ air off a kicker.
Yes.
They were just,
There's more out there than you would
Yo,
think.
that's
Yeah.
sick.
I know, but like most people would be like, that's kooky as hell. I just thought they looked so awesome.
Yeah.
Do you remember who was first throwing those off of kickers?
I know.
Oh, you're
at
Zach
ODub.
Stone?
Zach Stone.
Yeah, but he was like flat, like Superman style.
He was like
Chrysler.
really-
I've seen
Well,
guys
that's-
like that are
that's-
perfectly standing up, like
Yeah.
both arms fully out.
That's sick too. When I was like 12 or 13, I saw Zach Stone do one off a kicker at OWC, and I asked like the dude next to me in line, I was like, "What was that?" And he said Christ air.
Oh my
But
god.
my ears were full of water, and I was like so psyched out. I was like, Chrysler, that's so cool. So I think that was my first post on wakescating.com. Was like, does anybody have pics of anybody else doing a Chrysler?
Can you
That's
dig
how
a
that
few of these
happened?
up and like
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're good.
That
I'll see
was
if I
like
can
my,
find
my
those.
intro to that. Yeah, anybody doing Chryslers. And so for a while there, like I guess like other people were like, no, what is that? Is that what we're? Yeah,
Is that where we're going?
It became real quick on that question though.
Yeah.
I had a lot of people mad at me for a long time because I was very insistent that the way people did their heel flips should involve their heel. And so you had a certain number of riders that would do these varial heel flips where, they're doing the front shove, they're popping it nice and high, but instead of, using their heel to flip it, they were turning their whole foot around and popping it over with their toe.
It's an opposite side varial flip almost.
It was just one of those things where, everything we had done up to that point, as far as holding ourselves to higher standards, was kind of, people were trying to cut corners is what it was. And I was just like, hey, you can learn it the right way and do it right and make it look good. Like, that's cool that you're making the board flip like that, but, it's not a heel flip. It's not a varial heel flip. It's not a front heel flip. Like, just do it right. And a lot of people were mad at me about that, so that would probably be my choice for illegal trick is front shove toe flips.
Oh, I
It
got
looked
another one.
That's a
terrible.
good one.
It looked terrible.
Okay.
People got mad at
I got
us
another
for
one.
judging like lower on those as well as a judge.
That one's pretty black and white too, though. Heel flip.
There was a good
Use your
crowd.
heel.
You can't
there were
tell.
a lot of
I probably wouldn't be able to tell.
Exactly. That's the thing. You can sneak it by. And then like a lot of the dudes that could do them that way could also do them with their heels too, but more
consistently
consistent
with-
to
yeah.
do it because that control of your toe versus your heel, you're more
Yeah.
articulate with it.
Oh, this is real.
There was a good
but-
bit of people doing that.
It was
At one
controversial.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
like a.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was
Big
not
thing.
any one person. I mean, I can think of 5 offhand.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 5 people.
And they were friends of mine. They were people I liked and cared about, but it was the kind of thing where I just had to be like, that's not what that is.
Yeah.
Five
Makes sense.
5 shoves too. Like shoves cool, 3 shoves cool, 5 shoves
You're doing too much.
Too many?
illegal.
Do you feel the same way about 1260s on a wakeboard that you feel about 5 shoves?
No, I want to see a 1440 on a wake.
Yes.
Have you ever seen somebody do a 720 shove it on a wake skate?
I have.
I feel like I have
I don't think I have.
the-
I know it's been done.
The first time Reed Hansen ever rode my integrity
On an
board.
integrity.
on his spot. Where did he do
this
it?
This is way before any of that. This is like 07. We had a day where myself, Reed Hansen, and Ben Horan all rode Sea-Doo, and we traded each other's boards. So we were riding doubles and playing skate, riding each other's boards. I was terrified of Reed's bi-level because it was like 14 pounds, and I'm riding like a 7.5 pound integrity. Reed just gets on my board. He's like, "What is this thing?" And he's like, popping around doing different stuff. But as soon as he got comfortable on it, I watched him just cut out in the flats. I'm riding his board, like trying not to die. And I look across the wake and he just cuts out in the flats and hits like the fastest spinning shove trick I've ever seen. But it was a 7 shove, lands it clean and just points at me. Like,
No way.
"All right,
your trick.
that's the trick."
I'd be so scared of the splits on that. Oh my gosh.
It was amazing. I mean, obviously doesn't need repeated how great Reed Hansen is at wake skating, but that was something that I was just like, I was not mentally prepared for that.
I could totally see how that like could escalate though from riding a heavy bi-level to riding like they're too extreme.
It's like
and,
he's training up in the mountains for a bike race, and then he comes back down. And
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
This is easy down
I
here.
rode
He
it. I
probably put
rode an
less force
integrity in
into
the
that.
past couple of years, and it's crazy. It feels like a different sport sometimes. Like for carving around, they're like the most nimble board, but as soon as you release it, it just feels like you have to collect it so quickly. Like they just want to go. So it makes sense that he just sent it, let it go, and landed it.
Should have told him to go 9.
It looked good too, which was kind of crazy.
The other 7-shove, only other 7-shove that I've seen wasn't exactly a 7-shove because it was a Chris Callis big spin that the board does a 7, he does a 3. So I don't even know.
Well, I was just gonna say, you don't like
mega big spin.
You don't like a 5 shove. Do you like a G spin?
Yeah.
Done right.
Yeah, I like
a Callis G spin.
I like a G spin. I just don't.
It's like a back
love
big
a 5
with an
shove.
extra shove.
I could be persuaded on a 5 shove. I'm sure. It's just I've never seen one that looked good.
I don't think so.
I think I'm with TJ on this one.
It's heavy in the wake surf
Illegal?
scene, I think. Maybe keep it over there. The 5
Weird.
shove.
Probably skimboarding
7
too.
shove. Yeah,
Like
same.
skimboarders are like limited to big.
That's
spins
all they
and
can
3
do,
shoves,
yeah.
So it's
I did see a wake surf kickflip online not too long ago. I can't remember who it was, but it was like
Skimboard or
I
surfboard?
hate that I know this. It's Parker Payne, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, I think I saw that too.
Yeah.
I've seen them
It's
do it.
impressive
They
as
do
shit.
7 shoves and they're like making them look like 3 shoves, but like not in a good way.
That's so well put.
if there's anything wakeboarders and wake skaters can always agree on, it's wake surfing.
Yeah.
And
lot.
foiling.
No, I'm.
I think there's some split on foiling.
I'm only mad because I can't do it. All right.
You can do it.
Fair.
Yeah, I'm not good at it. It's scary.
Come back to Maui. We'll get you out there.
All right, I think we ripped through some Patreon questions, and we have one from Bobby Sutherland here, and he wants to know how you guys got your first wake skate. Did you purchase it? Was it a gift? Did you borrow it? What's the origin story on all your guys' first wake skates?
All right. I definitely rode somebody else's first, but like my first one, I think I got it on eBay. It was a Campus, and it came as like a 2-pack. Like for whatever reason, like they sold like these 2 flat decks. One was like round, like the board is like an oval, and the other one is just like a typical normal flat deck shape. But they came as a 2-pack, and I remember I got it because like they advertised the round one as being concave, and I was like, I want to get a concave wake skate. And it was just like the whole board was spooned out. So like if there was concave on the top, the bottom half of it was like convexed. I don't know. Like there's not
opposite.
a wake skate that's like designed like it's not a good design for a wake skate. But I got those 2 boards. I don't know why they were sold as a 2-pack, but that was like the first wake skate that I got for sure. And it came off eBay. I don't remember how much I got it for, but I think I saved my allowance up for a few months. something
2-pack
like that.
is wild.
It was less than
I wonder
$100
what the
too.
marketing was behind that.
That's sick.
Yeah,
Ride with
I
your
mean,
friend?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
I love that. Ted?
Campus slide and campus swing.
I remember those.
Nice. Let me think. So yeah, I started wake skating in 2004, and then I was sharing a wake skate with Chris Zachary. He had like a hyperlight foam top or something, and I think my first wake skate was like shortly after that. Whatever Impulse was that year, back when they still had asymmetrical wake skates. The little fat nose on that thing.
The black and red one.
I think it was black and red.
Red graphic down the middle.
Yeah, maybe the little. Was there a little kid playing a guitar or something on it?
Oh,
I
okay.
think
Yeah.
that was my first one that I bought.
Damn. Nick, first one?
I mean, my first one that I would say like kind of got me on that path was when I was a kid. So JD Webb grew up on the same island as me, Anna Maria Island over there, kind of by Sarasota, and he sent back to his cousin, who was my best friend at the time, like a Liquid Force Trip 128, and we rode it with badass bindings until the saltwater rusted those out. So we just like crowbarred the boots off, waxed the whole board, and just like basically we're like towing behind a Carolina skiff.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, we were always scurfing. We were always riding, surfboards back then. So it's just like natural to be like, oh, well, the boots don't work anymore. Let's just wax this thing.
Stand on it.
And so, ripping around on that, doing little carves and 180s. But then kind of like, TJ's, my first real wake skate was a Campus K39. Same thing. I think I didn't get it on eBay. It was like Evo Sports, but it was like $50 brand new flat deck. Damn. Which is like crazy to think now that
Campus kind of had like a stranglehold on like that, like early 2000s. Like I think I just Googled wake or Yahoo'd or whatever search engine wake skating, and Campus is what popped up.
Yeah.
And that was something that Cassette did really well too. Campus, Cassette, and I'm kind of stoked that Liquid Force even still does it. Like having a flat deck in the line, having a less expensive entry level wake skate, because some of our more core brands like kind of neglected that side, and that's what we need to get more people into it.
Yeah. The foam top, I feel like that was my first one. It was a Hyperlight foam top, and I didn't know what wake skating even was, but we went to the pro shop and bought one, and I was like, oh, That's pretty fucking fun.
Yeah, nice. My mom got me the CWB. It was like a red wooded
Lucky.
The Lucky.
Yeah. And it was like a cartoon girl with
Had
some
the 8-ball in
billiards
the
and an
middle.
8-ball. I got that at the same time I got my first wakeboard too. And so I kind of like dual sported, and I was a skateboarder. So it was like kind of made sense. But then the first wake skate I bought, and I'm actually curious if you guys even remember this, but it was called Butter.
Yep.
Butterboards?
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. Do you know about them?
No.
They were an offshoot of Double Up, but the original Double Up, not the Double Up that's here
the
now.
Greg Nelson double up.
Yeah, which is actually from like my era, and I now, do you know FLF Films?
Yeah.
So that's like one of my partners in filmmaking now. Damn, it's super crazy. I mean, if you know that history, Jerry's he's like my mentor. But yeah, I bought that butterboard, and it was composite with foam, and you could get a grip option, but the store didn't have grip. So I went with foam, and I was so mad. I was so bummed because foam and shoes don't work.
You cannot adjust your feet.
You can't. You get stuck, and I was so mad.
squeaky.
And I ripped it off and put my own grip tape on, but I didn't like clean it after I ripped it, and so the grip tape just never worked. And yeah, and I think I actually like called. There was a hotline number. Like you got a little pamphlet. I called them and told them I like ruined the board, and they gave me a new one. Yeah, like a year later.
Yeah,
because like
sick,
Damn,
though.
shout out Butterboards.
Yeah.
sick.
Customer
They were like
service
them and Straight Line, I think was the rope company.
Yeah.
They were made out of Reno, Nevada.
Oh,
And when I lived in Tahoe, I might have this a little bit wrong, but I know the Straight Line part was out of Reno. So it was kind of cool that was like from my era or my area.
great customer service. You never know if they didn't send you another board.
If Butterboards was Paco de la Torre or if that was Butterbook, because I know he was on the media side of things too.
The only writer I know,
Lecha boards.
My pleasure to meet you. Have a seat.
the only person I knew that rode that board was Clint Tompkins. He had like a small era of riding it and then went to campus.
I was just thinking how many obscure wake skate brands we could all just rattle off right now. There's way too many.
I've just learned of 5 new ones in the last 10 minutes that we've been talking. And I thought I knew a decent amount of the brands, but
I have to admit, when I landed, I red-eyed in just like you and had some time to kill. So I went over to, is it Performance Ski?
yeah.
And they had a bunch of flat decks and DG's deck there.
So when you say flat deck, I pretended like I knew what that was earlier, and now I'm beginning to
So
understand.
go ahead and grab his board right there.
Yeah.
Do you see how the bottom is mostly, flat with just that little bit of rocker?
Yeah.
Just the black part almost, the rail.
But then you flip it over to the top, and you've got these extra kind of contours. The kicktails come up a little higher, and then especially on the sides, it kind of dishes out. It's almost built up a little
It's
more.
got a lot going on here.
So like take all that like side buildup off and just the black line. That's a flat deck.
So like the one I started off with, the Hyperlight with the foam top,
So
it was just
it
a
matches
simple.
your rocker line, but these are what we would call a concave deck or a pro deck.
Gotcha.
These have the
Skateboards
extra
have
contours on the top.
have concave.
Yeah,
on them. That's
okay.
just as a stretched out skateboard. Concave is what we eventually got to. In the beginning, in the first couple era of wake skating, taking on concave, it was just little wedges added here and there, and then construction just evolved from there. But it's a stretched out skateboard with the kicktail and that belly concave where the edges get higher, kind of makes pockets for your feet to sit in.
But flat deck is what you're going to get into. Most
flat
people
deck
are
is just like
be
3 to, I don't know, I think
3 to 9 layers.
Ideally 9 plies would actually that's what I think would be an ideal flat deck because it would make it thicker and a little heavier.
Yeah.
But no concave. It's just the rocker. The bottom of the board matches the top other than the rocker. There's no wedges or anything. Construction wise, adding kicktails and concave to a board adds, that's 80% of the work. Like to make the flat deck part of it, it's that's why they can be made so much cheaper.
Yeah.
So it was like a part of wake skating's growth initially, but then just like what people were riding to get to the highest level became concave boards. That's sort of like what everything shifted to. But I think it's like his point. The fact that Liquid Force will still make a flat deck is a testament to still trying to reach the people that are the new audience basically, because you're not going to get someone on a $500
board,
wake skate their first try, but we need both things. It's not like one's better than the other. We need both of them.
And just for context, the concave on the tips gives you a little bit of extra leverage, gives you just that little bit more extra pop, and then the ones on the side kind of catch your foot as you're wrapping it around for flip tricks. Kind of gives you way more control on any technical tricks that you're doing. Whereas, a completely flat top isn't going to give you that control or that leverage.
Makes sense.
The coolest part, though, is that any high-level wake skater, like if you gave Nick a flat deck right now, he could go out and do every single one of his tricks on a flat deck eventually. Like, it might not look or feel the way that he, would prefer it to look, but there's nothing actually stopping you from, being able to do anything you want to do on a flat deck.
You can shove a flat deck if you're trying to learn
anything.
anything.
Flip a flat deck. You can V-flip a flat
yeah,
deck.
Well, that was
three-flip
one
a
of the
flat
cool
deck.
things about the K39 era when, he had a couple of really heavy dudes riding the campus boards, was that a lot of the newest tricks that were happening, including George's backside flip, were done on a very basic flat deck.
Yeah.
Like basically a lunch tray shape, super basic. And that was part of the reason I bought that board, was just like, oh, George Daniels is on the cover doing a backside flip. Like, I got to get this thing. And then $50 later, I'm in.
Damn, $50
Now,
is so sick.
on campuses, did they mold in at one point concave in the foam? I feel like I saw one like that.
Or
Or was it?
Clint
a different
Tompkins had a company
Yes.
that looked a lot like
That had the rounded
K39's
tails.
What was that company called?
Signature.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is what I'm thinking of.
But there were other companies, too. There were a few. I think
Liquid Force did it. My second wake skate ever was an Anthem, where it's a flat deck, a thicker flat deck than a normal one. The foam is like 3-dimensional foam that had concave on it. The only downside is that it's foam top. And again, if you're going to wear, by the time you're getting into using concave, you're doing it because you want to start doing flip tricks. Shoes are a part of it, and shoes and foam just don't really.
Yeah.
I think Blecha boards was the first one I ever saw that like used the foam on top to make the concave. But yeah, other companies were doing it. Gator boards did it for a few. CWB had a couple like that over the years.
CWB then did the concave foam
In the middle.
in the middle.
Yeah, and then like a 3-ply veneer on top.
Yeah, that was so
turned
wild.
to cardboard.
But why I was bringing up Perf Ski is it was sick. They had the flat decks and the DG, and I actually think the DG is actually a good board. It's just a little light, and I like wood over it, but it rides pretty good.
yeah, no, they're sick.
Runix has this board. I've seen this in catalogs over
I know
the
exactly
years.
where you're going with it.
I was
Hoverboard.
perplexed. Yes, I think that's what it's called. I was perplexed.
Fill me in. What do we got?
It's
No, it's the Rove Carver. I believe is
okay.
what
I
it is. The
didn't-
directional, right?
okay. I
that
don't
where you're
know. Let
going?
me just describe it.
Yeah, describe
And
this
you
board.
It looked like a mix between the gate,
See if I can pull it up.
the gate
the
from
gate.
Hyperlight,
Oh, yeah.
but with a skim surfboard feel. And then on the underside, the back of it had 3 fins, and the front of it had none.
Yeah, it's the Carver. That's
It's the Rove Carver, dude.
And so, like, I'm like, are we combining sports now? I was so thrown off. I had seen it, and I thought it was a joke. But who
Would
who
you like
makes it?
15%?
Ronix. I'm down. Okay.
Ronix, yeah.
Surprisingly enough, when I worked at an online retailer, we did sell a good amount of, surprising amount of this.
What is that marketed as? A wake
Wakeskate.
skate or a wake surf or
it's a
a
wake-
carving
It's technically a
machine?
wake skate, but
They call
like
it a wake skate.
not. I don't think people buying them were buying them because they thought it was a wake skate.
Okay. Okay.
I don't. Yeah,
I could be wrong.
They're not
It-
buying
to
this
me-
to do kickflips, but
I could
kind of
kickflip that.
veering. You could kickflip anything.
Yeah, I agree.
Veering back to our philosophy of a fun day on the lake
Yeah.
will never disappear. This looks like a fun day on the lake to somebody
Somebody.
who's uninitiated.
I
Yeah.
will say in the marketing video that they had when they first released it, I don't know who it was, but they ripped into a deep carve, heel
Okay.
side and toe side.
I want to just
I'm a
go
big
out.
carve guy.
Yeah, he is a
You
big
could
carve
sell
guy.
me with a carve.
If we can get a
Pretty
hold of one
fun.
of those things, would you guys all want to go out and try shove-its with the 3 fins in the back?
Yes.
As long as I can also
Hey,
do
Yeah.
that.
but can I explain the fins? You remember when Hyperlight, I think this was like George and Byerly in their era, where their fins were like really long and shallow?
Yeah.
It's 3 of those.
I mean, are you familiar with like the fact that fins versus no fins was a huge
You
debate
filled me
in
in on
wakeskate
that. That was an
for a while,
era.
Like,
You filled me in.
like there was a whole, like it was very divided. There were people that were like, it doesn't count if you don't have fins. And then there were others that were like, it doesn't matter if you have fins, like we're not using them. So
And then there was the debate, put it on your nose. So when you ride switch, it's like riding a skateboard switch. I don't know who was doing
Andrew started that.
Yeah,
and
but I don't know when he stopped
screwed
that.
everyone up because it was like he was a no fin guy, team no fin, and everyone was like, yes, that's our guy. And then he put a fin on.
Yeah.
And then you get the fin guys being like, well, he knows what's up. He's got a fin on his board. And it was just
You also put a fin on a board that didn't sell with fin holes. Little weird
Had to
situation
drill your
there.
own?
Yeah,
Yeah.
drill your own.
Nick,
Wow.
did you ride your campus with fins? When did you go finless?
I think it was either the second or third session on the campus.
Okay.
Is when I took my fins off for good. And you know, I'm trying to think back to that time because there were people who got on me about different things, some of which was deserved, some of which wasn't. But
Cargo pants or
yeah, probably.
That was great.
The plaid, pockets out for Stu.
Yes.
I think I was more just like, I knew that I didn't want to ride with fins, but I also knew that I really wanted to pop my stuff and land it legit and smooth and make it look good. So I think I kind of just like during that whole debate, just mostly tried to put my head down. I was like, I'm not going to tell people that riding with fins is bad, but I also don't want to ride with fins. So I'm just going to try to make it look like I'm riding with fins, but not have any on there.
It was kind of a thing. If you had fins, you popped your tricks because you had to, right? You can't skim them over the water.
Makes sense.
And you know, even if you popped your trick without a fin, I mean, did you really pop it? Did it skim a little bit beforehand or after? It was a big debate back in the forum days.
I think I will say Nick almost single-handedly won that argument on his own, like because that was the main part of it was that you're not popping, you're cheating the tricks if you don't. And then Nick was just ignoring him, doing tricks that were like very large, and it was it like just faded off into. There were still people that continued to ride fins for a while after that, but not long after that.
Who rides with a fin now? Does Grub?
Yeah.
Okay.
I listened to the clips I just saw of him
He
behind
had
the
a
boat.
fin
He had
on?
a fin.
Anyone else?
makes sense for boat, I feel like.
I'm like 90%
I don't know
sure.
anyone
I
who
think
rides
you're
a fin
right
now.
too.
Even Reed was one of the long. He hung around longer on the fin than anyone else, and I remember basically I don't think any Ronix boards had fins on them. At least not that I could. Maybe his Zariel did in the beginning.
How do you get a fin on that thing? You got to take the top deck off.
Yep.
Crescent wrench.
Ooh,
Nick.
big tool guy.
Big tool guy.
Do you remember the hydro fin?
The hydro
Grub's got
funnel.
two.
The hydro funnel?
He's rocking too.
When we were talking about obscure
You guys don't know the name of the
wakeskate
company?
brands.
You know what I'm
All right,
talking about?
Give me just a second. I'm right there. I know they were in Texas. I know they didn't like me. They didn't like schmaltz. They made a graphic of schmaltz that was like pretty insulting.
Sounds about right.
Man, what
I don't
was
remember
it?
the name either. I remember I can picture the fin like visually in my head, but I don't
I
remember
can picture
the
the guy's Texas flag avatar on wakeskate.com. What was the company?
I don't know. I forgot.
That was disappointing.
Hydro funnels.
Hydro funnels.
Wait, while we're on fins, we just got to bring up the hook. The thing Byerly made.
On the wakeboard?
No.
Oh. Yeah, it was
Chan-
it was
what
sort
was-
of like an iron.
What was it called? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
picturing
it has its own name. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was on his 05.
It was basically the idea of the iron, but Hyperlight like mass produced this one,
Yeah.
and so it was aluminum, I believe, but it was spaced out. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was like only like this wide, and it was like
Yeah.
this little chunk. And so, think about nubs when you lock in that they're spaced out.
Yeah.
So you could like teeter this thing, kind of like I don't know. It was super.
What was that called? I saw.
Was it not called the hook?
I don't think
No.
so.
I mean, that was the thing he did.
Byerly's hook was
Oh.
back here.
Marketing wise, it should have been, but
That would have been smart.
Yeah. So that was a wild one too.
I mean, he definitely did some good looking nose slides with that thing.
yeah, I'm not saying it didn't work.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
just interesting.
Well, I mean, it was such an experimental time. I was glad to see them even put something out, in a catalog.
They also had
specifically for
channels
that.
on
Yep.
their boards, which no companies we kind of rode. Oh, I guess Integrity did.
Integrity
Yeah,
did,
Integrity
yeah.
did.
mellower.
Yeah, I always said Byerly's 05 board. I think it was the Grenade.
Yeah, I rode that
green
one.
one.
And then the
That was-
Catalyst 2.0 after.
That was like my favorite shape my favorite shape that Hyperlight ever put out.
Did they move to grip at that point?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The Grenade board and the 2.0 Catalyst 2.0 had. And that was like right before they did those super 3D concave and stuff like that. 05
Oh
to
my
like
gosh.
07 shape was good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that
Yeah.
Byerly branded
legacy.
board.
The ankle breaker.
Yeah, Byerly
Have you ever
Legacy.
seen this one? It was his first year as Byerly boards, and they made a 3-dimensional top concave, but it was so abrupt. Just riding it, if you like wiggled your foot wrong, you'd get like ankle burn because it like was so.
They were
ripped.
really
Holy
steep and
shit.
really tall, like deep dish pizza.
Yeah, exactly. It was
Whoa.
wild. It did kind of work too, but it was you ankle burn every session.
That's crazy.
I'm surprised we didn't see more rolled ankles from that.
Yeah, for sure.
In hindsight, though, like it's not that far off of what we ended up with.
Yeah.
It was a quick, early iteration of it, but like as far as what they were trying to do, like stretch out a skateboard top, like it's not that far off from what we ended up with. It was just a very interesting iteration of it, like one of the first attempts at that. Like they were trying to accomplish what bi-levels were accomplishing, but without the weakness. Because bi-levels, the reason why they didn't last very long, other than like Reed figured them out, but the top decks broke. That's why cassette went under. The top decks, because of the way that the like top deck and the bottom deck met, it was a wedge. So when they went in nosedive into the water was just prying them apart.
A lot of force, yeah.
When they're brand new, they're fine. But as that wood top deck soaks up some water, it gets a little softer. One nosedive, eventually just the nose and tail just snap off. And cassette was trying to warranty those because, prior to that, wakeboards and wakeskates carried the same sort of warranty policy. And if they broke, it was because something went catastrophically wrong. So they were warranting them. But the bi-levels came out, all over the country and were just breaking left and right, and they were trying to warranty them, and they couldn't keep up. Yeah.
Well, Reed figured it out, but even LF went through them, and I went through so many SSTs when I was riding for them because that was a bi-level that was like together except the tip and tail, and it would just whap, just snap it right off.
Kind of makes sense, yeah.
I feel like Reed's top decks eventually became more reminiscent of like the snowboard technology as far as like how you could make wood strong enough to withstand that. I don't know if it's sintered, sintered like is what I would assume. I don't know, but I knew, like, I looked at them when the Zerials were coming out and realized like these ones aren't going to break. Like they're a different material. But at that point, I think we were kind of trending towards just making wood concaves resemble more of like, I really think if you look at what like contemporary wake skates now look like, they look pretty similar profile wise to what a bi-level or like what Legacy was trying to achieve, just toned down in areas, and just made a little more aesthetically pleasing.
The wake skate tech's crazy.
Yeah, we're in an era, if you put this next to a Water Monsters and a Leaf, they're very similar. Yeah. They're just kind of all tweaked a little bit differently per what their riders want, but we're in like a really dope spot in board design.
Yeah, me as a wakeboard person, I had a Water Monsters today, and I was looking at yours, and I was like, to me, it's
looks the same.
I can't really pick them apart that much.
But a lot of what we're talking about too is just like that it didn't take a linear path to get there.
Yeah.
Like everything from the campus swing to the Byerly Legacy, like all these different boards that we've ridden, like people had to get experimental with it, had to get weird with it. And it's like, it's kind of fun to kind of look at that path and see how we
It's a cool era of the sport.
It's cool that the rover carver thing takes gate technology, the hyperlight gate. Like that's what the nose and tail looks like.
Can you manual that thing though?
You absolutely can. It has the tails.
You'd like it. I saw you manualing today, or tail wheelie.
I was trying.
Yeah, you'd like it.
I didn't know what I was doing there. Yeah.
I love going back and watching Asterisk and seeing BT like switch 180 to wheelie and like front board the wake out of it. Like,
it's so funny.
Yeah, just like I just love that there are so many different ways to wake skate, so many different ways to like just kind of approach it.
Damn. Yeah. All right, we got another Patreon question from Dale Newstead, and he is wondering, do you have any unique rituals when it comes to wake skating, being it setting up a board a certain way, what shoes you wear, what are some of your wake skating quirks?
TJ and I have a favorite shoe that we share.
It's out of production, but actually
no, it's
recently
back.
Just came back. But yeah, we've been on a pair of shoes that were like out of production for like almost 5 years. That we were both like, we'd be sending each other links of like,
we know each other's size.
Akari links.
So you see one pop up.
Yeah, you're like, yo, buy this real quick.
Yeah, the Adidas Lucas Puig, and there's nothing
ADV. Yeah, they have to be the ADVs.
Nothing super special about them, to be honest, other than like a suede toe cap, like that. No rubber toe cap or anything. Just the toe part of the shoe that's gonna feel the abrasion is suede. The whole rest of the body of the shoe is basically mesh. And then just the heel cap area is also suede and has like a little rubber cap there. So durable in the areas that matter, but otherwise lightweight. There's so many iterations of wake skate shoes, like Nike made them, DVS made them.
Did Reef make them?
GP made them. Reef made them. Like
Reef had the
and a lot of them had similar kind of, they're all trying to get to the same thing, but I don't know. Keaton and I both zeroed in separately on this shoe that we were
separate
like,
times.
Just ran in, like when we saw each other, I was like, I think when we finally came about, it was like after the shoe had been out and like you couldn't really find them. And I was like, oh, you got Lucas's. He's like, yeah, what do you know about him? And I was like, I got 2 or 3 pairs too. I'm savoring them like bottles of wine, basically, trying not to wear them out all at once.
I have 2 pairs left in my closet. And the pair I was wearing today, I wore all last summer. They dried out all winter. And because they're like that mesh design through the mid of it, just put them in the water. They open right back up.
Interesting. So what happens when they're gone?
Well, they actually just announced last week they're coming back.
I think it's
That's
single-
like a- that's
I think
a great
it's
moment.
single-handedly from us though. We both will be like on Lucas's page and stuff, like commenting like, "Run the ADVs back, bring them back."
We
Like,
talk about that top comment. I guarantee you every post that Lucas has made in the last 5 years that involves that shoe, it's one of us as the top comment.
kind of like how they did EA Skate. Like if you ever looked before they announced EA Skate coming back out, it took over anything they posted. They posted about Madden or like one of their like
Yeah.
sports games.
Give us
There was
Sounds like
you
give us
could not
Skate 4.
find a comment relevant to the post. Just absolutely bombarded with "give us Skate." Like
Yeah.
hordes of people demanding that you give them Skate. But it was just me and Key for these shoes. But we did get them done.
Correct me if I'm wrong. We are both fans of Tim Van. He
He
also
rocks
wears
too,
them.
yeah.
I mean, that's
worldwide with it.
that's kind of a
That's
wild
worldwide
thing.
with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. You got any, Nick? You got any quirks? Wakeskate quirks?
Oh, I got hundreds of quirks. As far as like wakeskate rituals, I would say probably the first one that came to mind was anytime I get a new board, I definitely like have a little moment the first time it ever touches the water. So like I kind of like introduce the two. You know, I'm not saying much, but I'm kind of like just letting them both know that they're going to be good friends. And then I do a full dunk, like, you know, I'm not, you know, religious or anything, but it's kind of a little baptism.
Yep.
Like get used to this feeling because you're going to be.
This is your
slinging
home
in the
now.
water. Yeah, this is your home now. Get comfortable. And then, you know, especially like where I've typically always ridden has been saltwater. So whether I'm surfing, spearing, wake skating, diving, whatever it is, I always verbally greet the ocean, express gratitude, and then dive in.
Is that every time you go in the ocean? Or?
Every time I
Okay.
go in the ocean, no matter what I'm doing. Yep.
Good ones.
I do talk to the ocean. So
Board baptisms.
Yeah, that's a good one.
bless them.
Bless up.
Yes, I'll bless them.
Tad?
Trying to think if I have any, like, well, I don't really wake skate that much anymore, but one of my favorite things to do when I lived on Lake Georgia, like when we were done riding, we didn't have a Sea-Doo wake. We had like the supercharged, like fast Sea-Doo. And whenever we were done riding, I would drop off whoever we were riding with and be like, all right, I'm going to do a hot lap.
Just hot lap. I remember it every night.
And I would perimeter all around Lake Georgia, like at 70 miles an hour. Like,
Holy shit.
I can recall riding with you guys out there like in a morning session or an evening session and doing it before because just to
it was
scare
my
off any
favorite-
gators or
it was
anything
my
too.
favorite
Like
thing
you
to
do a
do.
hot lap back and forth in your line, and then you make sure there's no gators creeping out.
Well,
there was
no
a gator
gators on
under
that.
their dock.
No, I've never seen a gator on Lake Georgia.
No,
You said one lived under your dog?
no, I've seen a
Oh,
gator.
I don't remember that. We were in there at all hours of the night.
Gators are in
But
Lake
anyways,
Georgia,
yeah.
bro. Gators are definitely in Lake Georgia.
Yeah, I used to love doing the hot lap around Lake Georgia. 70 miles an hour, no life jacket. Just
And I love how it's
way,
like
way back in the cove, just hitting a big turn.
yeah, we had the Cove of Enchantment that just like was
by
always
Kyle
glass.
McCutcheon.
Yeah, it was just always glassy back there. So
So
trying to think if there's any other rituals. I mean, living and filming with Nick, there was always a ritual of eating cereal with peanut butter and going through like whatever trip he had just gone on and showing me like just like a recap of his trip
little
and
footy party.
a little footy party. I mean, yeah, there's all sorts of stuff that I could probably come up with, but
Any filming rituals you had?
not really. I don't think.
Nothing?
Make sure the SD card's in there.
Yeah, that's a good one. No, I mean, whenever we were, I know TJ likes to bring it up, but whenever I was editing one of the machines, I had like my desk, kind of like how you have this one set up, and then I had like a couch behind it. And if you lived at the Nan house or if you lived in the neighborhood, I was pretty open with any of the homies just like sitting behind me and watching me edit. And
That's fascinating
That
to me
was
because
like-
I think that's pretty unique. I don't know if a lot of editors would be open to that.
yeah,
We had-
it was like I wanted all the feedback from all the writers
Yeah.
too. Like I didn't want to like do it in a closed space. So
We used to do that with Dave Hansen too. Like any of that, whenever we lived, like during Fun Boots and Esoteric, like whatever house he was in, like there was always at least one or two people behind him, kind of trying to get sneak peeks of what happened on a session that you weren't on or something. And he was a little more cagey about it than Tad. Like he was more like you. He'd be like wait, hold on, I didn't say you guys could see this one. Like, but I really enjoyed watching over. You know,
I mean, it
getting
was mostly like-
watching him cook and like put something
Yeah.
together was. Sometimes in more regards, like you'd think like I liked the process better than the end result because you got to see every iteration of it. He was
Working the magic
pretty
real
similar to
time.
like when we were talking about Andrew like doing a trick over like a dozen times. Tad would chop it up a dozen different ways before he came up with the one that he liked. And like sometimes I'd be like, oh, I liked that original cut. Like we were talking about earlier with More Than Machines, there's like an original soundtrack and then the one that came out. And I always joke with him all the time. I'm like, I need that OG cut. Nick has it. I got to steal it from him, but
I do.
You need to upload it. You don't. I asked you about it. The one online is like is muted, so you just upload it.
Yeah.
I mean, in that era, we had two houses that were like kind of at two different lakes, but sharing almost a fence line. So we were all like over there all day. Yeah. Footy review. We were so tight, like the whole crew.
We had three houses. The one across.
That's right.
Danny and
yeah,
well, Danny was
original
living there.
man spot, the waterside.
Waterside was the OG spot.
Yeah, it was sick. So we could walk between all the houses, and winch missions were easier and all that stuff. And then like the cookie parties and just watching Tad.
So we had a term for it. Like a bunch of us would be out in the living room, and Tad would be in there kind of working, and he'd be like, "Hey, you guys want to come chimp this?" I was trying to think back. I was like, "Where does that come from?"
I don't know.
Do you remember that term?
Just a bunch of monkeys like
Chimping
around.
like we're all just chimping,
huddled
but
around.
He'd be like, "All right, guys, load up the couch. We're chimping. Like, let's do this." And we would just go in there and be like, "All right, don't say anything yet, but just wait till the end." And like play it through and be like, "All right." And then like he'd just kind of like same thing. It'd be that, or it'd just be like you just silently sit back there and watch him piece it together. But both of those, I mean, sitting there with everybody packed in on the couch, like watching something that, you know, they had put together for the first time was like, those are some of my best memories from that little era of like, the Nan house for sure.
And then we lifted up. We had two couches in the living room, and we lifted the one up behind it on center blocks. We had a projector going, and then you could basically just, we would watch movies in the living room, cinema style. It was pretty cool.
That era was so sick just because we all lived there, like in those three houses. We partied together. We traveled together. I mean, the whole like racing to winch spots happened multiple times. Like we did this run. It was Silas in one car and us in another car, and it was just like a leapfrog who can get there. That was like the best time. It was so sick.
It was cool when you used to have to be cagey about winch spots, when now we're like, we talk about it now and you're like, why are you guys being weird about this? There's like 5 of us that want to do this. Who cares?
I know.
There was a point where it was like, where you wanted to keep it secret, because there was like 3-4 other crews that might go and hit it and try to potentially do the same thing you already did on it.
And you wanted to get your clip on there before the spot got blown up, or, you know, I don't even know how many trespassing warrants I have around Orlando, but like, you know, you wanted to like get the clip before somebody else, you know, ruin the spot, I guess.
Yeah. And if somebody in your crew gave away like some hot coordinates, some good coordinates,
it was a big deal.
That was like potentially like
jail time,
excommunication.
That was like, get cut off. You won't get called for the next.
You could literally get, you know, splinched for that. It's just like,
I mean, low key, I took that mentality with me back to the West Coast and made a few enemies because it wasn't foreseen like that out there.
It's more community over there?
Yeah, it's like more community. Or like I got mad at some people for giving away some spots that just hadn't leaked yet or whatever, and they're like, everyone rides it, and now I'm on that side of the road.
I could see both sides of it for sure, definitely. So
now I can't get anybody to go winch around here. Before we started recording today, I'm like, Hunter, we just watched a video. There's like 12 spots I just watched that we can go hit tomorrow.
Those are wake skate spots, dude. If I step there to wakeboard, everyone's gonna make fun of me.
I saw you wake skate today. Come on. I
wouldn't call that wake skating. It was wake skate.
I'm pretty sure.
I saw
let's get you on a pop shove down a drop.
I saw him shove.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
I feel like the first people that hit Pine Creek were wakeboarders. They put like a kicker in the bottom when they were going up it and over.
Like a closeout?
That might be right.
They were like hitting it and going up and over that like plastic piece before Ben cut it down.
Well, that was sheet metal, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh, was it metal?
Yes.
Whatever it was, you know what I'm talking about, that material.
It might have been like, is Vinny Knapp not old? Like, because there was also the Gator Boards crew out there too.
They lived right by that, didn't they?
Like Gator Luckhart had his house on Lake Pickett, which is like right where that spot was. So it could have been that. Could have been way back in that crew, but for some reason I want to think like Vinny Knapp could have been one of the people that was hitting that spot first too.
We could turn any spot into a wakeboard spot, Hunter.
Kicker?
That's true.
Good to go.
I don't actually believe the difference. It's just a spot. You can make it cool if you want, and if it's
just,
small,
you
then
can't
okay.
360 it if I can 360 it. You know, like
yeah, that's a little unsaid rule.
I remember that day in Texas at the. Were you there for that? Oh no, that was Aqua Frolics. Yeah, we had a day where we were hitting the Dunlap spot in Texas. We were hitting it like a wall ride and then gapping down it. And then some wakeboarders showed up while we were hitting it.
Yeah.
And they were basically like trying to do the same moves we were doing down it. And it was like, it kind of became a thing. Like I don't want to say names, but it was like it was literally at the same time. Like we were already there, set up hitting it, and they set up their.
Where in the world was this?
This
Texas.
was in Texas.
I can narrow this one down pretty easily.
This is when Texas was hot. Everybody was driving. From
everyone
Florida.
was
This
Okay.
is pre-Shred Town.
Okay.
I feel like Shred Town was the one where I was like, all right, finally
They're doing
somebody's
some
like,
big dog shit.
yeah, like they were doing some shit you could die on, you know. And I was like, respect. Like I'm not gonna hit that spot, but for a while there was like, we already front three'd that spot. Why are you front threeing?
Yeah, that's a big no. If we are doing spots there or tricks at the spot, wakeboarding cannot go there and do that.
I feel like
there's so many more wakeboard spots, like spots that you could wakeboard on, than like the criteria for a good wake skate spot. Like, you know, drop had to be high enough to be cool, but not too high because then you can't
do stuff.
What if a wake skater hasn't hit it yet, but a wake skater could for sure hit it?
I don't think any of it matters
Valid.
anymore.
No, it plays,
everybody can hit it and have fun now.
Yeah.
But back, we're just saying back then it was a very different mindset.
Yeah, no, this was all like back then. I still think that like, yeah, go have fun on a spot, but like if we're filming a trick on it, a pro wakeboarder should probably go do that same thing.
Yeah.
But have fun. It's all good.
Facts.
I winch without a camera more than I winch with a camera now.
Yeah. Just for the fun of it.
Just for fun.
It is fun to ride away. I don't know. I hit a drop. It was kind of high, but like then I watched what was the most recent Water Monsters video, the winch one that had Marcus in it, the Hollandaise. The ending clip was
Johan's
like bigger than the drop I hit, and I was like, "You're on a wake skate, damn."
What?
Good built different, dude.
I still feel like the one that Yan did in California was like the biggest I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I mean that one's
huge.
hard to hit on a wake. There's only a couple wakeboarders that hit it too. Was it who fived it? Somebody switch fived it on a wakeboard.
I was just flipping
Randall
through this magazine.
Was it Randall?
Is it the one Melissa hit?
It's the one Melissa
with the cover.
Yeah, it's like yeah.
That's a fucking big drop.
Yeah, I think it was Randall.
Did Randall switch five that
I
or
think
something,
it
or
was.
That was the same session Melissa was there.
Yeah. Was it Randall that fived it?
It had to be because they were talking about it.
I was thinking it was like Colin Wright or something. Did something crazy down it.
Who was the West Coast guy? Kyle
Murphy.
Kyle Murphy.
Kyle Murphy was
Could've been
there.
him.
It totally could have been him too.
Because if I remember right, he did a 5 down it and like destroyed his knee, but still rode away.
Yes. Yeah, you are
that
right.
was in a pull.
Yeah.
Maybe Randall didn't hit it, but I saw him
Randall
talking.
hit it. Randall hit it.
Didn't do the 5, but
Yeah.
I saw him talking
Kyle
about
Murphy,
Melissa
that's
doing it
Yep.
at that same session.
It's gnar.
That thing looks
so
big.
I've been there many, many times. I would never hit it.
I was there in full health and form, and I wanted nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It's a full blown waterfall.
I think Yan was the only one that tried it.
No, Ben boosted
did it?
the
Okay.
largest.
Oh, yeah,
he
you're right.
tried
I
it
remember
twice.
now.
But
Yep.
didn't we figure out he was clearing the whitewash and landing in the whitewash
in solid water.
turns out is the key. Like you need to land on the
Turbulence.
Like Yan was approaching it like a snowboard cliff, which was like
He's like, yeah.
get it up in the air
Yep.
and hold it there and then land. And I mean, Yan rode away from it, I think twice,
Crazy.
just to get like different angles. But then when Ben did it, he was like olling like
Huge.
3 feet off the top.
Yeah.
And then it was like another like probably 14-foot drop off.
He was clearing all of landing like in the flat water past all the whitewash, which I think is the impact zone. Like it's divers when they do
bubbles.
diving training and they use the bubbles to break the surface tension. So there's like definitely some science to it, but we didn't realize it till later watching the clips because I remember seeing the bend attempts.
I did too.
And seeing like him go to flat. It like looks totally different because of how much more like when he was saying Yan was probably popping early too, knowing that he was just trying to get into the position to brace for that and like which ultimately is what worked. Ben was going to the end of it and launching the ollie.
I mean, it literally was
insane.
It was like a snowboarder, like Yan, like pillow line, kind of like not rocket air, but not like leveled out because you got to have that like land, you know. And Ben's trying to like poke it and level it, and then you just like fall.
Just
like
I mean,
Ben didn't want me to use those photos for anything because he didn't land it, but it's like the angle that I was shooting from like down at the landing looking up. I mean, like I've brought it into Photoshop and like measured pixels, and I'm just like, there's like 15 feet from the bottom of his board.
Well, the turbulent thing is a testament to is it called Veterans?
Yeah, Veterans is
You
totally
heard of that
flat.
one? That's here in Florida.
I think you've told me about it.
I think we brought it up one time. It's only been landed by a couple of people, but it's been attempted by.
And you land in still flat water. So most dudes that have hit it blow up on landing.
Yeah.
It's just
explode.
impact. It's just
Explode.
pure
Nick
impact.
Robinson is who I'm thinking of. Oh, actually, CZ too.
But Trav Duran shoved it eventually. Like,
Yeah.
But I
Trav
mean, it
shoved
was a dozen people tried to ollie it, and like people that could absolutely capable of ollieing it.
Yeah.
And it's just, the difference between even just that extra foot of drop is like, it's a big impact. And to be able to ride away from it, the flat water, I think we thought Veterans was the peak of like, you can't go higher than that. And then Yan hits that waterfall, and learning in hindsight because of that water disturbance at the bottom maybe allowed him to take that impact a little easier.
It's a good
Makes
theory.
sense. Yeah. I agree, though, on the wakeboard spot. I mean, for the most part, I don't think there's much overlap
There's
in
not
terms
much.
of what we should be hitting. I think there is maybe
There was
some
at some
unique
point.
situations that come into play, but I think for the most part, if you're trying to be like, these are my clips, these are like certified on the wakeboard side of things, it's like you probably shouldn't be tapping in.
Well,
Well,
we'll have to get pretty creative to collaborate with wakeboarders at the X Games, right?
Well, that's what I like. I like that, like, getting creative with winch spots on a wake skate looks way different than getting creative,
Yeah.
with wakeboards at a winch spot. So it's like those are going to be different spots.
Yeah,
Not,
100%.
it's not just about size of a drop or anything.
I got a question for back in the day when you guys were hitting spots. Was your attitude going into a winch spot that you needed to do something harder than what had been done there, or something different?
Different.
Different was required.
Yeah, okay.
Better was a goal to aim for.
You would walk away with different feeling happy. Harder, you'd be like, this is...
Kind of,
Or not.
If
I
it
don't
was
know.
a really played out spot,
Yeah.
like if it was a spot that everybody had hit, like you couldn't show up to M Gap in 2013 and do some basic stock bangers.
No.
Like you had to pull something out of that. If you were gonna go there and get a clip for a video, it had to be something that was just
Mind blown.
Because everything was already checked off the list?
exactly.
Okay.
And that spot's
Or
not
enough.
an easy spot
It doesn't
to
have
hit.
to be everything, just enough
Yeah,
on that list.
And that was just an example. It's just like there were spots like that where it's like, kind of everybody knows where this spot is. Everybody has access to it. If you're going to do something here, it's got to be really worthwhile. It's got to be, you're going to save your, more common tricks for a new spot or a new angle or a new something. But
Yeah.
I'd have a little bit of both though. Like there'd be some spots where I'm like, dang, I can't believe no one's done this, and it's one of the tricks that's like in my bag. And I'm not like thinking of it like, oh, it's going to be so cool when I do it. I would just note it as like, I can go get that trick as like filler, if you will, for my part. Like I want it in my part, but it's not going to be something that I'm like running to go show everyone that I did, but there would be times where I'm like, and a lot of times if I went to the spot, that's where I would start, as far as like I'm not just randomly trying tricks. I'd have like I got to do this to warm up. I'd like to get this to get a clip so I didn't come home empty handed. And then if that goes well, I'll go to this, like some people were better. Often I'd basically be happy if I left with the middle one.
Yeah.
But like for some people that list would end up being, like Trav Belcito is a perfect example. Like he can do all of the like warm up tricks, like them.
Even if it hasn't technically been checked off
The middle
yet.
trick that like I would be stoked to do. Like Trav
Yeah.
is going to get that. He's not going to even do the ollie or the 180. He's going to skip to the middle trick, and he's probably going to get 2 or 3, usable clips, and then have a good chance of still getting the one that he went after.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was like everybody kind of approached it to that to a certain degree. Like there was some spots that were more picked over than others. So finding something that hadn't been done was like, it's going to be something crazy because 50 people have hit this spot before. But yeah, I pick both. Sometimes I would like have my tricks that were in my lane that I'm like, I'm going to get that. No one's done that there. I'll do that. That'll fit in. And then other times I'd be like specifically targeting a trick that no one's done because I think it's the best thing that I could do at that spot.
Yeah. I think in the era of like everything's fun, we're doing it for fun, I think that is one thing that should absolutely remain. Like it has to be different. No matter what, like you have to do something different.
I had something in this vein that I wrote down to talk about. Is there an expiration date on like when somebody does something down at like
Or a song in a video part?
the song in the video part or a trick
No,
in the video
it's a
part?
song.
Is there an expiration date? Like if somebody does a trick at a spot, like could it be done better and still redone and used? Like is it
I don't know. I
violation?
think
Like,
once it's tapped, it's tapped.
Yeah, it's that. The ABD.
so you don't want to see it like if somebody like
I'll see it on post it on Instagram.
Yeah,
you
post it
know?
on IG clip, but
Yeah.
don't put it in a video part.
what if like you're debating whether or not people even remember? Like would you try to slide it
That's
into a part?
bad morals. You got bad morals.
That's slimy.
Yeah, some slimy shit.
I'm thinking of like a specific, like there's a
There's
trick
a trick TJ wants to do.
No, it's not me. It's already been. It was done. Somebody went and did all the work and did it again, and later found out that it's been done on that spot. But it's sick. Like,
Post on Instagram.
Do we get to know what it is?
no, I'm not going to tell you. I don't mind to talk about.
All right.
I think if you know, you put it on
I mean,
Instagram.
but there are certain tricks. I'll take a kickflip from 5 different guys on the same spot just to see it done. I guess it would be a social thing, but like a kickflip, like that doesn't check it off the list for me. Maybe if the spot's unique, but if it's like, dude, I have a different kickflip than Nick. Nick's got a different kickflip than
Kickflip's almost like
Kickflips-
a different
That's a
thing.
good point.
Kickflip's kind of like the holy grail. You put your own touch to a kickflip more than any other trick there is. And so I could watch everyone do a kickflip down the same spot and be pretty happy. Now, I guess for a video part, it would be a little bit different, but like there is a trick or two like that kickflip that multiple people can do it, in my opinion.
That's an interesting point that you bring up with that.
You guys may or may not be burying a clip forever, like by just talking about this and giving your opinions, by the way.
I still want to see it.
Yeah,
Throw it on Instagram, TJ.
Do we get to see it after this?
Yeah,
I
what's
don't
going
know. It's not me. It's not my clip. I have nothing to do with it.
Can we call this said person?
I think,
Yeah, what is
I think
Why-
that even
why are
if
you
the
being so
clip went up,
secretive?
I think that even if the clip went up, people that were there for the first go around wouldn't put it together.
Would help if you wrote it down on the paper.
I would accept
This
the
is
challenge
wild.
of remembering that it
Like
happened.
you were there, the clip can run, and you're not gonna single it out. It's like it's that deep of a cut.
Well, then maybe there is an expiration date.
this is deep
Maybe you're
right
right.
now.
Maybe
This is deep,
maybe
right?
that concept has validity.
It's the principle, though. It's the principle.
It's a 3 flip.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Is it in Ohio?
Well, he's not going to tell us even.
He's not going to tell us.
yeah,
He's
we'll
gonna
talk
keep
about it
buried.
later.
Yeah. Well,
I think it should go in the video, not on Instagram. Put it in the video.
He's looking at the camera when he said that for the
Whoa.
listeners.
No, he's not looking at the camera. He's looking at that person.
He's looking at that person,
you're
yeah.
looking into their soul
Both
right
of
through
you.
the fourth wall.
Both of you.
What?
This is good.
I think everybody out there needs to behave themselves because TJ is watching.
Always watching. All right, I say we rip through some Instagram questions.
Hunter, can I just touch on
Yeah.
the what was the question was,
Harder or difficult at a spot?
or different, right?
Or different, I'm sorry. Harder or different, not
Like,
difficult.
I know I keep bringing up Matt Hooker, but like one of my favorite parts about filming with Matt was because he knew like his skill set and his limitations when going to a spot. So he was the one person that I always feel like showed up at the spot and like looked at it differently than anybody else has. Just like M Gap when he like jibbed the side of it, or we showed up to the howl edge and he's like, "There's a pole right here. I'm gonna hippie hop this." Like,
Yeah.
he was the one that like knew like I'm not gonna do like any of these tricks that Andrew Pastura is gonna do. Like, but I can do something sick here. So like I feel like that's one person that
That's different.
I think, he showed up and he's like, I want to do something different, and that's why his parts were so unique.
See, and that's the lane that I think a lot of people put themselves in the box of like, I need to do something that's harder at the spot. And then that's one type of rider. But I also love the rider that just does something completely different. Whether it's like nobody's switched straight at it before. I'm going to switch straight air with like a little backside poke.
Especially
That's cool.
Especially if like switch straight air is like the thing that you do.
Yeah, like you
particularly
love
well,
that, and like you put your own unique.
that's like the best version
flavor
of
on
that,
it.
probably.
Yeah.
It's picking the thing that like I can make this look.
I've been practicing
this
these,
is my trick.
for
I'm
a
gonna
long
do it
time.
better.
And
Yeah.
so I think that stuff's cool too.
Yeah, and it doesn't need to be just a linear checklist of this slightly harder trick, this slightly harder trick.
Yeah.
Put your own spin
Skip steps and then
Yeah.
come back. All right, I think we ripped through some Instagram questions here, and we have one from Fresh Coco, and it is, what's the biggest pet peeve you have with wakeboarders?
There's not enough of them.
I'll hang up and listen. Oh, there's not enough.
Nope.
I agree.
It's a good one.
I mean, it's
Don't hold back
All right,
on
I
this
got
one.
you.
Don't hold back on this one.
The after bang.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Can I,
mean,
say that on here?
That exists in wake skating too, but I
It
will
does.
say there's some violators.
Some violations.
After bang in
High-level
wakeboarding
violators.
is
Okay,
way
explain
higher than
everything what
any
you mean by
other
this.
sport I've ever watched ever. And I'm pretty serious about this because it's bad in wakeboarding, in my opinion.
Dive
It
into it.
happens in wake skating for sure, and I'm probably an offender at one point or another.
It's hard not to sometimes.
It
when
is
something
hard not
feels
to.
that good.
Yeah, I mean, I think my first like big flip behind a jet ski, I spiked the handle. You know, I
That's
think
not so
Tad
much
might have even
afterbang.
been there on that one. I
Afterbang
don't
is
know.
like
That's
a
afterbang is
claim,
like
dude.
the extra
Yeah.
added after you land it. Then you like over exaggerate how relaxed you were and like
Yes.
how easy it was for you.
Yes.
It's like you did all this thing and then you were just like,
Yes. Or like the look back and just make sure the filmer's filming and all that stuff is just.
But
What
do you,
about
but
the
do you think that that's like a genuine expression of emotion, or do you think that it's contrived and purely,
Is that where
purely
you're
just
going?
Keaton?
Well, sorry.
No,
he
it's all right.
fully distracted
He
me
did.
on that
He
one.
got you on that one. Do you,
Yeah.
like when you see like, you know, the handle spike or the look back to see if the camera's filming, like, do you think that that's like a genuine expression of the emotion they're feeling, or do you think that it's, or does it bother you just when it's contrived and seems like it's done to be
That-
seen
forcefully.
doing
The second one, because like I said, I'm an offender probably through raw emotion at some point. It's hard not to be, but like,
the people who make it their style.
yeah, it's like part of their style, or like every trick has the same kind of after bang effect, and like, you know, every trick I've ever landed doesn't feel the same because you've landed a different way in body movement. If it's like a guy that like does a trick and then like slouches right after, and he's like, it's like, I don't know,
It's almost like there's a pause when they land, and then it's like snap, and then it goes into the
It's a little
afterbang where it's
much.
like
There's all
Yeah.
kinds of little ticks that
Worst.
happen with it. Like there's like the arm swing too. Like I've seen
as
that.
you're like approaching an obstacle.
Yes,
yeah.
like the swing, and it like mentally, I've caught myself, and it has to do with maybe like remembering to be loose
Is
and
it a
not
timing?
and not like coming in feeling stiff and looking stiff. But I see the arm swing thing a lot, and then the head dip are like the ones where like you just see them. It's okay to add a touch of it, but when it lingers a little too long on the end, it's noticeable. And you notice it in all sports. I see snowboarders doing
Yeah.
it, where I'm like, that would have been cool if he didn't like ride away looking like an idiot.
yeah.
But and then wake skaters have been doing it for a long time. I've been doing it too, but there's definitely a little more noticeable because there's some higher level people that are doing it in wakeboarding right now.
I agree.
no argument here.
Yeah, you like that one?
No, I agree. Yeah, I
Okay.
totally agree with that one. That's a great one.
That's it. We only need one.
No. Everybody's got to give one here. TJ, I know you're loaded. Nick's loaded. Tad, I know, has
he
probably
has
so
I don't-
an
No,
encyclopedia.
I'm too out of the loop these days.
Me too.
What about back in the day?
I was just gonna say I'm too.
We don't have to limit
Well,
it
back
to
in the
today.
day, it was just wakeboarders taking themselves way too seriously and taking a thing that's supposed to be fun and making it not fun. But you know, whether that's still the case, you know, I get it when people are at, you know, the height of their competitive, you know, mindset. They want to stay in that, and they want to be what they see themselves being. But you know, maybe just because wake skaters are a bunch of little goofballs, like it was just funny, like being around the like heavy wakeboard contest scene as a bunch of wake skaters, like just there to have a good time.
Yeah.
And you know, some of the flare ups you would see from the certain personalities, like
Still exists today.
yeah, I could tell by the expression on your face that is not a foreign concept to you. But
That's good.
You know,
It's fair. Taking it too seriously.
doesn't really affect me too much.
Yeah. Tad.
I don't think I have any, man. I don't know. Back in the day, I was not a fan of just like all the pallet kickers that people would bring to spots, but like
Oh shit! I
you
love
gotta
pellet kickers.
you gotta
bro.
like you gotta make what you know. If you gotta make a spot, make a spot. I don't really care anymore.
Okay, anti-pellet kicker. That's valid.
I don't know if I had the choice, like, and I'm like we've made I think one or two spots like where we've brought stuff in like
A fender of
at
his own
Pine
rule.
Creek. We
Yeah.
you know we made a hub at Pine Creek. Like that's kind of building your own spot.
Yeah.
That thing that did look goofy in hindsight when you look at it. It looks
It was
goofy
like-
as hell.
Yeah,
super
but I
weird.
mean, we were winching like every single day, and like
Just
we
trying
were kind of just getting bored of all the Orlando spots.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I get it. So like that's what I'm
Little
saying.
spot
I don't,
mod, yeah.
I don't really care anymore. Like that was just
These
back in
unks in the room don't care anymore. They're,
Right.
Yeah, you guys are too detached now. Too mature. All right.
Just go have fun.
I just want everybody.
I just want to have fun,
time.
man. All right, DJ. Save the wake skate squad. Hate on
There's
wakeboarding
not,
a little bit.
There's not enough wakeboarders. I mean, we need more of them.
Yeah.
More
Give me the real answer now that you hit the political one.
I don't know. I mean, it's not like new to this generation or anything. It's not like unique to the sport of wakeboarding, but I notice it a lot because the time that I do spend riding is usually at a cable now. But the guys that are like really good, especially the younger ones, and we've all probably been guilty of it to a certain degree, there's like this almost like you're so good you don't feel the need to like explain yourself to someone or give them the time of day when like you like
You big time them.
yes,
Yeah.
the big
worst.
time in people like, and I see it like happen a lot in line now where I'm just like, these are like the 5 people that potentially know who you are, that you could be like, you know, like not, I mean, it's obviously it's bigger than that, but in reality, like this is your audience today. Like if you're trying to do this for a living, you're trying to be a professional at this, like you should be being nice to them. You should be interacting with them as much as you can. Whereas I just can't tell you how many times I've seen the like kid ask a question of someone as they're about to leave the dock and they like pretend like they didn't hear or something, or like, you know, if they do give them the answer, they give them a short, sarcastic kind of like, I don't know, like, who is this guy anyways? Why is he asking me this? You know, like that's, and it's not unique to wakeboarding. That's every sport, but I see it every now and then at the park where I'm just like, you're not as cool.
You're
as
not
you
that
think
guy,
you
pal.
are right
Yeah,
now.
you're not that guy. That's a good one. That's not unique maybe to wakeboarding, but that's a
I
good
got
one.
one more.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, this is actually maybe a generational thing or something, but on the West Coast right now, I go to Wake Island not as much as I used to. Every day I used to go with Bammer, like, and my wife. We'd go every single day, multiple times. We don't know anyone that works there anymore. Like, it's a new generation.
Yeah.
They have no respect for like what came before them because they're park rats that don't watch wakeboarding, that just come after school and then they take over the park, and you know, they don't interact and stuff like that. And I find that super offensive.
I'd argue though that it's your responsibility to
I try to talk
teach
to
them in a way that is gentle and not like what you're doing doesn't matter because we've already done it. But like they don't have that because of what I was saying, like that the previous generation didn't care to bring them up or like, you know, and inform them on what had happened and
Got to go full unk status on.
Yeah, a lot of these kids I'm talking about wear like the full like pants and everything. It's like 100 degrees outside too, and I find that just like it's so odd, but that's
bro. It's for sun coverage.
Wait, we're hitting another one with pants here too. I like.
actually,
just keep going.
I don't mind
I'm wearing
the
pants in the summer. Sun coverage.
I don't mind the pants on the wakeboard side, but when it's like 30 kids at the dock and they're all look exactly the same, no flavor between all of them, it's a little much. But no, Trev and them wear pants, and they have since day one with me around, so I'm down with that.
Okay.
Where's the pendulum right now as far as like wide stance went to real tight stance for a bit?
Are we going back
Great
out?
question. This is a great
swinging
question.
Back outward?
So I think we have peaked at skinny.
Okay.
So wherever that was, we peaked. So we're coming back.
Gotcha.
It's not far away from skinny, but we've fallen back down.
I think we're in a good spot right now with
I think
stances,
we're in
to be
a- I think
honest.
Because I'm real old school. I like them big wide trucker stances. I like shorter boards. And
I don't think the short boards is
and I
going
like
to come back,
flippy spins
unfortunately.
behind the boats. I think that's really cool looking.
But I think
I don't
Quinn
think
kind of
those are gonna
showed
come
us why you don't do that. Didn't he just like make a
Yeah, he got
post
double
with two
hip
like
surgery, yeah.
hip bones in bags? And he's like, I used to be wide stance. This is what happened.
Oh, gnarly.
Who peaked the skinny stance, Wes?
Yeah, I think so. Well,
was
I think
Dylan
Dylan
Miller,
Miller
yeah.
started it, and
He's
then
a
I think
day
Wes
for him.
peaked
Remember
it.
there was like the whole Dylan Miller day where everyone
Yeah.
would put like skinny stances on?
Well, and the crazy thing is with Dylan Miller, like if you were to look at his stance today, his pendulum's probably right in the middle. It's not. It really isn't like skinny compared to the OG. You know, standing on the tip and tail of the board. Yeah, it's skinny, but like there's some cats who like we have inserts on some of these boards that your feet are touching almost. Like it's insanely narrow. And there's kids that ride boards like that, and I'm like that. I mean, you do. If you're having fun, I don't give a shit. But
it was
like,
definitely between Wes and Dylan of who, like, I feel like, I don't know, I'm not privy timeline wise, like, was Dylan leading? I feel like Dylan was leading the charge with the skinny stance, and Wes adopted it and made it,
I think Dylan was
solidified it
the
as
OG.
being like, hey, this
Yeah.
is sick, we're doing this.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was like a race to get skinnier, and like, I don't know, those two guys did it really well. I think
Made it look
I don't
good.
mind watching
Dylan,
them
yeah.
ride with their skinny stances, but then like you were saying, you get that like the influence takes hold, and then you get a whole bunch of people doing it that aren't necessarily making it look as good as.
Well,
they
I
were.
fell victim to the propaganda early in my cable career where I went full skinny, and I was like, that's the way to go. Is slammed in, and then I opened my eyes and the
How do
birds
you
flew
know
in.
if it's
and
not for you though until you've gone all the way in and then all the way out?
exactly, yeah, you gotta experience the gamut, and
You
that's
don't know. You don't know what it feels like until
very-
you've gone all the way in.
Who do you guys think has the tightest stance in wake skating?
I was
Why'd
going to
you
ask
say
the same
tight?
question. You know,
what's wrong with
I will say, I think
Narrowest. So
I was trying to
for
make the joke with going all the way in.
for
I was too far behind.
for like flip tricks, I feel like Ben always had his front foot really far back.
Yeah, and he was digging into that board. But yeah, Trey Sneff did a kickflip on like the mini board down
yeah.
his drop, and
Oh,
his
yeah.
feet were literally almost touching. So that was pretty close.
Yeah. What about wide stance?
Well, we were talking about who was
Grub
just on earlier.
immediately.
Chris
Callis. He has wide,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Watching Grub cut in toe side to the wake on a 43-inch board with 1 foot on the tail, 1 foot on the nose, he made it work for him.
Yeah.
But Grub's got the widest stance in wake skating, in my opinion.
I've
I
never rode a
remember
board
the first
that
time
long.
seeing your foot set up for a kickflip and thinking, what is he doing? But your kickflips are better than mine. So I was like,
But what year was this? Because my kickflip stance from
integrities.
04
It was
okay,
integrity. Yeah.
Yeah.
way different than 10 years
Right.
later.
A lot further up on the integrity.
The pocket was in a weird spot. Like,
No, it was just kind of like, it was like TJ said, the pocket was just in a different spot. I think my heel was hanging off the edge of the board more on the integrities.
For sure. I
especially,
remember.
especially early on.
Yeah, you were like all the way off on the edge. I
Pretty
remember
far out
that.
there, and that was kind of a holdover from the campus days when there was no concave on my board.
right.
Because that's where I learned kickflips on. But
kind of makes sense. You get more leverage being out there and up there.
yeah, it all kind of worked its way into a more like casual, more workable stance. But yeah, what do you guys think? Narrowest stance on a wake skate?
I mean, the bend thing for sure. He bring his foot back.
His might have been normal, but he always rode a longer wake skate. So
Yeah.
maybe it just looked like
Stu
it.
went narrow stance going wake to wake. I remember he had this thing, and to me it looked sick, but I don't really want to see other people do it. With his threes, his knees would like
Yes,
touch.
Yeah.
But he was doing them so sick. They were like going like off axis.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember Stu's
Right, his
knees
knees
almost
was-
knocking.
The knee knockers. Damn.
I got a question on the wakeboard side. Was the skinny stance at first, was it a thing to like help your hips, or was it always a style thing?
I think the original explanation was, I mean, obviously it came from snowboarding, which is always like we're lagged behind 5 to 10 years. And the reasoning was it's easier to spin on and off of rails. You can whip the board around.
Would you do a smaller board too then with the skinny stance?
I think when Dylan started it was just normal size boards.
Okay.
And then
They went bigger though.
then you went bigger, and so then it kind of negates your your whole motives
Okay.
there.
Well-
But I don't really believe in swing weight as much on a wakeboard. I think it's kind of a myth. So the board size, I don't really know if it makes a huge
Wakeboards are pretty
difference.
light, right?
Yeah, depends, but yeah, for the most part, they're light.
I feel like I heard somebody make the argument one time for the narrower stance and the bigger boards is it defines the grab points better. Like whereas where indie was when your stance is wide is like there's this whole range where you could be indie over here.
I kind of like the range,
and
to
indie
be
over
honest.
there.
Though.
Makes it easier.
More
And
margin
it gives
for
you
error.
room. Like you can do the back foot indie, or you can go right in between. And I don't know.
Definitely, I don't think it makes it easier. I think it makes it harder.
Yeah.
When you narrow that grab point. But
Yeah, definitely. That's an interesting point. I hadn't heard that one. All right, we got one last Instagram question from Dale Newstead, and he's wondering who of the new crew of wake skaters is getting you stoked these days. For me, it's Johan Nilius, the young French phenom.
He just posted a crazy clip like
Front
yesterday. Front three to into a bank, like where he did the front three and didn't pass the handle and landed like
Sick.
all wrapped up in a bank and just rode away sick. That was pretty cool.
That is not easy.
So it's a good poll he had there with Johan.
Yeah, he's top 10. That's
Yeah.
Dale. Wakeskate Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Shout out Wakeskate Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna steal TJ's Tim before he can say it.
I was gonna say
Got him
Dylan's-
back on
I
it.
saw that.
He got
swoop
me earlier.
Back
I saw that
ups, dude.
swoop coming from
I
a
got-
mile away.
How old is Tim?
Backups.
Do we know how old Tim is?
I don't know. I think we were talking about this. Keaton and I were trying to figure it out. I'm not.
We don't need to air that one out.
He's
Yeah.
got a timeless
Timeless.
style. Feels like he's been around forever, but also feels like he could be part of the young gun crew.
Yeah.
He doesn't only have a style riding. His videos all have a style and a vibe, and it's so refreshing.
Yeah.
And he wears the shoes we wear.
He knows it's
Ooh,
good.
I got one. No, you guys aren't getting this one. Mateo Collard. He's French. He's tall man steez, and he rides 4 lock-ins, and he's doing like lock-in tricks, switch in regular. He can do all the flip tricks. He's doing switch flip tricks. I feel like he's still like early on in his progression, but the level that he's riding at already is insane. But he is, every time I see a clip of him, he's doing something. I'm like, I don't know if that's been done before. A lot of sneaky hard stuff, like some of the switch lock-in tricks, that have maybe been done, but I couldn't reference what video or who had done them.
Well, then it doesn't exist because it expired.
That's true.
No, it's
a good name.
Mateo Collard.
It's a good name.
it's refreshing seeing him do like a blunt and then watch him do a switch blunt. He is dabbling into the feeble stuff a little bit.
I mean, I said
he needs
Crooks.
an unk to set him straight.
I said Crooks though. I didn't say Smiths and Feebles.
He did. He did.
I'm at the park doing Smiths and Feebles to this. I'm not gonna post it in a park or in a part or something, but I'm absolutely all for Smiths and Feebles, especially on like some like banked fun boxy thing. It's fun.
It's fun watching him because it's every trick, regular and switch, all lock in.
Yeah. Sets him apart for sure.
Yeah, I'd go with Johan though too.
Okay.
And I've been chatting with him online a little bit. He's working at a cable park this summer, and he's like 22. He's the youngest one of the whole wake.
I feel like that French wake skate scene's pretty fucking strong.
Mateo's French too.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, Europe in general has definitely been going strong in the last few years. But yeah, France hits hard. My answer is going to be Telma.
Sick.
Yeah.
Just killing it. Good style, good tricks.
Yeah.
We need more Telma clips.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need a full part.
You ain't lying.
Tad, you got any? Are you too unked out, not tapped in?
Wait, did I not say
Tad-
anybody?
Tad
Tim.
stole-
He
I
stole-
said-
Oh, you stole Tim. So who'd
Yeah.
you say then? Oh, you said Mateo. Sorry.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
that.
Keaton didn't actually give one.
Well, I said
just
Tim
big.
as well. That's who I would have said. He
He
beat
stole
me to
he
it.
stole
Johan.
Tim's
Stole.
and Dale's because then he also said Johan too.
Yeah.
He did.
So do you have?
I was actually, he was like, we need more Telma clips. I was actually going to try
you're
to
gonna say
peep it
Telma
real
too?
quick.
Yeah. Do you have your own?
Anybody on the state side that's
Yeah.
been showing up to like PWL the last couple of years?
Cole.
He's not new.
Belcito
No,
is
he's
my
not.
favorite American wake skater at this.
Yeah,
at this
for
time.
the new like American wake skaters, Luke Denny would have been like the newest,
Mm-hmm.
like one really pushing. I mean, there's a whole weight like his buddy Josh Bartel too is really sick.
That's just sick.
Alex Ams still kind of like, I mean, he's maybe closer to our age, but he's still like newer to me as far as like not having seen people ride that way.
Yeah.
I think Coco has gone pretty unsung tonight. in our
Dude,
conversation.
how have we missed
Like,
Coco?
Because
mean,
he's the silent assassin.
He
You
is.
just like don't hear
he-
from him.
Yeah, he hasn't been riding as much lately, but kind of in terms of like guys who can do it all, guys who really make it look good. I mean, Coco is just right there.
Do you ever like resent him for taking the hard flip and just like
Making it his.
Don't you think I hogged it to myself for long enough though?
like remember when you had the best hard flip and then like Coco started doing hard flips?
It's true.
I mean,
Coco can do them anywhere.
The
It's
minute
wild.
I saw Coco do the hard flip down the double set, big
dude,
drop
on the
at
Virtue.
CWC, I'm just standing there watching it. I was like, well, those aren't mine anymore.
I'm glad you acknowledged that.
those are his now.
That was such a fun session too. Like
It was just magic.
it hadn't gotten
Absolute
too dark
magic.
to film or really shoot anything, and we all just like sat and watched him and Nick Robinson. Like I think Nick was doing like back three down that huge set or something crazy.
Yep.
That was crazy. Yeah,
That
hard flip.
whole trip. That was the Wakeskate Tours 2015 spring training trip where Rockstar basically paid us or paid for the top 10 riders of the previous year's Wakeskate Tour, sent us all across the globe to CWC in the Philippines and just filmed the whole thing and set us loose on the cable park. The System 2, they brought us out to Caramoan, like the outer islands out there, and gave us a Sea-Doo out there and like filmed us on that. And it was just like one of those things where it made everybody involved feel like this is what high level professional wakeskating is supposed to be like.
Yeah.
It was a part of the previous year for the Wakeskate Tour, they made it public that the top 10 riders would be going to the Philippines for like a spring training the following year.
Yeah,
so like the previous year, the whole time we were all battling, like especially like the top 4 or 5 guys are pretty solidified, but the whole bottom,
Back end,
like
yeah.
the bottom 10, like the bottom 5, like to get that 10th spot. Like I was number 9 at one point. Fortenberry was number 9. Like I remember me and Fortenberry were living together at that time, and we were pissed that Coco edged us out at a Battle Falls.
Battle Falls, yeah.
Like he got us. I remember like it was something like we were already out, and all we needed was him to not go to semis. And he went to, I think he ended up going to finals
he
that
ended up in
year.
the finals.
And we were both just like devastated because me and Drew we were like, one of us is going to the Philippines, guaranteed, no question, cannot be Coco. And Coco went, and then, but then like the hard flip came out, and like we were both kind of just like, yeah, well, shit.
He shredded on that trip. Yeah. That was sick.
I thought that was cool though, like to average like that.
No, that
made it so much
that lit a
spicier.
fire.
That is really
we
cool.
were battling for that like back half of the top 10.
I was right there. I was like on it, and then
Oh, yeah, you were definitely in
I was
there.
in the top 10 until the last stop, and I got 11th. I didn't make that trip.
Leading up to like every stop, they would tell us like, we had
Here
3
you
stops
are.
or whatever.
Who's in the
Yeah, they'd be like
running?
the top 10 is here, so you'd get your post
And
of like here's where you're at, like, and yeah, Keaton was rotated in, Colin G rotated in, me, Fortenberry,
The last like
Coco,
4
we were all
spots
kind
were
of
just
battling.
like,
And it was a point.
That's exactly how you want it to
Yeah.
be,
It's a
though.
Point
Like,
system. So you literally had guys sitting there like, all right, as long as he doesn't make quarters, if he goes to the finals, then he's gonna edge this guy out. It was like, yeah, that was
cool.
That was such a
wow,
cool
that is actually really cool because you always think about like the top guys, like for the
Nobody
most
cares
part.
about making their $200 for getting 10th place. We care about if I'm
Going on
Yeah,
a
go to
trip.
this
the
epic
finals or
trip,
not, yeah.
like to ride your wake skate more.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you want to
Especially with that crew. Like you wanted to be with that crew. Like if you're
Yeah.
gonna go on a trip, you want to
For
go on a
sure.
trip with like the guys and
yeah.
push each other.
do. Damn, that was cool, Rockstar.
Yeah, the wake skate tour was just by far the best competitive thing that wake skating ever did. Was it was the best tours, the best events, it was the best crew.
I mean, I guess we talked
The
earlier about the
filming,
biggest
everything.
things in wake skate's history. I mean, where would you rank the wake skate tour like as a whole?
Up there for sure.
Decently high.
It's up
Yeah,
there.
I mean, number one in the category of competitive ventures.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Toe Jam was legendary. It was awesome, and it kind of set us on a path that led to bigger and better things. But it was, the wake skate tour was the best for that. But just overall, in general, it's definitely up there.
Yeah. Always. It seems so button up to me looking back on it. I'll go watch YouTube videos. I was like, damn, this is like
It's because we put
a
Silas in charge.
production,
Silas
like
killed that one.
this is so legit. Like that's something you could take
That's why
elsewhere
he's on my
outside.
Mount Rushmore. Shout out,
What a
Side
pullback.
Daddy. Shout out, Side Daddy.
It wasn't the front board shoves and in its travels. It
But
was,
those played a role. That's what I knew.
did.
I knew
He
he
did
could
have
hang.
style.
He's still
Yeah.
got the front board shove today. If we went
Guaranteed.
somewhere,
I bet
he's
you
putting
did.
it
I say we
down.
track him down.
I think
But he really did so much for all of us.
retention was also like a catalyst after Toe Jam for the tour that we haven't talked about
that's
it.
Retention
that's
was
the
huge.
reason
That's pretty pivotal.
That was the reason we knew the wake skate tour was a viable path forward.
Right.
Are we talking about the final was at night and there was a
Yes.
bunch of lights everywhere and
Yes.
it looked like an actual like maybe from the snowboard era, a finals.
Yep.
Everyone's lining the pool. Everyone's like
It looked
beer
like some
in
shit
hand and
Nike
just-
would do.
Yeah, it felt like it in
Was it
person,
not a
too.
Nike?
It was.
It was,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
But like
it was a Nike
it
thing,
looked
yeah.
like,
That's what it was. It
felt
was-
like
yeah.
something totally different than we ever had before. Night riding was not everyone's favorite thing to do, so you had to like come around to the fact that like look how it looks,
Yeah.
So I remember being like, I don't really want to ride at night; it's harder. But then you see like what the clips and the photos look like, and it's undeniable.
And that was part of the riders meetings for the wake skate tour. Once you got to the finals and even sometimes to the semis, was like, listen, yes, we're all here to ride, we're all here to win. Everybody wants to do well. Keep in mind the reason, a big part of the reason we're able to do this is because they're making a video out of this. Their video is going on their YouTube. We want this to look good. So don't just go out there and fall on the same flip trick 10 times. Put on a good show.
Yeah.
Like, don't just think of yourself in this scenario. Let's make this something that we can keep building off of and keep growing. And so it was like, hey, make it look good.
Yeah.
A name not said tonight that absolutely had a great time at that contest was Leo.
Oh yeah.
He made
Yes.
that super final.
Yep.
And I remember did every big spin you can do down that drop
Frontside
at night
flipped it, yeah.
and frontside flipped.
That was a good
Switch frontside.
Well,
He
he's
did his
like
flip
Danny.
tricks.
He does,
Okay, yeah.
I think he could do some
Different
flip tricks
foot
left foot
forward,
forward, but
yeah.
he did his flip trick switch.
Yeah.
Cable stance.
We'll have to show you that one. It was a cool. I don't know where that video lives, but it was like legit final.
Yeah.
It was rad.
Yeah, just any event that we had at Ben's house was just different. I think that's
Raging pool.
Raging Pool. I mean, we did 2 retentions, I think, right?
So
Yeah.
much went down there, good and bad. And I got to bring up one bad
I don't even want to know what this is.
contest. Maybe wake skate tour. Don't know. When there was a land gap and then the drop. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Who's
was
his favorite?
That was my favorite setup. I didn't get to hit because I blew my knee out on that Blanco spot in Texas. During that, when we were all battling water monsters and remote,
Yeah.
we were fighting over spots on the way back to the retention. I did the ACL on Blanco and had to. That's why I know that setup stuck in my brain because afterwards, like a grass gap, no rail. Every year, Ben's setup would be like increasingly gnarlier, like concrete ledges, something. But this setup, like it was still gnarly, but it was so much more I don't know.
It was so
friendly.
playful.
It had just a grass gap, like a 2 or 3 foot wide grass gap. As like you hit that first, and then you hit a drop that was just one
rail,
batty metal handrail
yeah.
down the middle. Like you didn't have options of what to hit. Just one thing, one grass gap. To me, it would like if I was going to build a setup in my backyard, it would look like that to this day.
100%, because it was so easy.
What was
and
the
fun.
bad thing? What was the bad thing?
But I was sitting on the shoreline, and you're the rider. George Daniels kickflip credit card.
Oh yeah.
So
stopped him. He spiked himself on it.
The first little pond was very short, maybe like this shallow, into the next pond that was like this shallow, and it was like sod down into there. And he kickflipped, and he caught it with his back foot and his front foot. It nose dove, and it stuck the ground and hit him on the inner thigh, and stopped him and pushed him the other way. And I was like this close to it. I'll never forget it. And I don't think he hit the junk, but like he went to the hospital and bleeding. Like it was so full speed stop credit card.
Jeez.
We had some good shenanigans too.
Sorry.
Well, I thought you were
picturing
going
it.
somewhere else. Like there was like maybe in that same year, there was a wake skater from Australia. He was like came over. I don't know. He might have I don't want to say his name because I feel like he's got a professional real job now. Oh, okay. But one of the Aussie boys came over and like had a good time. Everyone was going hard, but he was especially going hard because he's Aussie and he's like in hanging out with all his friends and wake skaters that he hadn't got to meet the first time. Passes out drunk around the campfire, and there's like the big cherry picker thing that like the photographers were using to like get cool angles and stuff. I don't know who exactly or like what the actual individuals
the other
are.
Aussies.
Yeah.
But so he got hoisted in like while passed out, got hoisted into this like cherry picker. They put like the harness, like a climbing harness. I don't know how they had it. Like maybe got out of Ben's garage, like a real legit tree trimming harness. Strapped him into this thing,
drunk.
And then hoisted him out like over the landing pond, and then all the way out over top of it. And then everybody's yelling and throwing beer cans at him, and trying to wake him up. And he eventually wakes up like
It's basically a pinata.
suspended like
Middle
20
of the
feet
landing
above the
pool.
little pond, just like from dead sleep. Like, but safety wise, he was strapped in. Like it was going to be fine. It was mean.
5-point harness. He's
It
fine.
was mean, but yeah.
I remember who it was.
I
know exactly who put him up there.
Shout out to the Australia crew for making a rowdy event even rowdier.
Yeah.
Well, those boys used to come over for like a couple months. They would go like.
Well, Leary lived with Dieter for so long.
Well, a few of them would like go work in like on the ski resorts or something and do some like temp work, and then they would like spend the rest of the time just like traveling around the States. They would come over forever.
Yeah.
Well, however long their visa was.
Yeah.
Run that visa up.
Yeah, run it back.
Yeah, we had some good times with the Aussies.
All right, we got one last one before we wrap this up. If there's anything we want to touch on after that, we can. But what's something you would like to see more in wake skating these days?
More wake skating.
I say
more wake skaters.
Do I steal TJs and say more wake skaters?
The Ute.
Honestly, with where we're at, the limited numbers we have, I think we're doing a pretty good job still.
Yeah.
We're all getting older. I got kids. He's about to have a kid this week, next week, whatever, right? Like we're holding on, and we are doing it because we love it. So
Yeah.
I'd just like to see more.
I want to see a fired up younger generation coming up to it. How realistic that is, hard to say. We probably could have done more in our time to cultivate that and to make it a reality. But I don't know. Wake skating is fun. There's always going to be people that want to do it. And I think as long as we keep showcasing it in ways that make it look fun and make it look cool, that's just going to help. So, more people, more wake skaters.
I don't know about out here, but when we hold events at Wake Island, there's like 20, 25 guys that come out from the Delta. It's kind of a little squad that doesn't do the social media thing, doesn't follow contests, doesn't do any of that. And we're talking probably the youngest one's 9, 10 years old, and he's hitting the obstacles all the way to like Rich and them who are like well over our era. So we got a cool little like scene on the West Coast, but it's so far from maybe what we were doing, wanting to compete and get sponsors and film videos. They're doing it because they live on the water in the Delta and they really love wake skating. Like they love to just, it's like their skateboarding.
They like to do the activity of wake skating.
Yeah, they all have these old nautiques, and there's like 5-6 of them, and they have these little rail parks, and like you would actually be at. Did you come to the ride day last X Games?
No.
Okay.
No, I wasn't able to
but
get
they
off
all
in time
showed
for that
up,
one.
and everybody, like all of the riders on our side, were actually kind of like, "Damn, I didn't know this many people wake skated in the West Coast." And I'm like, "You wouldn't know until we hold these kind of things."
Yeah, it's out there.
Yeah.
DJ, Ted.
I think, man, we didn't even talk. Like, one of the most fun times I've had was going out to NorCal Convergence. Those grassroots, like they're not like events that are meant to like film videos. It's just like getting the community together.
Yeah.
And camping out for 3 days or however long you guys would stay out there. But I only did it like 1 or 2 years out there. But I think that would be awesome to see more of that come in. And I know like Trey does a good job with getting everybody out to his place.
Definitely does.
But it's hard when, there's only 2 people, him and Bobby, that have like backyard spots to really host those type of events.
Yeah. I mean, the NorCal Convergence was always kind of like the vibe I was trying to go for whenever we would have the sort of unsanctioned Swanee Bro. So, the Wake Skate Tour stop at our spot in Swanee was always called the Swanee Pro. But on years that it either didn't go on or we didn't have the funding for that one, we would still just kind of have a big gathering, a big get-together day, or a weekend, rather, where people could come out, camp, wake skate, grill out, have a good time, meet more wake skaters. And that was kind of like, basically just pulled straight from my experiences with the NorCal Convergence.
Damn.
That's a good answer. Let's do more Swanee Bros.
More gatherings.
Yeah.
Yeah. All we got to do is mow it out there.
Yeah.
Should be all right.
We'll get the baby seat ready, TJ, and we'll go out there.
It's already locked in.
Yeah,
That's
let's
ready to
go.
go.
We'll go out there and mow. I'll throw all the lawn equipment into the new truck.
I
And
was say we should do that end of summer this year.
We're definitely talking about some more convergences on the West Coast now that like my first kid is not a baby anymore, and he's now he just got his first wake skate and stuff, and so I want to go like camp with him and show him that. And I think it'll look a little bit different this era, but I've been working with Noel at Wake Island to try to open up some like convergence type things where we can camp on site, and maybe that won't happen, but I am pretty dedicated in bringing something like that back.
I will say the
kid.
the family vibe scales better than the hoisting your friends up in the cherry picker. Like that's really fun to see and be a part of, but like you're not getting funded to do that again the following year. That's like a last hurrah, one and done versus the event that is also fun for the kids as it was for the adults is the one that gets to come back the next year. So
I do remember Toe Jam trying to like thread that line of appealing to both of those, and that's a tough sell to try to get both of those on board. But it's I think you're right. Getting everybody involved is really where it's at.
I want to see more wake skate friendly obstacles at cable parks, and I don't think it needs to be uniquely built to wake skating because I feel like the more beginner friendly features also double as great wake skate features, but most of the time at parks they tend to put those features into something else, like because it's so often they're like geared towards high level wakeboarding, so they take something simple and make it a part of something large, whereas like I can see the appeal to that, but also like for the vast majority of people, like 90% of wakeboarders and wake skaters, you don't need that thing to be connected to 3 other rails in order to do something cool. You're probably better served really getting dialed on that beginner rail, whether it's a flat bar or a box, and just learning every hit on it, switch. Because like for wake skating, a lot of times I look for ledges or rails or anything that have like a flat edge or something where they're friendly to ollie onto or lock into, but half the time it doesn't last very long at a park because they throw something into it, a hack or something to be near it, and it just makes it to where the feature can only be hit in the hack way when you start linking all these things together, whereas parks can put beginner friendly stuff in there that make them appealing to wake skaters, and more wake skaters would show up and ride their parks because they would have stuff that was not geared towards one type of riding.
To even echo that, I mean, I've been to parks where there are no beginner features left because they hack them up with other shit. And I'm like, you're shooting yourself in the foot with the wakeboarders too. Like, if no wakeboarder has beginner stuff to learn on, it's what are they gonna do? Like, you're not gonna. So I totally agree with that for sure.
Balance.
Yeah, I think we did this damn thing. This was a
long
great episode.
Where are we at? 6 hours?
No, we're at 4. Thank you guys for coming in. Thanks, Keaton, Nick, for. I mean, I know you guys took the red eye. That was amazing to have you guys in. And
Stoked to finally
TJ
get on
and
here
Ted.
with you.
Yeah, this was a blast. I think we're all looking forward to this X Games thing and the information that's going to eventually trickle out after this, which will give more details, I'm sure, in days, weeks, and months to come. So
yeah, I mean, you're gonna see the announcement right before this drops next week, and then we got a plan to roll a bunch of stuff out, and we're really excited. And I guess one more piece of information, we're bringing you. So
yeah, I'm going to be there. You're going to be there too, right, TJ?
I mean,
TJ's going to be there.
This whole crew's
Everybody
here.
going to be there.
Yep. Yeah,
Everybody's going to be
we'll
there, and it's going to be epic. So, yeah, on the wakeboard side of things, follow Tennis Mag. That's all I'm going to say on that side. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you guys for coming into the pod. This was a great shop talk, and we'll see you guys next time.
thanks for having us, Hunter.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
That was fun, guys.